Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran and I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and John Carlos. This is now episode 122. In this episode, we are going to debate whether or not the Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders, Kyler versus Lamar, Chiefs slow start, and if the Titans are the most slept on team in the NFL. For the basketball portion of the podcast, we will talk about DeAndre Ayton, Ben Simmons, the Hawks, and give out our NBA awards predictions. This is now episode 122 and a Patreon and YouTube member shout out to Johannes, Ruben, Brian, Ricky, E, Enzo, Matthew, Sean Solis, Sean, Rice Family, John, Sean Triplet, Burner Hoops, Cat Stevens, Ben Mack, P. Dot, George, Hikari, Mateen, and Jay Aqua.
Jay Aqua.
We are one podcast rating away from 50 podcast ratings
All day.
You know what I noticed though?
Let's hear it.
I noticed that a lot of podcasts, they do contests to make sure people rate their podcasts. And it's that's a great idea, but I kind of want it to be organic.
Yeah,
it kind of defeats the purpose.
We don't got to
right?
swag jack them.
Yeah. Somebody gave me that advice to do that, but
Yeah?
I don't know if I want to do it.
It's not the worst advice I've ever heard, obviously.
It's not
There's
because
incentives.
yeah, it's not because you get a free Pick a Side hoodie if you drop a rating, and we'll pick your name out the pool.
Man, I would get a rating. I want to pick a side hoodie. You kidding me?
We got to drop those soon.
Yeah, for
we
real.
Got to drop that merch line soon.
That's a fact.
You get nothing.
That's
bro.
cap. You've been saying for how long that my hoodie should be in the mail?
What are you talking about?
Come on, bro. You know what I'm trying to say.
I say that to say that you guys should really, rate our podcast.
That's a fact.
Because we're not going to incentivize you guys to do it. It just helps us grow.
Yeah.
That should be enough, right? That should be enough. And this has been an amazing month. Last episode was a 4-hour episode. This one won't be that. Somebody commented on TikTok and was like, 4 hours, bro, come on. And I was like, it's not usually like that. It was only that time. I was going to ask you a question before the podcast started.
Okay.
Because I saw something on Twitter. I saw Jason Tatum in a Kobe Bryant Lakers jersey, and he was in Lakers gear, jersey, and shorts. Do you think it's possible we could see Jason Tatum become a Laker in the near future?
You're the basketball guy. Come on.
With the way players move, it's possible. I don't think so though. I think he'll stay in Boston.
Yeah, I don't think he ever leaves Boston, truthfully. I think that's his team forever.
As long as they continue to be competitive, I don't see why he would go change and go play with the Lakers, especially if LeBron's leaving.
And Boston loves him.
Yeah.
They adore him.
There's a lot of love in Boston.
I think it's very disrespectful he went and did that, though.
Stop it.
You play for the Celtics and you put on a
I
Lakers
agree.
jersey?
Stop
I
it.
agree.
But it's his
Totally.
favorite player,
Like,
though.
enough.
He plays for Boston.
Nah, it's more than valid.
So what if
So
if
why
he
it
put
had to be him?
What do you mean by
Why it
that?
had to be Kobe?
No, why it had to be Jason Tatum?
What?
Almost everybody's favorite player in the NBA is Kobe.
But
But you can make a tribute without wearing the Lakers gear.
But it's been known that he loves Kobe Bryant.
I mean,
Yeah, but
Kyrie
that's one of
Irving
the-
came in with a Lakers jersey one game.
Well, he
But
played
I,
for Brooklyn.
I understand why they're
yeah,
saying
Boston
and
and
LA is
Lakers is a
different.
rivalry.
Yeah.
That's a
if
real
he were
rivalry.
wearing like a Magic Johnson jersey, sure. But he's wearing Kobe Bryant, who obviously passed away. So that's the reason.
Yeah, I don't think too much of it.
Yeah. Like to say disrespectful, like
I don't know. I
He's
just
repping
think
his
there's a
favorite
real
player.
rivalry there between those franchises.
but it's
That's
Kobe.
history.
Kobe's bigger than basketball right now. Forever. From here on out,
That's
he's
true.
bigger than
I'm
he's
not
bigger than
gonna-
the game.
That's
Yeah.
true.
No, you got it there. No,
You
no.
seen,
I
you
think-
seen D Book in the commercial?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
yo,
I've seen that.
everybody loves Kobe, bro.
I think Tatum
it was
is
him.
going to go to LA though. I think he's gonna after LeBron leaves, he's gonna team up with Anthony Davis. It's gonna be Jason Tatum, AD,
So you think he's
I
gonna
don't
try to
wanna-
fill Kobe's
and
shoes?
Taylor Horton Tucker. That's gonna be the big three.
Yes, sir.
You think he's
I
trying
hope-
to? You
I
think he's
hope
gonna
not,
try to fill
honestly.
Kobe's shoes, Joel? Think he's going to fill
I think
Kobe's
that's
shoes?
what he wants to
It's
do.
impossible. It's impossible.
I don't know if he'll do it, but I think that's probably
I'm
one
sick
of his
of everybody
goals.
trying to. Why you can't just be you?
Exactly.
Why I gotta fill somebody else's
Kobe
shoes?
filled Jordan.
There's a
Tried
lot-
to fill Jordan.
Why wasn't?
Came pretty close though.
He faked it.
He fake did.
I don't think.
He
so.
came
Pretty
close.
close to 10.
That's all he's saying.
Pretty close to 10. I mean, nobody's gonna out Jordan, but he came pretty close.
I just think it's weird. I feel like you should be your own player. Like you should fill Jason Tatum's shoes. Try to be the best Jason Tatum.
That's a fact.
Not try to be another Kobe.
That's a fact.
You know,
Tatum.
we already see Kobe be another MJ. And we don't want to see another guy be another
Nah,
Kobe. That's another
nowadays
MJ.
nowadays Kobe's Kobe now. After his death, he's Kobe.
Yeah, it's like
Kobe.
I don't want to see you jump in his shoes and try to be him. No, build your own legacy.
It's because he had a different mentality. That's why Kobe's Kobe now. But like in terms of game, obviously people know that he mirrored off MJ.
He didn't even have a different mentality. He
You're
had
right.
the MJ mentality.
But he
just
he
took
also
it on another
he didn't
level.
hate the
he was
media,
beast.
so he was more lenient to give good quotes out to the media.
It's very poetic, Riv. I like that.
Riv, did he have a better offensive
Be
game than MJ?
yourself.
I've seen a lot of people recently saying that he has more of a bag than him.
I mean,
And
more
I-
of a bag
and
means
I-
what?
Yeah, that's
Honestly,
I don't
though,
know.
He has more. Kyrie has more moves than MJ.
That's a
Kyrie
fact.
has more moves than Kobe.
That doesn't mean he has
Kyrie
a better
has more moves than
offensive
everyone.
game,
That's a
though.
big- good-
You can have more in
Yep.
your bag. Kyrie has the best bag ever. Doesn't mean he's a better offensive player than a lot of guys. You know,
That's a
offense
fact.
is just
How about
more.
how about Kobe's bag? Where would you rate his bag?
Like a 7.5, 8-ish. Kobe had a really good bag.
7.5 is
That's
crazy
hard.
rude,
That's
though.
tough.
I think
Think
Kobe,
about it. Kyrie's
I
a
think
10.
I think Kobe has a top 5 bag ever.
So then what is Jordan?
Jordan's like a 7.
Jordan's top 5 too.
Really?
In terms of a bag,
Jordan's top 5 bag too.
KD, Kyrie, they're like 8, 9, 10s. Steph's at
Just
like
because
8,
they
9.
shoot, because they shoot
Their
the ball
bag
so
is
well.
they have more moves. MJ wasn't a like he wasn't.
He could,
do
though.
the simple ooh, or in and out, pull up. You know, it's pretty simple, but it worked.
Interesting.
That's
Okay.
very
Scoring
poetic, though. Be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. So who do you think Josh Giddey is?
Yo, you're gonna ask me about that all year. All year.
You're gonna see
He's Josh
him do
Giddey, bro.
so
If
good.
Giddey doesn't drop a single point on his debut,
I'll
Nah,
laugh.
you
Nah,
deserve
that's crazy.
everything.
He's gonna
that's
drop a
coming your
point.
way.
Not gonna happen.
He's gonna drop a point.
Yeah,
He's gonna
of
get
course.
one.
I know.
Do you guys see his? Do you guys watch his TikTok videos?
I know
I
you
don't-
do.
I'm not watching him on
I know
TikTok.
Some
you
of them,
do.
not a lot.
Oh,
Not all of them.
I'm officially.
I've seen a few. Doesn't he have like a
Officially.
million views on one?
Yeah, well, he has a lot of followers.
He's got some questionable TikToks.
I am 1,000% jumping into the Josh Giddey hate club. Like that. You forced me into that club. Now I'm not.
Why did I force you into that club?
Because you kept putting up this narrative that I just hated him.
Joel,
And then somebody commented, I hate white people. So now since you guys feel like I do, I'm just going to push that agenda.
I just feel like in general you're down on European players or players overseas. I think in general you are.
Are
You
you?
didn't like Şengün. You don't like Giddey.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you're
you
just down
question
on those
LaMelo.
players.
Even though
Well, LaMelo's not really an overseas
I know,
player.
just going off history.
That's only 3 people.
How do you feel about overseas legends?
Like
like
Hakeem, Dirk, love them.
Okay.
Giddey.
Love them to death.
Oh my gosh.
What if Giddey
He's a
becomes a
Giddey.
legend? What are you gonna say?
I
No,
was
okay.
wrong.
So give me a stat line that you would be comfortable with apologizing to Josh Giddey for if he does have it his rookie season. Like if Josh Giddey,
16, 8, and 8.
if Josh Giddey averages 16 this
Oh, and
season,
a cool efficiency. Like, not no bad, not great.
Like
just cool.
45%?
Yeah, like cool. Just 44,
Nah,
45%.
16, 8, and 8. He's like that.
so you're saying
That's Ben Simmons numbers.
That's Ben Simmons basically.
Yeah,
You're
pretty
expecting him to be an all-star his rookie year.
Well, Ben Simmons, we know, shouldn't really be.
Well,
an
I think you're
all-star.
saying those stats because you're going to have the opportunity to put those
All right,
numbers
how
up,
about
right?
16, 6, and 6?
I feel like he can do more than
I was
that.
gonna-
in a
Nah,
situation
but 8
he's
and
in.
8 is crazy.
Rabe, I was going to say,
Yeah,
Okay,
16,
16, 8, and
is
6.
ridiculous.
16, 8,
I
and
was gonna,
6.
I mean, I thought something like 13, 6, and 5 would be cool with you.
I mean, you have told me that he's going to have the ball a lot. So I expect the 8 assists to come. I expect it.
Word.
Or at
He's
least
going to lead the team in assists?
he should, right?
He's
It should-
supposed to be the
he-
point
He's a
him or
good
Shea.
passer.
He should be
he's
top
a really,
2.
He's a gifted passer.
He's a
Oh,
good
thank you.
passer,
I'm
bro.
glad you said that. Gifted, great, good.
He's
8
a gifted
assists.
passer.
I said,
He
I
is.
said he's a good passer.
I heard gifted. No, I heard gifted.
No,
What-
Josh Giddey's a really good player.
No, he's a good
Yeah, I need
passer,
8.
bro.
I need 8. Like, I need 8.
8 assists.
Okay.
Damn.
You
I
can
feel like
six me.
that's a bit too high. I think he'll get 6. It's
He
gonna be
said
5 to
gifted.
6.
I heard gifted.
I heard gifted too, right? 16, 6, and
LaMelo's
6.
a gifted passer. He averaged 6 assists.
You have a 7.
Oh, one more. Okay, wow.
So we'll knock it at 7.
Wow, gifted. Wow. Okay.
Melo's a gifted
I mean,
passer, though.
LaMelo, you saw it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, he
The
is.
underarm
He's
throw from
Showtime.
like full court.
All right, so I'll say 16, 6, and 6 is a firm. I'll be like,
Yeah.
16, 6, and 6, you'll come on here and you'll say,
agree.
sorry, Josh Giddey.
even though, yeah, I'll be like, my pardon me. You're a little better than what I thought. You know, my bad. And then we'll move on from there.
All right, let's move on to the Dallas Cowboys, the first topic of the NFL portion of the episode. The Dallas Cowboys look good. They're 5-1 right now. They beat the Patriots 35-29. Trayvon Diggs had another interception. It was a pick 6 on Mac Jones. Got burnt the very next play, even though
That was
it was
hilarious.
most of the
For real.
safety. It was the safety's fault, in my opinion. Dak threw for over 400 yards, which is the most a quarterback has thrown against Bill Belichick, at least I think in the regular season. So, yeah, do you think the Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders? Do you think they're a legit team in the NFC? Can they match up with the Buccaneers, the Rams, Arizona, the Packers? Are they in that conversation?
It's hard for me to say that because I'm an Eagles fan. But I think they can definitely be in that conversation. If you watch them play this year, you see
they can or they are.
Damn, can I
Nah, that's a good question.
Because you said they can be. Are they in it right now?
I mean, if you're 5-1,
Nah, but we've seen some good
Be in a
teams
discussion
be
at
5-1 and not be like that.
I don't think they're better than Green Bay.
me neither.
I don't think they're better than Arizona. But I can say I trust them more than Arizona because they're just a little bit more experienced. Just a little bit. Their quarterback is a little bit more experienced. I don't think they're better than the Rams or the Bucks. But like I was going to say, I seen them give Tampa a fight. And their defense has been the best it's been in a couple years. And their offense is clicking. So when you have a team that is clicking on both ends, they got a guy in Trayvon Diggs who gives them multiple opportunities in game. You said it. He got an interception. They got burned the next play. That's just what you're going to get out of him. He's going to make gambles. He's going to do that. But he's due for it right now. He has 6 interceptions and 7 interceptions. So that's incredible. Their offense, CeeDee Lamb broke out. Amari Cooper's still there. They're going to get Michael Gallup back. So this is a team, and Dak is playing like an MVP. So I think
running backs too. Playing really
well. Zeke's back. You know what? I'm gonna go. Yes, they can be NFC. They can definitely be because they can compete with Green Bay. They can compete with Arizona. They have the tools on both ends of the field to compete. So and Dak's playing like an MVP. So you know what? Yeah, I think the Dallas Cowboys can
or are.
They are. I'm gonna go with they are. Yeah.
Do you guys remember not too long ago when people thought that Ezekiel Elliott could be potentially washed or declining?
Not gonna lie, I was one of them.
Are you subbing somebody?
I was one of them.
Oh,
I was one of them. I thought he was getting washed.
I think he's subbing you.
Well, Tony Pollard does average more yards per attempt than Zeke.
Oh my god.
So
Zeke is at 5. Pollard's at 6.1.
Didn't you just tell me about the whole 1 thing? 7 is not 6.
Well, for running, this is we're talking about assists versus yards per attempt.
I mean,
in
5
the
is
NFL.
great. 6
That's
is
different.
great too. They're both great.
6 is better.
no,
than
6
5.
is 6 is
6
is
is
amazing.
But 5 is
Crazy.
great.
6 is elite, bro.
5, no,
5 is
literally.
great.
5 or
is
6,
great.
you're in an elite class. What Tony Pollard's doing is amazing, but I'm still not gonna let you shy away from saying that you thought Ezekiel was declining after a
He
game
is
against
declining.
arguably the best rush defense we've ever seen.
Is Zeke still the same running back he was his rookie season or his first 2-3 seasons?
Yes.
He's not that no more.
I mean, he looks like he's back.
I mean, it's pretty hard to replicate
He's still a great
that,
running
though.
back, but he's not what
he.
he once was. He's not that.
It looks like he's back to that.
If I was
So far.
Dallas, they have a 2-headed monster at running back right now.
He's gonna
It's
say
amazing.
trade
Yeah, I know.
Ezekiel Elliott because of the contract.
No, I
you
would
owe
not.
Tony
You
Pollard.
can't
No.
trade him because there's too much dead cap involved. It's done. They're stuck with that contract. If I was Dallas, though, knowing that I have Tony Pollard, I would have been fine with letting Zeke walk and not paying him that money, not paying him
So
that
let me ask you a
contract.
question. Do you think Tony Pollard's performing like this because he also has Zeke, or do you think he can do this even without him being the primary number
Tony
one running
Pollard is a great back. Him individually, he can do it.
He is.
back? Okay, I'm just
He started on a lot of teams.
Just want to ask.
And even throughout these past couple of years, we've seen these flashes from Tony Pollard time and time again. This is the first year where he's actually getting a boosted workload,
Right.
and they're actually playing Zeke and Tony Pollard together more, and they're both on the field at the same time. I think Tony Pollard could have been doing this for a while. If he was Dallas's number 1 running back for the past 2 seasons, he gets 1,000 yards. There's no doubt in my mind he does that.
So to the initial question, are they contenders for the Super Bowl? Without a doubt. When you're number 1 in total yards, number 2 in rushing yards, I believe they're top 5 in passing yards, top 3 in turnovers, you essentially have it all. One thing that you probably could ask for a little bit from them is a little bit better coverage. But when you're causing the 3rd most turnovers in football, you'll live with that, truthfully. Dak Prescott's playing some of the best football out right now. And we haven't spoken about him as much as we probably should have. Like we mentioned last week, his name's just going to continue to climb up that MVP leaderboard. And this past week, even though I do believe that the Patriots team is a whatever team, they fight each week that they're playing against a team. They give at least a tough competition, but I think they should have handled them a little bit more swimmingly than they did, regardless of the fact offense did what they do week in, week out, carry that team. But again, the defense is a concern for me, so which is why I look at a Cardinals team right now, and I think as a whole, I think that the Cardinals are a little bit more better suited to win the Super Bowl or go to the Super Bowl. I look at the Rams. They have a similar problem to what Dallas has right now. Their secondary, although they do have Jalen Ramsey, although Dallas does have Trayvon Diggs, their opposite corners are liabilities. Their safeties over the top are liabilities to a degree. So I feel like right now, my favorite to go to the Super Bowl will probably be Arizona, but we can't deny what the Cowboys are doing.
Your favorite is no longer the Rams.
No, right. I'm saying my favorite still is the Rams. I'm saying in general, the consensus right now, people are probably going to look at the Cardinals and think they really didn't struggle with the Titans. They're the only team to hold Derrick Henry to under 60 rushing yards. We handled them swimmingly. Bills just came out and struggled. Dallas obviously lost to the Buccaneers. I mean, I'm not thinking too much about that one, obviously, because they've been rolling 5 games in a row. I just look at Dallas as a whole, and I think they definitely are contenders for the Super Bowl. But I just think that people are going to look at the Cardinals and think they're more complete.
I actually think the Cowboys are probably one of the most complete teams in the NFC right now. I can only say really like the Rams are a bit more complete. I'm not all the way sold on Arizona. I'm not yet. They're 6-0, but I'm not all the way sold on them.
Hate is real.
They're not the best team in the NFC. It's still the Tampa Bay Bucks when healthy. That's the team everybody has to beat. It's not Arizona. Arizona hasn't made the playoffs yet. Cliff Kingsbury hasn't been to the playoffs yet. In the playoffs, the game plan, the scheme is going to be different. How they game plan around what he does is going to be different. More film is going to be out. I look at the Cowboys, elite offensive line. They're back to that number 1 ranking once again.
Yeah,
I bet.
Elite receivers. Michael Gallup is out right now, and they're still showing out. CeeDee Lamb taking that next step. They have the best backfield in the NFL with Zeke and Tony Pollard. It's not even close. There's no other backfield in the NFL that has 2 guys that are that good on the field. There's not.
Hey, debatable. Chubb and Kareem Hunt, obviously, they just got hurt, but
they're hurt though. Mm-hmm. They're hurt.
Yeah, you said that like it was too comfortable for me.
No,
like,
that's the only. Those are the only ones. But you're right.
That's the only one.
And Derrick Henry alone, like just him by himself.
Fake, bro. He's that crazy. But go ahead, bro.
Dak Prescott is playing phenomenal. He's going to be comeback player of the year. If it's not him, it's Joe Burrow. Yep. It's going to be one of those two. And their defense, Trayvon Diggs is holding that secondary above water because he's creating so many turnovers. But their defensive line has been amazing. And this is without DeMarcus Lawrence. Randy Gregory leads them in sacks right now. He's going to get a huge payday this offseason. And their rookie Osa, defensive tackle, has been a run-stuffing machine. Like the Cowboys right now are 23rd in passing yards allowed defensively, but they're the 5th best rushing defense in football right now. So that tells me they could match up well against the Rams because they can stop their run. Of course, the passing game is there, but we'll see how Stafford looks in the playoffs. I'm still out on that.
Yeah.
The Cardinals, I think their scheme is kind of up in the air to me. I think they throw too many short passes for me. I think you can scheme around that in the playoffs. And I trust Dallas' team as a whole more than I do Arizona personally. The Bucks, they could have easily beat them in the season opener. That was a really close game. They could easily be 6-0 right now.
Definitely.
The Packers, they have a boatload of injuries. Don't know when they're going to get healthy, but when healthy, my NFC tier would go as number 1, Bucks, number 2, Green Bay.
You finally putting some respect on Green Bay's name.
It's the reason why it's Green Bay is because with all these injuries, their defense is still looking really good. Like they have one of the best run defenses in football right now, and their secondary is playing decent, but they're still winning with all these injuries. I'm talking about David Bakhtiari, Elton Jenkins, Jairi Alexander. They have so many injuries, yet they still continue to win. So I have them second. I would have the Cowboys third, though. I have them above the Rams, and I have them above the Cardinals.
I need you to explain the Rams one a little bit.
I'm not all the way sold on the Rams. I'm not all the way sold on their defense now.
Wait. But you just said Dallas could easily be 6-0. You felt like that Tampa game impressed you. So with the Rams beating Tampa Bay easily, why didn't that impress you?
And then the Cards beat the Rams also.
And the Cards beat the Rams, but with Dallas, them losing impressed you more than those two beating each other. Explain that a little bit. Yeah.
It's not that one impressed me more than the other. I just trust Dallas more than the Rams. I do. I trust Dallas more than the Rams.
Do you trust McCarthy more than you trust McVay?
I trust Kellen more.
He skipped
Nah,
all
but
that.
but that's a valid point because obviously Kellen Moore is calling
And
the
I trust
offensive
Dan
play.
Quinn because he's really changed
And
around
he
their
has
defense.
no. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I just think that the difference between Goff to now
This
Matthew
is a team
Stafford,
that just went to the second round.
and you have Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey holding that defense down. If you look at Dallas, Trayvon Diggs right now, Randy Gregory's doing his thing. Micah Parsons been pretty solid as well. Trayvon Diggs is holding that defense down right now. And if I'm looking at the Rams and I have Aaron Donald, obviously I'm putting my faith in Aaron Donald before I'm trusting anybody on Dallas. Jalen Ramsey
versus
same
Zach
thing.
Martin, that's a tough matchup for him too. It goes both ways.
I'm going to respect Zach Martin because he is amazing. That being said,
Probably the best right guard in football right
and
now.
Aaron Donald's arguably the best defensive player of all time.
Damn.
Yeah, that's true. But Zach Martin is not a slouch, and they faced off before.
I agree.
And the last time they faced off, Dallas beat them in the playoffs.
Yep. He did.
With Jared Goff.
That's not true.
They
Rams
lost.
won.
Rams
won.
Yep,
Yeah,
got
right.
him.
That was Seattle that they
Yes.
beat.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a close game.
It
though.
was a good but that was the year
But
they went
I
to
just
the Super
trust
Bowl.
Dallas. I think the Rams, they're a great team. I'm not taking anything away from them. I think they're in that same tier. But I just really, I'm in love with this Dallas team right now. The reason why I'm not too in love with Arizona is because they have a bottom 20 rush defense. Arizona against the Rams, in a different situation, different set of circumstances, against the Cowboys that can run the ball, it might look differently
It was in L.A.
in the playoff atmosphere.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
what you're saying. Okay.
In a
Well, I
different-
mean, it might be in Arizona, so they might have to come down to, you know what I'm saying?
Also, with Arizona, I was watching the Browns game, and
Yep.
they wreck the game by creating pressure off the edge.
Mm.
And if a team has really great tackles like Dallas does, you can neutralize that duo of Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt.
I think neutralize is strong, but they can try as hard as they can
I mean,
to
Tyron
neutralize.
Smith and Lyle Collins.
Oh, no, without a doubt.
They can hold their own against
They
that.
definitely can hold their own. I just think right now, the way that they have been playing, it's hard to say that they're going to neutralize them. At least right now, at this point in time, given the fact that Chandler and JJ have looked dominant.
They looked amazing, but against the Browns, Jedrick Wills was out and Jack Conklin was out.
Mm-hmm.
So they were facing backup tackles.
But it's to give.
They're still great.
I'm about to say
but
to
against
give the
Tyron Smith,
to
who's the
give
top
the Cards
five
their
left
credit,
tackle.
they've been smacking almost every single team that they've played outside of San Fran.
Yeah, but the Rams aren't. They don't have the tackles Dallas has.
I agree with that, but at the same time, it's like the Rams are still a top team in the NFC, and they cooked them. Rams are a top team. Excuse me, the Bucs are a top team in the NFC. The Rams violated them, so it's tough right now to.
I just feel like Dallas matches up well because Arizona doesn't have a great rush defense. Dallas has a great running offense.
Their pass defense, that's what scares me.
The Bucs, Packers, and Cardinals, all of their secondaries are questionable. I know that Arizona's secondary hasn't been playing great.
For sure.
But in terms of just the names that they have, I think you trust CD and Amari.
But I think you can flip that, though, because Arizona's weapons would probably do more damage to Dallas'
and I'm not
secondary.
sleeping because I don't know the names or they're not big-time names. I look at the Rams secondary. Aside from Jalen, it's mediocre.
Darius Williams is good.
He's at best. I look at Dallas.
He's a starting corner, though. He's good.
You could be a starting quarterback and still not be the best or still not be good. You know what I'm saying? All right, to continue. Dallas, Trayvon
the
Diggs.
best, only one's the best.
You can
He's
you
gonna
can
say
be
you
a
start
starting
and be
corner
average.
and be average, correct. So now you look at Dallas, Trayvon Diggs, obviously he's amazing. Other than that, I'm not trusting anyone in that Dallas secondary. Right now with the Buccaneers, I'm not trusting anyone in that secondary for obvious reasons, given the fact that they're all hurt. And until one of them comes back and shows that they could stay afloat against a solid team, other than the mediocrity they've been playing these last couple weeks, right now the team to trust is Arizona.
Okay, the only team to trust.
I'm saying right now at this
So you can
current
trust
po-
Green Bay.
We got to wait and see on Jair coming back.
But they've been playing great without him.
But they've been playing
they
against
have Aaron
mediocre
Rodgers.
talent as well.
I just can never not trust Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not taking anything away from Aaron Rodgers. I just don't trust the health of the Green Bay Packers right now.
Fair.
So no last dance.
Oh, listen, it's still a possibility, obviously, but the health right now is a huge concern.
So hearing you guys ramble off on this, I agree that you can call the Cowboys contenders. I mean, as of today, I checked the rankings. They're number one ranked in offense. They're elite at all levels of offense, the offensive line, and the run in the pass. They have elite receivers. Dak's playing like an elite quarterback. The running game is really good. So I'm all sold on them offensively. I don't think there's pretty much an answer for that type of potency on offense because they can fire from all cylinders. My only problem with the Cowboys is we're saying that they lead the league in turnovers because of Diggs or whatever, but they're ranked 30th in the pass, and I agree with you. That secondary outside of Diggs is not that good, and I don't think you can put all the weight on one player to consistently get you turnovers week in and week out. I still am not sold on the Cowboys defense. As far as the run, I know they're ranked 5th, but I was checking the list of running backs that they did play. Drew, out of all the running backs that they played, which one can you say is elite?
Eckler probably is on the border of elite.
Panthers didn't have CMC.
Giants
didn't have Barkley.
Yep.
Eagles,
No. I'll just let
Buccaneers, no.
And then the Cowboys. Fournette has been playing pretty solid.
He's not.
No,
elite.
You're right. They shut him down.
The Patriots. I know somebody rushed for over 100 yards.
I was going to say
He's not elite though.
But
he's trying to say
I think that stat's a little misleading.
They played no one.
I think that's what I'm saying. I don't think they've played anyone offensively though. I'm completely sold on them. Dak's looking like an MVP. Zeke's looking good. Pollard. That's I agree with Joel. That's the best 1-2 punch in the NFL probably outside of Kareem and Nick Chubb. Receivers are playing well. They're going to get Michael Gallup back. That's only going to help them get stronger. Their offensive line in both the run and the pass is top 10. Great offensive team. I'm just not sold on them defensively.
And I think you can have an average defense and win a Super Bowl.
And I think teams when it comes down to the playoffs, I think teams like the Rams and the Bucks, even the Bucks last year showed that they can get stops when they're healthy. I just don't think that the Cowboys secondary, I don't think you can rely on one man to consistently keep getting you picks. Outside of their one elite pass rusher, what's his name? I forgot his name.
Randy Gregory.
Randy Gregory's playing very well. But I'm just not sold on the Cowboys defense right now. And I feel like that's been the problem for the past couple of years is their defense. Because we know they have a high potency offense. They put up 29. They put up a lot of points, but I just don't see Diggs consistently doing this on the defensive side of the ball, forcing turnovers. I just don't see this happening.
Their defense is average. They're gonna finish as a top 18 defense in the NFL. That's not anything to throw a parade about, but you can win a Super Bowl being ranked that. I think you can in today's NFL especially with how great their offense is. They can score. I don't think in the playoffs when they face a team like the Rams or Cardinals, I don't think it's going to be a 20-17 game. I think it's going to be like what we saw, like 34-29 game.
Outside of maybe the Chiefs, even though I do believe their defense was solid the year they won the Super Bowl. It was
solid towards the end.
I agree. Of recent winners, defenses have all been solid. Almost every single one of them.
Pretty much.
Tampa Bay, obviously.
Yeah.
You look
49ers, even they didn't win. They were a top 5 defense in the league.
Broncos, when we won, we were one of the best defenses.
Legion of Boom.
Patriots, obviously, both times that they won. I will say the one time that the defenses were shaky was that Eagles-Patriots Super Bowl. But even going in, their defense was solid.
Giants,
another one, obviously. So
the Giants weren't elite.
Wait,
which
one? The Super Bowl?
Their runs were elite. They played elite in those runs.
I'm going to have to disagree with that sentiment also because their defense was very, very, very good.
Check the rankings those years.
They're
bottom 20.
Look at the talent that they had.
Yeah,
and
I know.
But they won in 07 and 2011, so you're saying they were both.
I know the 07 one, their defense was 22nd or 23rd.
Because Randy Moss and Tom Brady had a historic quarterback wide receiver,
and they
only put up how much in the Super Bowl? Like 15 to 18 points.
Maybe they just showed up when they needed to.
He showed up 18 games, the most important one. You don't? I don't know.
No, I'm talking about the Giants' defense.
Yeah,
2011 Giants, they had the 25th ranked defense in the NFL.
Well, those are Cinderella runs.
Yeah,
but in
football,
in the
it
playoffs,
really matters what team
and
goes
in 2007 they had the 17th ranked.
So yeah, those are rare.
So yeah, the talent is there, but with Dallas, with Lawrence healthy, Randy Gregory, Lawrence Osa, Micah Parsons,
Lawrence is coming back
Vander
this
Esch,
year.
I am not sure, but if he is,
that'd be
that's
more
an elite
ammo
duo
for their defense.
And then I think
it's too many gunslingers right now for me to trust it.
With
their
Dallas,
secondary is because of Trayvon Diggs, it's elevated them to a point where they're creating turnovers and havoc. But I think Dan Quinn just hasn't playing aggressive football to the point that they're creating turnovers. Even though most of it has been Diggs.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's all Diggs.
Their defensive, it's not all been Diggs, but their defensive front has been amazing.
This past Sunday, obviously, that pick was borderline lucky. I would say it was lucky.
Why?
It was a clear drop by the receiver.
I don't know if it was a drop. I felt like it was a bad throw. It was behind the receiver.
Regardless, he dropped it. The ball was behind him, and it went right into Trayvon Diggs' hands. And he went right into the end zone.
You remember that play? I don't think the coverage on the slant was
bad. But it wasn't
right there.
No, he was not on his hip. He had space. It just went backwards.
I think if he catches that, he makes a tackle right there.
You can say that, and You have the right to say that.
Yeah.
But I can also say we saw Jamal Adams on Sunday Night Football drop a pick in his face.
Oh, but
It bounced off his helmet.
it's Jamal Adams.
I get it, but a lot. So we see corners all the time drop picks.
But Diggs isn't a regular corner.
Diggs got hands.
Yeah, he used to play receiver.
Yeah,
So
he got hands like a receiver.
Was it lucky
It was a
that
fortunate play for him.
if Mac Jones underthrows that ball to Kendrick Bourne, by half a yard, Diggs picks that off.
I think
that
so.
big play. So
think-
was it lucky that
I
Mac
think
Jones
Diggs
did
has shown
made
the
the perfect
ability that
pass?
he's going to make that play 9 times out of 10.
So I'm saying we can get into that lucky, not lucky thing. The point is he has 7 interceptions on the
No,
season.
he's been amazing.
Now, all of them
Yeah.
haven't been that way.
No, I agree with that.
And he's by far the defensive player of the year. I just think Dallas is playing with extreme confidence right now. Their offense is so elite that I trust them against any team in football. And they have the medicine for every team. The same way they can't. Yeah, you're right. They can't stop the Cardinals. They can't stop the Rams.
Or the
they
Bucks.
probably can't stop the Bucks or the Packers.
Yep.
But those teams can't stop them either. So all of these games are going to be shootouts.
for sure.
I'm interested on the Packers one.
Cards might be able to.
Cardinals could stop them.
They might.
Do
They
they
might
face
be
in the
able
regular
to.
season? I
Yes,
hope
they do. I think they faced the
I
second to
hope
last
they
week
do.
of the season, January
I
2nd.
hope they all play.
I hope
Check,
they.
I think
I
it's-
hope
I think
they
it's
play because Cowboys.
January
are whooping
2nd,
them.
yeah, they
Yeah,
do play
week
January
16.
2nd.
Week
I hope
17,
they
excuse
play,
me.
bro.
Cowboys are whooping them.
They have
All
no
right,
medicine.
they are
for that.
home.
This is actually. I'm glad you said that because they have no medicine for Kyler Murray. Like nothing.
Well,
they have
to
no
be fair,
medicine for
there's
Dak
no,
Prescott.
There's no one that has an answer for Kyler.
Nothing.
They have no answer
There's
for
nobody
that.
has an answer for Nuke.
They don't. No, nobody ever
Luke.
does.
They don't have an
Diggs is
answer for
getting
Tony
cooked.
Pollard either.
Hmm?
They don't have an answer for Tony Pollard.
Or Zeke.
That's a weird way to say Zeke.
Nah, Tony Pollard 6 yards per rush. Damn.
That's gonna be the week where
How many
Trayvon
attempts
Diggs
does
really
he
gets
get, yo?
exposed,
Huh?
How
like
many
for the
rushing
man he
attempts
is.
did he
Who?
get? Pollard.
How, on the season?
Yeah.
I think he has over 300 yards. Diggs is not a bad cover guy.
No, but I think Hopkins is gonna really like.
He's
expose
actually
the type
Hopkins
of
gonna
man
kill
he
him.
is.
Diggs is better in coverage than Marcus Peters. He is.
Are you saying that off of stats or
No,
film?
I'm just saying that because that's the comparison you like to make.
No, I'm asking. Are you saying that off stat or film?
I'm saying it off of watching them.
Now,
I think Diggs has.
I've
better
heard
coverage.
off coverage, Diggs is better than Marcus
Probably is.
Peters.
Not by much, dude. I don't think
Marcus Peters is a top 15 corner in the league. So
at
yeah.
that time
I think
He was top 10.
yeah, he was definitely playing at that level.
top 15. He was playing at a top 5 level.
No,
he was
top
probably
10.
top 10.
Okay, so you're saying he was top 5 at that time.
No,
He's
you
playing
can
at a
play
top
at a
5
top 5 level and not be top. I think he was top 10 certified.
So
his
he was
rookie
top
year.
10. So you're saying that Diggs is certified top 10
Right
top
now,
5.
he is top
Diggs
10.
is
He's
certified top 5
He's
right
a top
now.
5 corner.
I've never.
I put him at 4, right behind Lattimore.
All right, so we cool
Jairi.
with that. I never said, but I just think when you play a man like D Hop, it's like you can't gamble with him. You
To this point,
I won't lie, D-Hop's violating Diggs.
yeah, you can't
course
gamble.
you-
Like he
to
ain't
this
played
point,
nobody like that yet.
to this point, Diggs is not. He's not Revis. He's not Dion. He's not none of those guys.
No, he's not.
He's a
you
great
need a-
gambler, but he's also good in coverage.
But you need a guy. You need at least a Ramsey to stop a
Is he
D
like?
Hop.
Is he
And
like?
I'm gonna bank on Trayvon at least giving Hopkins fits in that game too.
He's not DJ Moore. He's not.
Is he
He's
like
not
a-
DJ Moore. He's not Chris
I
Godwin.
like Trayvon Diggs.
He's
I
not
like his
Mike
development.
Evans. He's not these guys. Like he's of
What,
the
Mike Evans?
I'm talking about D Hop. He's of the
Thing
upper
is,
echelon of
I don't
receivers.
He's
want-
a top 3 receiver.
I don't
Top
want to
2.
talk down on Trayvon Diggs because
It's not
I'm a
talking
huge no. But this whole that he could give DeAndre Hopkins fits, I'm sorry.
So what? What's Hopkins' stat line for that game?
Oh, he's getting 85.
85 yards.
Yeah, easy.
I mean,
The-
if you talking about- if you
hold on,
hold
hold
Hopkins
on,
to
hold
85
on.
yards,
No,
that's
no,
a
no,
win,
no.
bro.
So
Let's
you're telling
not
me
get fooled.
that's
look at
a
his
team.
Boys, let's
That's a
not
win,
get
you have to look at
boys,
his team.
Let's not get fooled. It's going to be week 17. Cardinals they're probably already locked for the playoffs.
That's what I said.
Well,
if,
we're not
if they all
sure.
play.
We're not sure.
Nook has had some injury issues already, so who knows the amount of time he's going to be playing.
Well,
already.
of course. Let's
I
just
will say
when
if-
healthy. When
if they meet
healthy.
in the playoffs, Nook is going for over 100. Easy.
Yo, who's the next elite receiver Diggs plays coming up on that schedule?
Let's see.
Do they play Green Bay? Because, oh, my God.
They play the Vikings this
Ooh,
Sunday.
that's
so
gonna be
Jettas
very tough.
Or
He's gonna have to
Thielen.
cover.
Broncos. Hopefully Judy's
No,
back.
that's next Sunday.
Do they play Green
They play
Bay?
Ridley, right?
Vikings have a bye week.
That's the 31st. Excuse me. They have a bye week this
And
upcoming
they play
week
the
as well.
Falcons.
They
Ridley's
play the
pretty good.
Chiefs, so he's gonna play against Tyreek Hill.
He's going to be playing against some great receivers.
Yo,
and
wait.
He's going to prove you guys wrong. each week.
Falcons have a good receiver too, right? Ridley.
Calvin
Ridley,
Ridley.
He's
Yeah.
really good too.
Yep. Facts.
So he's gonna.
I mean, he's
gonna get
facing a
tested.
lot of good receivers.
He's gonna get
so
tested.
We'll see.
So we'll see. Yeah.
Because the way I talk about his coverage is like he can't guard anybody.
I'm not
Yo,
saying that.
is it facts or
No,
fiction?
we're
Kadarius
talking about
Toney
the
put up
elite of the
200
elite.
See,
on
this
him.
guy
You
says
heard
that,
it?
but we're talking about
Yeah,
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, we're talking about elite of the elite. You try to
What are you
spin that
talking
narrative.
about?
You
No,
talk
no,
about
I'm the
D-Hop.
one that asked that question. I want to see like the
No,
elite receivers
he's
coming up
saying
on
that
his
we're
schedule.
talking down on Trayvon Diggs' coverage.
No, I
we're
was just
talking
hoping
down his coverage when
it's
it
just
comes
a
to
nuke.
guarding
I hope
DeAndre
Dallas
Hopkins.
plays Green Bay. I want to see him matched up against Tay.
Okay, yeah, that'd be nuts.
He had 21 yards against the Jaguars. Hopkins did.
Okay, like I said, he's been dealing with injury, bro. Why are you looking at me? Okay. Are you going to talk down on DeAndre Hopkins? He's
Hopkins is a top 3 receiver in the league.
bad. Okay, so what?
But I'm
what's your
saying
point here?
Trayvon Diggs and him is going to be a great matchup.
Bro,
It's not going to be one-sided like you guys
All
think
right,
it's going to
so
be.
I'll tell
I think
you-
it has.
I'll tell
I
you-
think it potentially could be one-sided.
I
though.
got you, King.
Potentially though.
DeAndre Hopkins was a game-time decision going into that game. He was
What about the
probably
Browns
a decoy.
versus 55 yards?
Same thing, bro. He's been hurt basically all season. And so week 17, they're probably not going to need him. Come playoff time, Nuck will be ready.
Wow, you're really trying to downplay.
That's what he's
D-Hop
trying to
right
do.
Now, I'm not
right
trying to
now.
downplay
No, that is
D-Hop,
what he's
but
doing.
that matchup is going to be very
bringing
great.
up the 25 yards against Jacksonville is
Yeah,
downplaying
That's
D-Hop.
downplaying. Yeah.
now. And then you brought up Cleveland
Denzel Ward, yeah. I think Trayvon's better than Denzel Ward.
and man-to-man.
It's not that far
Denzel
off.
Ward lock up.
Denzel Ward's better than him in man-to-man.
It's not that far off.
It's
Diggs is
Trayvon
gonna-
Diggs' ball hawking ability that has him, okay, is he elite right now? But his coverage, there's a few that are on his level.
His coverage is good. It's not horrible by any means.
I wouldn't say it was horrible. No way.
Or it's not even average. It's good.
I don't know. I just like we've seen D-Hop in this league. We've only seen one guy give a healthy D-Hop fit, so that's Jalen Ramsey. And Trayvon Diggs and man-to-man is nowhere near Jalen Ramsey's level. So I just
At all.
Well,
like,
we'll see if they
nowhere
match up.
near.
And
At all.
right now in these next stretch of games versus the Vikings versus the Packers, we're going to
Oh,
see
yeah.
Trayvon against some elite
I
receivers.
hope he matches up.
You
Ooh,
said the
Jetta's
Browns,
tough.
right? He had 55 yards. What they win by like almost 20,
Nah, yeah, it was a block.
and he had, and he had a touchdown still.
Nah, he had 2.
Are you trying?
Yeah. But one of them was on the screen. It wasn't on Denzel Ward if you watched that game. It was
Well, there was one that he was wide open in the end zone just by himself because you can't guard him.
Yeah, but one of them was a screen, which it was an amazing play by him. But
That whole receiving core is getting love, so D-Hop's not going to see it a lot because the whole
If
core
they
is
need him,
on fire.
all
right
they
now.
need to do is close their eyes and throw him the ball.
Who you said that he plays Jetta the week after this week?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Oh yeah,
Week 8.
and Thielen, both of them.
Yeah, that's gonna
I
be
prefer
both.
Jetta.
No, I mean both of them's
I
gonna
mean,
be tough.
Thielen is still a great
Thielen's-
receiver.
and Thielen's
I just
been-
prefer
Thielen's
the
dumb
Jetta
nice.
matchup.
Thielen's dumb
We'll,
nice.
we'll see how Trayvon Diggs holds up. I have the Vikings in that game, though, but we'll see how Trayvon Diggs holds up.
Let's
I like
see.
Trayvon Diggs.
Good.
Kyler Murray versus Lamar Jackson. This is our next topic. Quick question. Who's better? Because in the offseason, because of all the narratives surrounding Lamar, people said Kyler Murray's better. They would rather take Kyler Murray. I'm not sure if it was you, Drew, but I think you said you would prefer
would.
Kyler over Lamar.
I would.
I said it too.
Okay, so now the question is arising again because this year Lamar has taken another step in his passing. His mechanics look much more sound.
For sure.
And just 2 years ago, I believe, when it was his second season, he said he wants to be as good of a passer as Drew Brees. And it looks like
praise.
he's getting to that level right now because he's passing it at an extremely efficient clip. So right now, who are you taking? Who's the better player, Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson?
Who you taking? Who's better?
Who's better? Who's a better player? I mean, isn't it the same question? They're both
Nah, you could.
around the same age.
Who's better? But who you taking? It's different. It's different schemes, all that good stuff. But who's better? You got to say Lamar right now. I mean, the way he just bugged
Easily.
out, like the way he just and listen, it's nothing. I think they're still neck and neck because they're the same type of play style. I think both of them are as electric in the run game as they are in the passing. I think Kyler's probably before the season, we all thought Kyler was a better passer at that point. But then Lamar coming in this year with all the injuries that his team has lost his running back, all his running backs, still doesn't have that dominant elite number one. His number one, Hollywood, he's good, but he's not great. He's not elite. You know, Mark Andrews is really good as a tight end, but losing one of his left tackle, one of his offensive line for the year, Ronnie Stanley.
Ronnie
He did.
Stanley.
That's the left tackle.
Yeah, he's elite. Still being able to find ways to gut out wins in the fourth quarter, get his team back into it. I mean, aside from that Raiders game, which he messed up that one on him, he's really made not too many mistakes this year, and he's improved dramatically in the passing game. With Kyler Murray, though, he's just a dangerous guy. You know, he gets on the field, and it doesn't matter who's out there with him, who's his O-line. He just makes things work. He makes things happen. He's magic with his feet. His throwing arm is ridiculous. But right now, you know, I got to go with Lamar playing the way he is. He's the former MVP. You know, he's just accomplished so much, and he's been playing at a better level right now. Even though Kyler Murray's team is 6-0, they haven't been doing their thing. Lamar, with being that his team has seen more injuries, his team is not as talented as Arizona because of the injuries, and he's still gutting out fourth quarter wins and digging them back, beating the Chiefs. I have to give Lamar the edge right now, but it's a slight edge. It's nothing big.
In terms of passing, Kyler Murray has more completions. His completion percentage is higher. It's 73.8 to Lamar's 67.5. He has more yards than him, passing yards. He has more yards per attempt. He has more touchdowns, less interceptions, and he has more rushing touchdowns than Lamar Jackson. All this, obviously, he's 6-0. I'm still riding with Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray separates himself because of his arm. And as much as we've seen Lamar take strides this season with his passing, becoming more confident as a passer, Kyler Murray's had that since day one. And he's always been, not always, he's been able to, up until this point, continue progressing in that sense. And his arm, as good as it was rookie season, it's even better now.
Yep.
And now we're just seeing it translate to wins. So, of course, what Lamar Jackson's been doing this season has been spectacular. Because he, in terms of yards for, Lamar Jackson rushing, he has over 200 yards more than Kyler Murray. So, obviously, Lamar Jackson, in terms of rushing the ball, is better. But why I think Kyler separates himself outside of the arm is that Kyler Murray knows how to protect himself. So he's still efficient in his runs. He's just smarter in his approach. He knows that he's a little bit faster than some of these guys. He knows that he knows how to avoid getting hit by these bigger guys. Baseball plays a big sense into his game, too, also because he knows how to slide. Lamar Jackson is not a sliding quarterback. He's I'm going to try and get by you. I'm going to try and juke you. I'm going to get hit if I need to get hit, but that's not Kyler's game. And that's why I think for longevity-wise, Kyler Murray's going to be here a little bit longer than Lamar Jackson's going to be. And I think that because Kyler Murray is already a better passer and more confident passer than Lamar, I think I got to stay with Kyler.
The downfall of Cam Newton was that he couldn't protect himself.
100%.
But also, it was that he wasn't an accurate passer throughout his career. He showed flashes, but he wasn't that. Lamar Jackson is an accurate passer. And this narrative that he just became good this season is wrong.
For sure.
In 2019, he was second.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I know.
Before you go on your rant, you started that narrative.
In 2018. In 2018.
Yo.
And I've admitted I was wrong about Lamar. Yeah, I said it.
It was this past week that he realized, what is it, Ravens, whatever it is.
No arm Lamar. That was what I used to call Lamar Jackson. Yeah, there's no doubt I did. And if I was bigger then it probably the name would have stuck with a lot of people, and I would have started that. I would have been happy with that nickname too. But Lamar Jackson was second in QBR passing in the pocket last year, which means he was the second best quarterback in the pocket last year in 2019. The narrative that Lamar Jackson just became a great passer this season is not a right one. Kyler Murray doesn't have a better arm than Lamar Jackson, and in terms of running, it's not close. Kyler Murray has to protect himself when he runs, because if he doesn't, he's 5'9". He's gonna get rocked. Lamar Jackson is physical enough to take those hits and actually survive them. Kyler Murray can't survive those hits. Lamar Jackson can. I find it ironic that when Lamar Jackson runs and is physical and is trying to gain extra yardage, we all say, "Come on, man, protect yourself." That's not the way to go about it. That's why he's gonna fuel out. We never say that with Josh Allen.
I was just about to say,
and Josh Allen does crazier leaps than Lamar Jackson. He takes care of himself less than Lamar Jackson, but for some reason we don't say how long is Josh Allen going to last. We don't ever bring up that question, but with Lamar Jackson, we bring up that question. Lamar Jackson is too good of a passer right now because he's developed that, and this year he took a step in his mechanics because his feet used to be closer together, but now they're further apart, so he doesn't. He's
got a more firm base. I understand what you're saying.
He has a more firm base, but when you move around a lot, passes tend to come out awkwardly sometimes. Now they don't do that no more.
He's more sound in his mechanics.
Imagine if Lamar Jackson had DeAndre Hopkins.
That's what I've been saying the whole time.
Imagine if he had that luxury that Kyler Murray has.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he just had a Christian Kirk alongside Marquise Brown, even if he just had Christian Kirk and Brown in Hollywood, just imagine what that can do. Lamar Jackson is already the best dual threat quarterback of all time. He's better than Michael Vick. It's not even a debate. Nobody should be debating that.
You gotta stop.
He's better than Michael Vick.
Why? Because of the numbers?
Yo, I'm a big Michael Vick fan. I think Lamar Jackson.
Lamar's better than Michael
rushing
Vick.
the ball. It's
Passing?
that's where that is
passing
egregious.
Have you seen Michael Vick's completion percentage?
I knew he was gonna go to the number.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just asking you.
It's close because in terms of running, Michael Vick was a dog too at running.
No, forget about that. Obviously, Michael Vick's arm
Michael Vick had a
was
cannon,
amazing.
Bro. You saw him play for the
Michael Vick is
I don't
not
know about that one.
Michael Vick is not as accurate as a quarterback as Lamar Jackson. And this year, you look at the numbers. Kyler Murray's winning in most of the raw numbers against Lamar Jackson. But Lamar, he shattered every single narrative there is to shatter. You can't come from behind. He has 3 game-winning drives and 3 fourth-quarter comebacks this season alone. Can't win in the playoffs. He won in the playoffs this past season. He's already won an MVP. Those are all things Kyler Murray hasn't done yet. Outside of come back in close games, he hasn't been to the playoffs. He hasn't won an MVP. He was in a race last year. He was in a race last year. He fizzled out and got out of it. He hasn't done what Lamar Jackson has done. To put the only reason why people started that conversation is because Kyler Murray has a better arm, quote unquote. But that's not even true now. Lamar Jackson's a better passer. He's the better quarterback. And that completion percentage number, I mean, goddamn, look at how the Ravens and the Cardinals play. They're 2 complete different offenses. They asked Lamar Jackson to do way more in the Ravens system than they asked Kyler to do in Arizona. Kyler's throwing RPO, short passes, screens. Lamar is throwing the ball down the field more.
But he has more.
Kyler Murray leads the league in
yeah.
20-yard touchdowns.
And his yards per attempt is more than Lamar's.
What are you talking about?
His yards per attempt are more than Lamar's because Arizona has such a great and efficient offense in the way that they take these little chunks. They take the little chunks slowly and slowly. A screen to Christian Kirk, a screen to DeAndre Hopkins. They get it going with the short passing game. Then they take a deep shot. With Lamar and the Ravens, they're throwing posts off the rip. You know, that's not Arizona. Like, for example, versus the Browns in that Browns game, they were at the 10-yard line, at the goal line in the red zone. Kyler Murray threw a screen to DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins had 2 defenders in front of him, made them both miss, and scored a touchdown 10 yards after the catch. On the stat sheet, it shows that's 10 yards for Kyler Murray. But who created those 10 yards? That was DeAndre Hopkins.
There's also a play against the Rams where Kyler Murray threw a 40-yard TD to A.J. Green. What does that show?
And how many? And you love to stand by Hollywood Brown being this great.
No, I'd love to hear where he's going with this.
How many touchdowns has he dropped this year?
Are you?
How many big plays has he dropped this year?
He's only dropped 3 touchdowns. They were all in one game.
He's dropped 3 touchdowns. He's dropped 3 touchdowns. That's a hat trick.
He's gassing it off one game.
That is a lot, though.
Because right now, Mark Andrews and Hollywood Brown, I'm taking that over just DeAndre Hopkins. And tell me I'm wrong.
But Kyler doesn't have just DeAndre Hopkins.
You want to know why that is? Because Kyler Murray is like that. He's made Christian Kirk.
Wait. Because Kyler's like that, Christian Kirk is good.
You got to explain
He made Christian Kirk, if Christian Kirk really was like that, he would have taken off year 1. Kyler Murray has made him
his rookie
what he is.
season.
Kyler Murray has made Christian Kirk what he is. AJ Green is having a renaissance because of Kyler Murray.
You called him washed before the season
started. Is AJ Green having a renaissance because of Kyler Murray or because
he's playing opposite of DeAndre?
He was taught. Well, that has a lot to do with it.
That's the only thing I would say.
If we saw him last year in Cincinnati, there was footage of AJ Green quitting on plays. He clearly didn't want to be there. I think now he's just in a place where he wants to play football.
Wow. You literally said before the season started that he's washed.
Is AJ Green the top 10 receiver in the league?
No.
Okay, he's not what he used to be, but he's still a serviceable receiver.
I mean,
is he
not a bad number 2?
Sammy Watkins or AJ Green? Who's better? That's a toss up.
Yeah, it is. I kind of like
if
AJ
that's
Green
a toss
better.
up, then that only goes to because obviously the D Hop.
Christian Kirk was a top 5 receiver against man-to-man coverage this year, early in the year. I mean, it's not like
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray's helping him run routes and getting separation.
It's a one-on-one. Kyler Murray knows how to throw the football. Put it in spots where the defender can't.
Who's guarding him though? He's probably getting the 3rd or the 4th best cornerback.
Yeah,
I mean, if we're just gonna,
in the slot.
So, everything's just Kyler Murray.
No,
Kirk is a good player because Kyler Murray.
I don't like the fact that you said this is one thing that did bother me. You said Lamar, he walked into the league, he made the playoffs, then he got MVP, then he won a playoff game, and Kyler didn't do that. When Lamar walked in, it was a completely different situation with his team. His team was already established. When Kyler walked in, Arizona was in a big rebuild mode.
When Lamar walked in, Joe Flacco had a losing record.
They were 1-4, right?
No,
they weren't 1-4.
What was their record when when he stepped in for Joe Flacco.
I don't remember, but they were a lot more established than Arizona. Arizona was in a complete rebuild.
Ravens were not going to make the
Kyler Murray was
playoffs.
a top four pick.
But they weren't making the playoffs with Joe Flacco that year.
But Kyler Murray was a top 4 pick, bro.
I'm positive that
Well,
they
well,
might have lost like
He was the
one
first
game.
pick in the draft.
So that's like they were in complete
And Joe Flacco
rebuild
was playing
mode.
bad. That's why they obviously made the change, right? Because he was just playing horrible.
No, he
that
got
year.
hurt. They were 5-4.
They were 5-4.
They were 5-4.
Okay.
Joe Flacco was not leading that team to the playoffs. The reason Lamar
You
Jackson
can't say
got
that.
the reason why Lamar Jackson got inserted in was because the offense needed a spark, and he created a spark. And that year, he wasn't that amazing of a passer, but in the second year, he took a gigantic leap, unanimous MVP. In his third year, took another leap. But Kyler Murray, yeah, the situation he got drafted
Completely
into,
different.
which was much worse. But Cliff Kingsbury deserves a lot of credit for turning that around as well.
100%, but that's- they
But
go hand
Kyler's
in
been
hand.
like
And-
that since
and
year
Cliff-
one.
And in
Kyler did
Cliff's
have a good rookie year.
He did.
I remember that.
And in Cliff's Arizona's second year with Kyler, they did get him DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, no, of
So
course.
they made it a case immediately. Let's get this guy an elite receiver. They didn't do that. They still haven't done that with Lamar Jackson.
In year one, he didn't have D-Hop, and he still was rookie of the year, obviously, put up a great rookie season.
That rookie, he was good. Was he better than Baker his rookie year? He wasn't.
Given rushing and taking rushing into account, I'm taking Kyler.
Baker had the better rookie year. I mean, Baker won it over Saquon. And Saquon was his electric his rookie season. You know, Kyler, who he's going up against in that rookie of the year race. I'm not trying to take it.
Herbie?
Was it Justin
I
Herbert?
apologize.
No,
You're
Herbie
right.
was Joe Burrow.
You're right.
I'm not trying to take anything away from Kyler Murray, but when your competition is Daniel Jones and Drew Lock, I
Facts.
mean, what do you expect? You have no competition at the quarterback position.
What does that have to do with the numbers he still put up
Kyler Murray's
and the
numbers were
success that he had?
Kyler's numbers were losing record.
7
It
and
doesn't-
9
I
is
don't
not
think-
that bad, though.
I don't think that matters in the
But
offense.
Kyler Murray's numbers were good,
And
but
nobody
they
was paying him to
weren't.
make the
Rookie
playoffs.
season 2, 7-9. That's bad.
That's not
They
bad.
were good, but they weren't great. His numbers were
He
good.
was
They
the
weren't
number
great.
1 pick, which means they were the worst team in the league before that. And then they go up to 7-9 with
7-9 is not
Kyler
bad.
Murray.
For a
That's
rookie,
pretty
it's not
good,
bad.
bro. That's a big jump.
Rookie
Just 'cause-
season, he threw for 37-22, 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Let me see how many rushing yards and rushing touchdowns he had. If that's not, pull up Baker's. Did he have 3,700?
Baker might have had a better rookie year.
I mean, he broke the record
he
for
might.
most touchdowns
There's
as a
nothing wrong
rookie.
with that, though. Baker was tough his rookie
Yeah,
year.
Kyler's obviously better than Baker right now, but
Yeah.
we're just talking about the rookie season.
He had 4 rushing touchdowns,
Yeah, now Baker was probably better.
544.
For example, you mentioned that first overall pick thing. Okay, just because you were the first pick doesn't mean your team doesn't have talent. Baker was the first pick. He got drafted to Cleveland. They won 7 games that first year too.
That's good.
I know. But I'm saying Arizona, it's not like they lack talent, but that second year they brought in DeAndre Hopkins for
Yeah,
him.
and then-
And they started to add more talent. Buda Baker started to show out even more.
Oh, no, of course.
So this is Kyler's third year. In Kyler's second year last year, did we not expect them to make the playoffs? I know I did. I picked them to make the playoffs.
They went 10-6, right?
9-7. Or it was 8-8 or 9-7.
I
It
don't
was
think
one of
I
those.
expected it, but I expected them to be better than their rookie year. I don't think I don't remember if I
Threw for
expected
37-25. Kyler threw for 37-22. So he threw for 3 more yards.
What was the
Baker
touchdowns?
broke the rookie
He
touchdown
did.
record.
And I'll tell you
Baker
that
had a
Kyler
better
Murray
rookie
did
year.
not have Jarvis Landry.
Are you
Really?
serious, bro?
Jarvis Landry was
Well,
like
come on,
that
like,
season.
But I
Whoa,
thought
whoa,
you,
whoa,
nah, I thought you were
whoa.
gonna say somebody else, like a Odell. or like
Please
a
don't
Micah
talk.
Evans.
King,
No, you said
King,
Jarvis
do me
Landry.
a solid.
I'm
Do
gonna
not
just
talk.
be honest. If you're gonna just use
But
players
you're-
to discredit
King, but
other
you just
people's
said that-
accomplishments, I'm
Bro,
not even
that's
gonna
what,
entertain this
what
argument.
you just did was say that he's playing with DeAndre Hopkins. Lamar is playing with Hollywood and Mark Andrews.
He's a top
But
3
that's what-
receiver.
but you're just saying-
Hold up. You said you'd rather have Mark Andrews and Hollywood Brown than DeAndre Hopkins. That's
As
what
of
you said.
right now, yes, I would.
So you'd rather have the duo of Mark Andrews and Hollywood
Right
Brown
now, yeah.
over having
It's not a hot take
DeAndre
still,
Hopkins. Why right now? Because he's hurt?
Because because right now Hollywood and Mark Andrews are playing amazing right now.
So you'd rather have them two than DeAndre Hopkins.
As of right now, yes.
So if you're starting a football team, you have your quarterback established. If you need a weapon, you're taking Andrews and Hollywood over DeAndre Hopkins.
I'm
That's
getting.
crazy, though.
Am I getting that duo? I'm getting that duo or DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes.
You get Hopkins and you get a serviceable tight end.
See, that's
you,
not the
you
that's
get
not
you
the
get
question.
Tyler Croft.
Because
No, give him Max Williams. Give him Max Williams.
I'll give him Max Williams.
Give him
Okay,
Max Williams.
He's okay. I'll give you Dan Arnold.
You're getting D Hop, bro. Why would you take Hollywood and Andrews over D Hop?
I'm saying the combination right now of Andrews and Hollywood has obviously had the success this season.
But
that-
that. Yeah.
Why would I look at just DeAndre Hopkins? Obviously, he impacts the game the way he does. But I'm going to get 2 players now that can give me what I need to win a game?
I don't know.
I don't think that's a fair question. You're putting 2 against 1. I think you have to look at their whole.
But the
offense
two
together,
is not. Even if you put them together, like they're not D-Hop.
Yeah, and the reason
No,
and
Kyler
you're-
Murray definitely has better weapons.
and
though.
the only reason you brought
He
that up
does.
is because you wanted to shred my argument.
Not
of,
really at
of-
all.
Of,
But you're the one that said that. That's what I'm saying. That you're saying that he's playing with
I
Kyler.
said that. I said because that's a fact. He's playing with an elite receiver, a number 1 receiver. Hollywood
Isn't a number 1.
He's
good.
He's an upper end wide receiver too. Low end number 1.
He's good.
He's not an elite wide receiver number
You're telling me
1.
right now he's not at a wide receiver 1 right now?
A low end one. He's not a high end one. Is he a top 15
Is he
receiver
better
in the
than
league?
Corey
Right
Davis?
now?
Is he a top 10
Right
receiver in the
now,
league?
yes.
Rivs, he's better than
Top 10
Corey
receiver
Davis.
in the league?
Joel,
that's
is he
tough.
better than Corey Davis?
It's a lot of hot takes.
Bro, close your eyes and say yes.
It's a lot of hot takes going on right now.
This what I'm saying because you said when I said he has Hopkins and you said, "Oh, I'd rather have Hollywood and Andrews." Well, I'd rather have Hopkins, Kirk, Moore, Green, Max Williams.
Oh,
And why is
there it
that?
And I'd rather have
And why is that?
and the Cardinals have an elite offensive line. It's
They-
a stone
they do
wall.
have a
Rodney
solid-
Hudson
yep.
has changed. It's a stone
For
wall.
sure.
Ravens don't have that. They're dealing with the most injuries in football right now.
They
don't
just
have it 'cause of injuries,
literally
though.
just happened.
No,
this
not
past week.
even that. Because Ronnie Stanley was there. He was healthy. Their offensive line is bad.
So this
because
year's just been bad.
their offensive line has just been bad. Villanueva hasn't been good. Ben
real.
Powers has been good. Bradley Bozeman hasn't been good.
Okay.
Like,
Because last year they
their
had
off-
an elite offensive
Their
line.
offensive line has been dropping down ever since Marshall
Okay.
Yanda
Copy.
has retired. And Orlando Brown got traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. So when we look at Kyler Murray, an elite offensive line, way better than Lamar's, elite supporting cast. His supporting cast is better than Baltimore's. And you can't even use the running back debate because all of their running backs are injured. I'd rather take Chase Edmonds and James Conner
I'm with you.
over anybody Baltimore
I'm with
has.
you. Yep.
So Lamar is at a disadvantage and still has his team at 5-1 and has led 3 comebacks. This year, I don't, in terms of sheer value and what you bring to your team, it's Lamar Jackson. There's no debate. And in terms of who's a better quarterback, it's Lamar Jackson.
Can't agree there.
You put Lamar, I guarantee you put Lamar Jackson on Arizona, we look at them much more dangerously as a team.
You really think so?
Yeah.
How so? They're
I
6-0. How
because
more
Lamar,
dangerous can we
because
get?
How much more dangerous can you be at 6-0?
Like, come on.
you can be, that would garner you the respect of everybody.
With Lamar?
Yes, I think,
I respect him now with Kyler Murray.
of course I do. But I just think
Doesn't sound like it.
if you put Lamar Jackson in Arizona and you swap Kyler, I think that's a better offense. And I love Kyler Murray, but I just don't
Did
think
Kyler
this,
Murray have this O-line last season?
No, but he had.
And what did he do last season?
Last season he had a top 5 pass blocking offensive line. You didn't know that, right? Okay. So Kyler Murray.
So then what him doing the stuff that he does with his legs, what happens when that breaks down? Right? Like when that O-line breaks down and he has to go and scramble.
Mm-hmm.
We're not giving him the credit because he's able to move outside the pocket.
When did I discredit him?
You're saying he's got a top 5 pass blocking.
He did.
But
That's
is
a
it
fact.
not to his credit?
Somewhat, but I don't know if those stats are measured that way. You know, I don't know if those stats take into account
So then
Kyler
it's
running
a flawed
around.
stat.
It's the best stat we have available. You know, do you have a better
I'm going to
stat?
start using that.
Do you have a better stat that I can use that we can,
Kyler Murray's rushing yards, his passing yards.
all Lamar Jackson has better than that, right?
In
And
what-
this is
which
the
sense?
debate.
This year, no, it's not.
In
It's
passing, it's
Kyler.
definitely
In
Kyler Murray.
passing,
Kyler.
it's down the board.
No, you said rushing though. You said
rushing.
rushing.
Rushing is
I'm
not
saying
close.
combined. I'm
Right.
saying
And
combined.
no, rushing for their career has been close. It's
No,
Lamar.
without
right?
a
It's not
doubt.
close.
Touchdowns, it's close.
But you started this argument by saying we're not going to give Kyler the credit of running around. Lamar Jackson can do that.
for sure.
So the things you're telling me Kyler can do, Lamar
But I'm
Jackson can
saying
do it
last
better.
season. I don't know about that. Throwing on the run. It's
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't.
Throwing
Do
on the
not.
run, throwing,
Kyler's better at
throwing
that.
on the run,
Kyler's-
Kyler has that.
Yeah, for sure.
But
With his
Lamar,
eyes closed.
Russell
Lamar
Wilson,
Jackson,
like-
Lamar Jackson getting out the pocket, yeah, he could do that
For sure.
Like it's not
No
like
doubt.
it's not like
No,
Kyler
of
can just do
course.
that. I'm just saying this year he has an elite offensive line. Last year he had an elite offensive line, pass blocking wise.
He is a reason to that though, because obviously.
When did I say he wasn't?
But I'm just saying.
But the stats are the stats. And
But
your
then Kyler's
argument
Kyler.
to everything I say can't just be, well, it's because that's not the right stat.
That's
It's
not what
'cause
I'm saying at all. I'm
no,
saying
because
because Kyler
I'm telling
Murray
you
is
their
as elite.
offensive line was great at pass blocking last
And I'm
year.
saying
and
it's
you're
in
just
credit to
saying
him.
it's just Kyler. It's because Kyler Murray though.
Correct.
This is the first time college had a great team around.
Last year he had a great team.
That was a great team.
I disagree.
Yes.
That defense was
They
garbage.
started out what 3-0. They started out.
I mean, 3-0 don't really mean okay for that. All right,
No, stop it.
On
Their
both
defense was
not-
garbage.
What'd you say? They were amazing? What'd you say? What was the word that you just
Their
They
used?
said
defense was
great.
great. It was a great
They
defense.
weren't a great team though as a
Stop
collection though
it.
last year.
Even when Chandler Jones went down, Hassan Reddick stepped up.
Their rush defense.
so they're
was
the same.
mid
So
last
do you think
season.
they were better than they were last year? This team.
They're better this year
So
on
this is an
defense
elite team.
because of J.J. Watt, but their secondary on paper at least was better last year. And I think because of the additions of Zaven Collins and the guys they had, you can, and Isaiah Simmons' development, you can make the case for this year, but their defense wasn't garbage last year.
I wouldn't
It
say
wasn't.
garbage. It wasn't what I wouldn't say it was amazing. Wasn't great.
Where do you think they ranked last year?
If I had to really
I'll
guess,
say 19.
I was gonna say 18.
I was thinking 18.
Hey, there we go. They're in the 20s.
12th. So they were okay. So they weren't.
That's
They
a
were
solid
garbage
defense.
though. Okay.
Shout out
So
to Arizona.
all
I did
right.
not
So
know that.
I'm just
Shout
saying,
out
if
to
you're
Arizona.
gonna debate
garbage.
Kyler and Lamar, come prepared because Kyler has not been playing with complete
I
trash.
said with some facts. I came prepared.
What? I didn't hear a fact you said.
What are you talking
All
about?
you
I
said was Kyler. All you
What
said
were
was
the facts I didn't say?
all you said was that Kyler moves. You didn't give me one stat.
No,
in
he
this
did. He
entire-
said-
outside of the passing thing. And completion
He
percentage.
has more rushing touchdowns than him this season, and obviously Lamar is the better rusher, but he has more rushing touchdowns than he does. Passing, it's down the board. Kyler Murray, his team is 6-0. He's played against your Super Bowl
quarterback
favorite.
is a wins. Wins is a quarterback stat. You think wins is a quarterback stat?
It definitely helps the margin. I wouldn't say it's
Who
a total.
impacts the game the most, King?
No, I'm just saying.
I'm asking you. Who impacts the game the most?
What would
You
Tom
know the
Brady
game.
say?
Given, I don't think wins is a quarterback stat though. I know quarterback is the most meaningful position, but it's not a quarterback stat.
So what does it do?
So then, all right, no, fine. I'll just take every single passing category that he has over Lamar, which is every single one.
Okay.
I'll take
And
that.
then do that and compare that to Lamar Jackson's unanimous MVP season. Do
So
that.
I'll do that at the
And
end
it's
of this
not
year
close.
when Kyler Murray
not close.
potentially is unanimous MVP.
If wins is a quarterback stat, you're telling me Jimmy Garoppolo's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
No, but he's solid, and they're not winning right now.
But he's not even a certain. Some people would say he's not. He shouldn't even be starting. It should be Trey
But
Lance.
I think it holds some merit. I wouldn't say it's the end all be all, but winning holds some merit.
I just think when you play, football is the ultimate team game. That's what it's
but you
always
definitely
been.
get a little edge when you play with different quarterbacks.
50% offense, 50% defense, and let's just do numbers, right? If half of the time the defense is on the field and half the time the offense is on the field, that means the quarterback affects 50% of the game in, reasonably 50% of the game, right? Then I tell you, well, 40% of the plays are running plays. That means the quarterback really only has about 30% of control of the game. So, I mean, that's a pretty low percentage when we're talking about a team game. I think wins is not a quarterback.
I'll give
stat.
you an even better one. If you take out Patrick Mahomes on their championship run and you put in a regular quarterback, what do they do?
That's a different
No, what do they do?
conversation.
Well, what do they do?
They might not make the playoffs.
So then why doesn't winning
Well, they made
play,
it with Alex Smith.
but then why doesn't winning play a part if one
Alex Smith's a
quarterback
good
can
quarterback,
impact
though.
winning like
This
that?
is the thing. Quarterbacks elevate a team.
Which
That
goes
is no
into
doubt.
winning, though.
There's no doubt about that. But wins in general is not a quarterback stat. That is just not. There's too much variables in football.
tough.
It's a team game.
Because then what?
In the NBA, one guy, LeBron, can impact the entire game on both ends at all times. Football, you can't do that.
I get it, but when you it's because then if you got a quarterback and you're not winning games, what am I looking at him? Why is he my quarterback? You know.
So Matthew Stafford in Detroit. So it was his fault then. That's what you're telling me.
No,
I
it
mean,
wasn't.
You're
it's
the one
not his
down on
fault.
Matthew
But if you're not
Stafford.
winning,
I'm
eventually,
not down. Hold up. I said he was going to have a top 10 quarterback season. I said he was going to have an MVP-like season. I just said I don't trust him in the playoffs because he hasn't had big games like that. I know Matthew Stafford is a great and elite talent. There's no doubt about that. In Detroit, he lost games. Wasn't because of him, because of the team, because football
So you
is
just
is
said
the
it wasn't because
ultimate
of him,
team
but you
game.
just said you don't trust him. But you
In
just
the-
said it wasn't because of
He
him.
said it's just
I don't
in a
trust
big
him in the
game.
playoffs.
He
I don't
hasn't been in
because
that
he hasn't been in
situation.
a bunch of big games in his career, and that's a fair assessment. But in terms of Detroit, we know that he wasn't the problem at all in Detroit. So that's why I'm saying just because his win-loss record against winning teams in Detroit was like 5-80 something.
Right.
I don't look at that and say, "Wow, Stafford is garbage."
I wouldn't say
I don't say
necessarily
that.
garbage, but
I don't say he's bad. I say, "Damn, the Detroit Lions suck." Because I think wins is a team thing. It's
You
not
can
just
say
a
the
quarterback
Detroit Lions
thing.
suck, but at some point you gotta look at the quarterback at one point and be like, bro, it can't just be the team. Some blame has to be to you. Like some blame has
Wait, you're
to be.
saying Stafford deserves
No,
some
I'm
of that
saying in
blame?
general. I'm saying in general. I'm not even.
No, I
Stafford
know.
is a rare situation.
Quarterbacks definitely they elevate your team, but to just look at a win-loss column and
Oh,
say,
yeah, of course,
okay,
yeah.
this is the end all be all. I don't think winning is a quarterback stat. It's a reflection
Again,
of your
so
team.
then let's look at every passing stat that Kyler Murray has over Lamar
This season,
and
not last season or the year before.
you can go last season.
What are
I'm
we
sure
talking about right
passing stats that Kyler has it over Lamar. I'm sure of it.
I doubt it.
Last season, he's talking about his MVP season. We'll go at the end of this year because
we're gonna.
Lamar's MVP season was Kyler's rookie year, correct?
correct.
Can't really compare those.
That's not what I'm saying. He's trying to say last season. Last season to last season.
If you want to compare Lamar and Kyler's second years, be my guest. Do
No,
it.
don't do that.
That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying last season, which was Kyler's second season, to Lamar's third season, Kyler Murray put up better passing stats than Lamar
Why not
Jackson.
compare Kyler and Lamar's second season? It was both in the second season.
Because one, obviously, Kyler Murray's a year behind Lamar Jackson, so why would I do that?
And what do you mean? Why don't you
'Cause-
compare both of their second seasons?
One, I understand what you're trying to say, obviously, because Lamar Jackson's MVP season was his second season.
No, I'm just saying because at that there are similar parts of their career. They're both in their second years.
Okay.
You can I think it'd be more fair if you compare Lamar's second season to Kyler's second season and Kyler's third season now to Lamar's last season.
So then, by that measure, to a degree, Lamar regressed last year.
He did. To his MVP year, definitely he did. He didn't have the same numbers.
So then Kyler Murray has only continued to improve.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So did Lamar not get better this year? I mean,
No, but
stats.
you're not comparing this year.
I mean, I know, no. Stats wise, absolutely. But this whole argument is Kyler versus Lamar.
Correct.
What their stats are going to look like. You didn't tell me. I know Lamar's stats don't look similar to his MVP stats in his third season. I want to
then
know
what
what
about
they.
last year?
I want to know what they look like compared to Kyler, not Lamar. I know Lamar's look different.
And I told you already, if you compared last season, Kyler Murray versus Lamar Jackson, who has a year of experience on Kyler Murray, in year two, Kyler Murray was better than Lamar.
In year two, wait, what? Say that again.
And Lamar Jackson's last season, in his third year,
In his third year.
Kyler Murray in his year two was more impressive than Lamar Jackson last season.
So you're just comparing the 2020 NFL season.
And then now we're going this season
Oh,
where
wait,
Lamar
so
Jackson
you're-
does
so-
not have a single passing
Wait, hold
category
on.
on Kyler.
Hold up. So you want to compare that season? Okay, tell me one stat from that season then, without looking it up on your computer.
He had
Let me
10
just-
rushing touchdowns.
Okay.
That's
You
off
said
the
you
top
said
of my head.
passing wise though.
Okay,
That's what I'm interested
Look up
in
the
knowing.
passing. Look it up.
Why don't you have it? You're debating me about it.
King, I know it. I don't need to look to know that he led him in every passing category. Why do you think people came into the season thinking Lamar Jackson can't throw a football?
So if people that came into the season thinking
You?
that, I didn't think that. I didn't think
Really?
that. I knew Lamar Jackson.
That's
was good.
cap.
I didn't think
Is there
that.
a cat button? We need a cat button.
I didn't think that. I love it. Coming into this season, I didn't think that. I'm
You're
just saying
lying
if
out
you don't
your ass.
if you don't have Kyler Murray stats or Lamar Jackson stats to compare, don't even debate me
So you
because
want
you're
me to
not
pull
even
it
coming
up?
prepared.
Pull it up.
Do you want me to pull it up,
It's
King?
too
I don't want
long.
to.
We have
Exactly.
an
He doesn't
entire
want me
show
do
to
it
do.
him. He doesn't want me to do it to
Do
him.
we
because I
wanna-
pulled up this year, which is what we're talking about right now.
He beats him in every
and he
passing
hasn't been.
category.
Look it up. It is funny. All green. Nothing.
Do we want to take an hour doing this segment alone?
I mean, King, you keep coming back with me. I'm gonna come back.
No, I'm just saying. Do you want to do an hour doing this segment alone? Because we have a show to do.
We could go on to the next.
So I'm saying
topic,
if you came unprepared for the topic, that's on you. You didn't come prepared for the Lamar debate. You just had this season stats and thought it was fine. That's on you.
And
But
last
we
season,
gotta-
I just gave you facts, King.
you just gave me rushing touchdowns. That's all you gave me.
I told you if we went and looked at the passing stats, Kyler would have it. But we don't have to do that. Let's
No,
go to the next
if
topic.
you want, look it up.
All right, I'll look it up as we go to the next topic. Would that make you happy?
Okay,
Sweet.
that would make me happy.
Cool.
On to the next topic. The Kansas City Chiefs. Right now, they're currently 3-3. They're off to a slow start. And Patrick Mahomes has 8 interceptions so far. Everybody's thinking he's regressing. The Chiefs are regressing. So is everybody overreacting to the Chiefs right now, or do you think the overreaction is warranted?
I think
It's not warranted.
everybody's overreacting, but there is a bit of a concern that should be in that locker room. You know, I think they've made a lot of mistakes. They've blew a couple games. You know, there definitely should be some conversation in that locker room like, yo, what's going on with us? Guys, we got to figure it out. But the overreactions are definitely not warranted. I feel like this team is still one of the best teams in the league once they start getting clicking. This offense is still the best offense in the league once it starts getting clicking. You know, I trust Pat Mahomes. I trust that team. I trust their coach, Andy Reid. It's just really they just got to figure it out, you know. And people were loving to jump on them. They haven't played slouches, you know. Their 3 losses have come from pretty good teams, you know, the Ravens, the Chargers, and I forgot the third one. But nonetheless, they've played really, really good teams. So to say, the Bills, Thank you. That's what it was. So to say to overreact, no, I'm not going to overreact. The Bills, the Chargers, and the Ravens are possible AFC Championship contenders this year, and they're all elite teams. They've shown that they're all elite teams. So the Chiefs probably just came in and not prepared. They'll be more prepared when it comes down the line because, like I said, I trust Mahomes, I trust Andy Reid, and I trust that offense to get it going. It's just that defense. Can that defense get it clicking? Can that secondary get more experience fast enough where that team can start making some plays? And can that defensive line get a little bit better?
I think that people are slightly overreacting to Kansas City's start. I say slightly because the defense is definitely a concern. The defenses look shaky. And last week, I'm not saying that it looked good because it played against Washington. Washington has had a few good games, sure, but it's not a team that I look at and think, all right, this was a statement game by the Chiefs. I think that it's a slight overreaction because obviously we know what the offense can be when it's fully clicking. And it hasn't been fully clicking up until this point, truthfully. And I saw a tweet of yours that said, in a down year from Patrick Mahomes, he's still number 2 in QBR. I believe that's what you tweeted. We're looking at the Chiefs from a super, super high-tech microscope because of the standard that they've already set for themselves. They've shown that they could be, whenever they want to be, the best offense arguably ever because of Patrick Mahomes, because of Tyreek Hill, because of Travis Kelce. I know that I look at their defense and I think, all right, this is the first time I'm thinking that this could be a problem for them. But I think it's a slight overreaction because end of the day, you have to trust that offense. You have to trust Patrick Mahomes. And regardless of that, he's going to be good enough to win you games. Travis Kelce, as long as he's there, even though I'm not sure if there was a report about his wrist or anything about that, but I saw that he banged it up. I don't know if he came back to the game or not. But I know Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, as long as those three are on the field. And we even saw Darrell Williams get his fair share of love this past weekend, when he had 2 rushing touchdowns. So, again, slight overreaction because Patty Mahomes is Patty Mahomes, as much as it pains me to say. But the defense, it's something that you should look at and think, wow, this could be the downfall of the Chiefs this year.
It's not an overreaction to the Chiefs, but it's an overreaction to Mahomes and his play. He's first in touchdowns. He's third in yards, I believe, and he's second in QBR. But he does have 8 interceptions, and that's why everybody's going crazy. But the game versus Washington, the ball hit Tyreek Hill, bounced up, interception. I think half of Mahomes' interceptions have been receivers not making the catch or tip drills. And I believe to me, that doesn't count as an interception on the quarterback. The overreaction to Mahomes' play is not warranted because he's still an elite quarterback. Even in a down year, he's at worst the 3rd best quarterback in football right now. And I think having a bad offensive line last year kind of caused him to create bad habits in the sense of escaping the pocket early and making bad mistakes. He has to get out of that, but he's still playing at an elite level. I mean, teams would dream their quarterback plays at this type of level. The Chiefs is concerning, though, because I think opposite of Tyreek Hill, there's not a second receiver, and they continue to run out in these 3 wide receiver sets. Defensively, they're horrible. There's no other way around it. And I don't think the mistakes on offense coupled in with the defense is going to make the Chiefs a viable team come playoff time, because I see teams that are more balanced in the NFL that have elite offenses as well. I also don't think Mahomes is 100% healthy right now. I think he doesn't look the same to me just from an eye test standpoint. I don't think he's 100% healthy, but he's still an elite quarterback. The Chiefs, slow start is on them, but I think Mahomes is going to be fine.
What was his injury before this?
I believe it's an ankle. I believe it's something to do with his ankle.
And okay,
yeah,
that would make sense. I mean, the defense, is this safe to say that this defense is probably going to be like this all year?
Yeah, unless they're trying to sign Whitney Merciless right now from Houston, who I think would be a good addition as an edge rusher. But their secondary is too young right now. Yeah. Their linebackers are not good, so they have to hope that they grow. But I think their defense is probably going to be a bottom 20 defense all season long.
No, the defense is definitely going to be lacking all season long. There's not going to be anyone available to make a personnel change to change the aura around the defense right now. It's going to be based on whether Patrick Mahomes can be good enough to outplay the other team's defense. Mm-hmm. And we saw in the Super Bowl that if The defense isn't there. Patrick Mahomes can't do it by himself. You know what I'm trying to say? And the offensive line has looked relatively solid compared to what we saw, obviously, in the Super Bowl. Obviously, they have their left tackle. They have their right tackle that's healthy. They missed those two guys in the Super Bowl. But I think when it comes down to the end of the day, I just don't know if I can trust that defense come playoff time. Because obviously, I do believe the offense is going to be good enough, but the defense really isn't that great.
So what do you think about the Chiefs?
I mean, I'm more towards you. I think the overreaction to Patrick Mahomes' bad play is kind of a little bit unwarranted. This kind of gives me there was this one season where the Patriots one year started off like 3-3, and Tom Brady wasn't playing so well. In the media, and everybody was calling out the Patriots, saying if Tom Brady was done. Next game, he lights them up, and they go on to win their next Super Bowl. So, but Brady also didn't have to deal with a defense that was this bad. So, I think the overreaction in terms of the Chiefs offense, I think it is an overreaction. You still have the top 3 quarterback in today's game. You still got elite weapons across the board. I do agree with you in the sense that we saw in the Super Bowl when he was paired up with a good defense, how the Chiefs' offense isn't clicking, it can get really, really ugly real quick. And I'm with you guys. I don't see any signs of this defense improving at all in terms like they're one of the worst secondaries. They don't get pressure on the quarterback, so I don't really see this defense getting much better. But I do think the Patrick Mahomes, I guess, slander is kind of unwarranted because I mean this is an MVP, this is a Super Bowl champion, this is a guy in the past 3 years has gone to the AFC Championship, Super Bowl. So I think the overreaction towards Patrick Mahomes kind of unwarranted. I still think he's, like you guys said, top 3 quarterback. And I think the Chiefs are going to figure it out. I still think the Chiefs are a threat no matter what to make it to the Super Bowl just because of how potent their offense is. But as far as the defense, though, I think that aspect of the team being in question is correct.
Yeah, I agree. And just to let you know, Lamar Jackson had a better yards per attempt, less interceptions, better QBR and quarterback rating. So it wasn't across the board.
Is it true?
He had over 1,000 more passing yards.
Okay.
He had 4 more rushing touchdowns.
Oh.
Kyler Murray.
Who had more rushing yards, though?
Lamar did have more rushing yards, but if you combine both their rushing and passing, it's outstanding. That Kyler has it.
Is that true? Wait, so Kyler had 10 rushing touchdowns? I don't know how many touchdowns
Kyler had
thrown.
11, excuse me.
Kyler had 11 rushing touchdowns. He had 26 passing touchdowns.
And he had over 800 rushing yards last season.
Okay, and he had 26 touchdowns thrown.
And he had 3,700 passing yards.
Kyler Murray had 37 touchdowns to Lamar Jackson 34 the entire year.
And the passing yards, like I said,
you're
100%
your original argument was you look at all the passing stuff off down the board, they're all better, and that's not the case. Like, come on. Quarterback rating, QBR, which is the best stat to measure how a quarterback performs, Lamar is better in that than Kyler Murray. He finished second in QBR in the pocket. So, yeah, you didn't have the stats. You said something missing for him. That's okay. We can move on.
That's all right. We'll look to this season that he has every single category.
Now the debate is done. I hope so. Kyler Murray, hopefully gets that MVP. That's something that Lamar already has. Something that
unanimous.
Kyler doesn't have. Yeah, unanimous. And a playoff win.
He deserved it.
And a playoff win.
Yeah,
he has one.
If Kyler Murray gets MVP, it's not going to be unanimous. There's too many great quarterbacks.
For sure. I know there's a lot of good QB players.
There was no question when Lamar Jackson was MVP.
I bet y'all Kyler get a playoff win this year.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, well.
And a first round bye.
It depends. Teams
Lamar
are only
never had that.
First round bye? Yeah, he did.
He did have
he
that.
did.
But he lost that first.
Derrick Henry.
Was he 0-2 the first 2 years in the playoffs?
No. Yes, he lost to the Chargers and he lost to Tennessee.
The Chargers won. He was a rookie.
And he looked
the ball.
bad.
He looked terrible. Second half, he came out strong though.
He did his thing.
But
against the Titans, he was throwing the ball at the floor.
So, Rib, you think Arizona's gonna get a playoff win this year? For sure.
I'm telling these clowns Arizona nice all year, man. I like Arizona.
I mean, teams are only one game back. Tampa Bay, Dallas, they're all just one game back. I believe Green Bay too.
They don't have nothing to do with 6-0.
No, I'm saying they're just one game back.
I was just letting
6-0.
you know they don't have nothing.
The only team to get a bye is the best team in the NFC.
Not the best team, just with the best record.
Well, that's what that
Tampa
means.
didn't have a bye.
I know, but they won.
They were the best.
Yeah. And I picked them to win. Yeah.
Well.
So Arizona, we'll see if they finish with the best record in the NFC. That's still a toss.
If they see probably Dallas or the Rams in the second round, they can win. They see Tampa, it's probably over though.
Green Bay is
probably over.
Are we talking Tampa's team right now?
Nah, they'll probably get healthy by the end of the year. Hopefully, if it's like injuries.
Wait, who's the two teams you said they could
I
beat?
said Tampa and the Green Bay. They probably can't beat in the second round. But Dallas, I'm gonna take Arizona. The Rams, I'm gonna take Arizona. But Green Bay,
The
Aaron
Rams?
Rodgers.
I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers, it's the court.
And
Aaron
the
Rodgers
Rams
is the
gonna
guy.
be
I don't know.
amazing.
The
I think
Rams
I
gonna be
think
tough.
all those teams you named me can beat Arizona.
I didn't say they couldn't. I just said I would take.
Oh, okay.
That's
We're
what I
gonna
would
find
take.
out
Like
this
if
year.
I'm gambling,
I think
would
all
take.
those teams could beat
But
Arizona.
I wouldn't
the
be
same way how you're
surprised.
saying that, Arizona can beat all those teams too.
I trust Rodgers more, man.
That's what I said.
More
Aaron and
experience,
Tom
yeah,
Brady.
more
I'm
experience.
not picking Kyler, but the
So you-
other two, Dak,
Over the Rams?
The Rams, I think, is a toss-up.
I
for
think
me.
the Cowboys one's kind of safer, but the Rams is kind of
that's
a
a
toss
rivalry
up,
game.
bro.
I'll take Arizona. I could take Arizona.
I'm
No.
taking Dallas over Arizona. I'm taking Dak.
Oh, I can't. Oh, Trayvon Diggs, right? Yeah, I can't
It's
wait.
going to
till
be
he
their
gets-
first year in the playoffs, though, so you don't really know how he's going to play.
Well, yeah, Dak only has one win. He only been there twice.
He's been great every single time. He's been in the
Lamar
playoffs.
Jackson didn't win his second playoff game as unanimous
his-
MVP
his
year ever,
first
right?
two.
Won his
He
third. He won his third playoff game.
Last year.
versus the
The
Titans.
Titans, yeah.
He's played the same
beat the
team.
Titans,
Titans and then he's played the Chargers.
The Titans upset them that one year, though.
Yeah,
And
he
then
put in
against
no
Buffalo,
pain.
he looked like garbage.
I mean, he looked.
I mean, the Titans were just great that year, though.
They were a solid team.
They were great.
They were.
I told
It's
you
about
it
the
was gonna-
Cinderella
they-
one.
They
They
were
were 9-7.
Nah, they were a good team. Really
They were a
good
good team, but they weren't. You
Yo,
know how many people put it on the Ravens?
Well,
we-
let's
we
be
have
real.
to
They
give them
had
credit,
a
though.
they had a double-digit lead against KC.
Briv,
in the-
Briv, we had to give Joel credit that year.
I did,
Because we was making fun of Ryan Tannehill that year. In the
Well,
He was
second,
making fun of the
in.
Titans.
Look at him the other day. He's
Not whack,
Who,
though.
Tannehill?
the other day. What do you
Nah,
mean? the
Tannehill,
other
bro,
day?
has been doing his thing.
he
carrying
didn't
a-
play that good last game.
He was on and off. It's the
didn't play that
Bills. They
good.
have the best defense in the NFL.
He
That
made
same
plays.
team that let the Titans have 30 points.
He made
Derrick
plays.
Henry.
Didn't
Derrick Henry.
I
Yeah.
mean, the same Derrick Henry that Arizona. You know,
held. Yeah, exactly.
Week 1. I mean, it
don't do
weren't.
that. Don't
I mean,
do that.
week
'Cause you
one, the
just said
Steelers beat the Bills.
But you just said Dallas played great against Tampa.
That's
that was
a
week
fact,
one.
though. Week 1,
They
the
did.
Steelers
That was
did
week
beat
one,
the
though. You didn't say that.
I didn't say it because it didn't fit my narrative. But
Oh, so
week
you're that
1,
guy. Got it.
Yeah, no, I definitely am that
Yeah,
guy.
okay.
But week 1, we know that week 1 is super unexpected. Everything that happens.
I mean,
is a toss
Derrick
up.
Henry 60 yards is still. Whoa.
The
I mean,
Texans
the
won
Ravens.
week
The
one.
Ravens in 2019 blew out the Dolphins. I think I was 2018 or 2019. They blew out the Dolphins by like 50 points, and that was the year the Dolphins finished with a good enough
5-11.
record.
5-11.
Yeah,
Right.
they were respectable, but the Dolphins started off horrible.
Wait,
so
what
I'm
are you
just saying.
saying to me about this?
I'm
stuff?
just saying week
Oh.
1 doesn't mean
That's
much.
when their players were crying, quitting on the
That's
team,
when
right?
Minka
Minka Fitzpatrick
requested a trade.
Well, I
the
mean,
day
from week
after.
1 to week 6, 7, they've only gotten better. So you could say it doesn't matter, but they've only gotten better since.
Yeah, and
can't
they
wait for
also
the
have
playoffs.
film out. I mean, in week 1,
Oh.
that's just true.
You just say respect the 6-0.
He's like,
No, I'm just saying from week
Oh, yeah.
1. I think if
He was
Arizona
sick of it.
faces Tennessee again, it's not a blowout like that.
no.
That's fair. But do they need to play them
Remember the
again?
Saints blew out the Bucks? Everybody was overreacting.
They
and
beat
the
them
Bucks ran
twice.
through?
I mean, you were reacting
That's
to
even
week
worse.
1.
That's even worse.
That was week 1 when the Saints beat the Bucks.
That's even worse.
No, but then they beat them again, and I was standing on what I said week 1.
Yeah, but
so
then-
don't do that.
But then what
It was
happened
the
in the
same thing
What
happened.
happened in the playoffs?
Oh yeah, they lost. But Arizona, like, they're not gonna play Tennessee.
There's
so-
more film though because when you go into week 1, the
No,
playbook
for
is
sure.
open.
There's been more
Teams
film
don't know
week
what you're
1.
gonna
There's
do.
been more film week 2. There's been more film week 3. Then it's been more film week 4.
This is the
then
same
it's been week
Tennessee
5.
that
Then it's
lost
been
to
week
the
6.
Jets also.
without Julio and AJ Brown, with
Yeah,
either
that's big.
receiver.
Yeah,
We
that's
still picked them to
huge.
win though.
I
You know
think I
that.
did.
Derrick Henry.
You thought
No,
Derrick
I
Henry was
picked
going.
the Jets actually.
What I know you did. I'm saying
Yeah.
that's biased side. You thought the Titans.
Oh, that
should
wasn't
have.
biased. It's just they have both their receivers out.
Oh, I thought Derrick was going to carry them to the win.
He almost did.
He almost did.
Almost is nothing to
Nah,
me.
he almost did though.
And Tannehill played a great game without
He
his
definitely
receivers.
did. He definitely
So
did.
I don't want to hear no Tannehill snub.
Word, I don't want to hear it either.
Tannehill just played
Nah,
like
that's-
dude.
yo, in the fourth though, Derrick Henry was turning up. He's usually
That's
what he always
his
does.
game. Literally, always. Always.
It's crazy how you get better in the fourth.
The Cincinnati Bengals have been on a hot streak recently. Right now, they are 4-2, and they recently beat the Lions. They blew them out. Do you believe in this Bengals team to make the playoffs, or are you still holding out some caution?
I'm like 60-40 right now. You know, I want them to make the playoffs. I think they can make the playoffs. It's the AFC is tough. You know, you got the Raiders, the Broncos kind of fell off, but then you got the Chargers, you got the Chiefs, then you got the Ravens, you got the Bills, then you got Buffalo. It's a lot of teams, and I think the Bengals, being that they're in a division where two other teams that are in that division are really good teams, can be really good teams on any given night, and the Browns and the Ravens and the Steelers are still hanging around, winning games here and there. It's going to be tough, but I think Cincinnati with that high-powered offense and the fact that Jamar Chase is blossoming into that number one, You still got Tyler Boyd. You still got T. Higgins. That underrated defense. The defense is playing at a really high level. And then Joe Burrow being one of those guys that can win possibly comeback player of the year. I think it's definitely in the realm. I wouldn't even be mad if they didn't make the playoffs because it just bulks up the team. They have cap space and it gets them ready for next year, even bigger year. This is still a really young team. But I think they definitely have a chance to make the playoffs. But that division is so tough with Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Cleveland. That's going to be games that they have to win. Yeah, especially against Cleveland. The Ravens, they didn't even play them yet. So those are going to be tough games. But I think they can make the playoffs.
I think they will make the playoffs. I think that obviously I'm taking the Ravens over them, but I look at the Steelers and I look at the Browns right now. Bengals are a little bit more put together than the rest of those two teams. Obviously, we've seen the Browns be, to a degree, decimated by injuries, and Steelers, it was a matter of if Big Ben was going to be solid enough to keep them afloat. They're 3-3, sure, but I'm not fully confident in them, obviously. I'm not a huge fan of their secondary, as I've stated before. Their pass rush is still solid, obviously. TJ Watt's like that, but you look at the point differential in the AFC conference right now, they rank third right now. I want to say they're plus 37. Next closest is plus 16. This defense has been playing surprisingly well. I say surprisingly because going into the season, I didn't think too highly of their defense. Shame on me. Their defense has been pretty solid. I expected this offense to be this solid, of course. You have Jamar. T. Higgins has been in and out of the lineup. Tyler Boyd has been solid. Obviously, Joe Mixon, they're obviously giving him the touches that are deserved and earned, he knows what to do with the football. This offense has been high-powered, and the question was their offensive line, and Joe Burrow, to a degree, has been able to stay composed, stay solid in that pocket, make solid throws. The O-line's holding up relative to what we had expected coming into this season. I think they're I wouldn't say a threat, obviously, in the AFC, but I think that they are stamped to go to the playoffs. You look at the teams right now that are in the wild card. You have the Raiders. I'm not a believer in the Raiders, even though they did just handle my Broncos.
Teams have been handling your Broncos for
That's a fact. We're on a 3-game skid, and it hurts. But I'm not a huge believer in the Raiders, truthfully. But who knows how things could switch, given that this whole John Gruden information, that maybe that could spark the team. I'm out on them personally. I don't think the Steelers are real, too. I don't think that they'll make the wild card. I think that if any team's going to sneak in that division, I think the Browns will get there eventually. I just think they have more talent on their side. And then I look at the Kansas City Chiefs, and obviously I think that they're going to continue to climb. I think that the Chiefs are probably going to make the wild card, given the fact that I do think the Chargers will win the division. But you never know with the Chiefs. The Chiefs could just go and win out. That's how good, obviously, they've shown to be in previous years. So I'm obviously not down on them. But that leaves 2 spots. And I think that Bengals are going to be more than qualified to steal a spot.
It's too early to try to make a prediction on this because there's too many good teams in the AFC.
That's a fact.
Right now, division winners as of today, Ravens, Bills, Titans, and Chargers. One wild card spot automatically is going to Kansas City. They're gonna make the playoffs. There's no doubt about that. They're still making the playoffs. Now that leaves about 5 teams, and I'd even mention the Steelers, and I'm not going to mention these Steelers at all in these teams. The Raiders, who I think with Derek Carr playing at the level he's playing at, he's playing great. I think he's second in the league in passing yards right now. I love Derek Carr. Now that the defense is manageable, like Max Crosby's having a breakout season.
No
He's
doubt.
an elite edge rusher right now.
I'm with you.
And Yannick Ngakoue, they've been amazing. That duo has been amazing. I'm not counting out the Raiders. The Broncos, I'm out on you guys.
I understand.
I
understand.
I don't think the Broncos are going to do anything.
All right.
Like they haven't beat a team that has over one win this year.
He doesn't have to drag it. He doesn't have to drag it. We know.
He needs to.
Yeah, I get it.
The other team is the Browns. I think the Browns right now are dealing with some injuries. Baker's hurt too. Who knows if Case Keenum's going to play, but they have announced that Baker's going to start or at least try to start on Sunday or this Thursday actually.
Against us.
Yeah, well, that you can win that game with those injuries on the team.
Von Miller, 3 sacks.
So I think the Browns are there too. The Colts, I won't sleep on them either because I think the Colts are a very good team as well. The Colts are 2-4, I believe, now that they just beat the
Dolphins.
They just beat the Dolphins, and this past game they beat.
Damn,
was it the Texans?
It was the Texans. Yeah, it was some no-name team. But yeah, they could easily be 3-3 right now if they beat Baltimore. Don't blow that lead. So there are so many good teams, and on top of that, Carson Wentz is playing. He's playing great right now.
He has.
I trust the Bengals over the Browns, though, for the simple fact that I think Joe Burrow is a better quarterback, even if they're both healthy. I like their weapons more. I don't have to worry about a connection, like with Odell and Baker and what's happening there. And the Browns' defense is embarrassingly bad. And they made a boatload of signings this offseason. John Johnson, Troy Hill, even drafted Greg Newsome. Their secondary is awful. Like, their safeties give up big plays. They don't tackle well. I saw 2 Browns players try to tackle DeAndre Hopkins, both like side to side. Pick your direction. There's a guy in front of you. DeAndre Hopkins made them both miss and then scored. Their defense is just embarrassingly bad right now. Myles Garrett and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah have been the only bright spots, in my opinion, on that team, and Denzel Ward, but not much after that. I actually trust the Bengals' defense more than their offense.
They have a good defense.
Yeah, they do. Their defense right now, they're 13th against the pass, 8th in rushing. DJ Reader, BJ Hill, that defensive tackle duo, they're Stonewall. Sam Hubbard, who's a speed rusher from Ohio State, and Trey Hendrickson, who had a breakout season last year. I think the Bengals didn't know this, but I guess it just was lucky of them that they paid Hendrickson and they didn't pay Lawson, even though I think Lawson's a better player, but Lawson got hurt this year. He's out for the Jets. He hasn't played a snap, and Hendrickson is making plays for the Bengals. And this guy doesn't get talked about enough. Chidobe Awuzie, former Dallas Cowboys cornerback.
Yep.
He is the best corner on the Bengals right now. He is playing lights out. He's going to be a household name at corner at the end of the season. And, man, if Dallas had him with Trayvon Diggs and both of those guys, they would be a damn good secondary.
Would be.
Their defense is awesome, but I just can't buy into the offense because too many times it stagnates. There are multiple drives and multiple possessions each game where the Bengals don't score. They go 3 and out. There's bad play calling. There's miscommunication. They're not a potent and fluent offense.
They're young.
I think Jamar Chase has helped a lot in that aspect because whenever things are not going right, whenever things are looking slow,
that's a fact.
A big play happens for the Bengals. It's usually because of a Joe Burrow pass to Jamar Chase, and it sparks up the offense. But versus the Lions, they scored 10 points in the first half, I believe. If it wasn't 10, it was 7. And the offense dragged the entire half. The second half, they got going. But against better teams, I don't think that can happen. I don't think they can drag that much. And Joe Burrow, he's been very good this season. Has he been amazing? I'm not going to say amazing. I think he gives them a chance to win each week because he makes the right decisions and the right plays. But right now, the problem that I see with him, he's very inaccurate on high throws. I mean, he's very inaccurate, and they're usually high. He's high on throws a lot, and one of his interceptions was because he was high on a throw. He should have had a second interception, and it was because he was high on a throw again. So I think that's the problem with the Bengals, and the good things about the Bengals right now, I can't say they'll make the playoffs just yet, but if I was a Bengals fan, I'd be feeling really good about this season.
So do you think they can, like, out of the top teams in the AFC, do you think they can beat any one of those top teams?
No.
Like none of them?
I don't know. I'm not ready to count that out.
Tennessee?
Yet. They could beat Tennessee.
The run defense is good enough, but I would trust Tennessee in that matchup.
I'm saying they can beat Tennessee.
But it depends because I think their vulnerabilities match what the Bengals are good at, and that's secondary versus receivers. Titans don't have a great secondary. They have a bottom secondary.
And they just lost Caleb Farley, torn ACL.
Yeah,
bro.
and
That's
Christian
crazy.
Fulton is on IR. So they match up very well against them, but I would just take the Titans for the experience. But I don't see them beating the Ravens. We'll see that this Sunday, what happens. The Bills, the Chargers, the Chiefs. There's a lot of good teams, but the Bengals are in that bubble right now that they're about to take that leap. But I don't know if it's going to be this season, but they're about to take that leap.
They got Ravens twice this year, so.
Chargers defense these last couple of weeks. Yikes.
Yeah, they can't stop the run.
I'm out on the Bengals making the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make it. I was checking their schedule. They had the 5th toughest remaining schedule remaining in the NFL.
Okay.
I think that this team's a year away from making the playoffs. Their total offensive rank, I know they're 21st in offense, and then defensively they're elite. But I just look at this schedule remaining, and if they're gonna make the playoffs, they're gonna have to beat a lot of good teams to get there. This is one of the hardest schedule remaining from this point on. Mm-hmm. So I think that's gonna really test them, see what type of team this is, what type of if this team is really ready. I personally don't think they'll be ready, but I was looking at their schedule and I kind of found something really interesting. You guys were talking about the Browns and the Bengals. I think that last week, they're going to play it last week. I think that last week matchup will be for the
Playoff
last
decider?
Yes, will be for the
Okay.
last spot. And if all the chips are on the line, I'm going to go with the Browns.
Really?
I think if the Browns get healthy, I think they're the better football team. Offensively, too, if Baker Mayfield come back healthy, they get Odell, but everybody comes back healthy, I still think the Browns are better. Chubb and Kareem Hunt are out, too. I just think if everybody's healthy that last week, I think that last
I like the
playoff spot,
Browns.
I think, yeah, me too. I've always liked the Browns, but I think that last game of the season is going to be the deciding factor who gets in the last spot of the wild card between the Browns and the Bengals, and I'm going to choose the Browns.
The Bengals play the Browns and Ravens 2 times.
Tough.
They also face the Raiders. They face the Steelers, the Chargers, the Niners, the Broncos, and the Chiefs. So
tough schedule.
all of the teams that they play are the teams they're going to be going up. They're going to be competing against
For
for
sure.
those wild card spots.
That's a lot of teams, bro. Like a lot of good teams.
No,
I know that's what
definitely.
I'm saying. That's the 5th hardest. That's crazy to me. That's the 5th hardest remaining schedule. That
One
to
thing
me
I
would
will-
be number 1, number
Against
2.
their real test in the Packers, their kicker was somewhat good. They win that game, but it also,
Oh my God,
can
their
be
kicker
said
was
if the
horrible.
Packers kicker was good. Obviously, Mason Crosby had been solid, but he just had a hiccup that day. But they could have beat the Packers. They had a strong chance to beat the Packers, so it's
if-
not impossible to say that they could
the-
They
steal a few
competed
of
very
these.
well with them.
If the Colts kicker makes that kick, we look at Lamar Jackson completely different.
That's
than how we look
that's
at him.
true. That's pretty true.
I'm also with you. I think the Colts are, their record doesn't suggest it right now.
They're
But
going to be in
they're-
the mix.
they're-
They've played
a good
tough
football
teams.
team, yeah.
Played the Ravens, played the Rams, played
Could've won
Seattle
both
when
games.
Russ was
Yeah.
there for sure.
Yeah, they're a good team. So I mean, I don't know. I'm just not sold on the Bengals yet. I
I'll-
think they're a year away.
And last thing, we can move on. You said you'd take the Browns right now. If
No,
Chubb-
no, in
that
the
week,
last week.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
If they're
yeah,
all
okay.
healthy, right? I'm saying right now you
Mhm.
would take them.
Uh-huh.
If Chubb and Hunt are there healthy together,
Yeah,
it's a hell of a game.
Yeah, it's
it is
gonna
a
be a
hell of a game.
yeah.
But let's
Because
say
the Bengals aren't slouches on defense. It's the 8th ranked defense in the
let's
league.
say they have to rely on Baker to win them the game. I'm going Bengals.
Tough.
I can't trust Baker.
I like the Browns, man. I really do like the
And
Browns.
Burrow just has something about him, the way he carries himself. I trust Joe.
I trust Bake.
You trust Baker?
I
I
can't.
don't, I don't know. I don't know if you
can't.
could go in and let me say you trust Bake, bro.
I trust Bake, bro. I like Bake, bro.
Bro,
Bake.
think about the one time that he's been called on this season against the Chiefs. What did he do? He
Bro,
rolled over.
Bro, don't do that to him.
Bro, I'm sorry. I have to.
They're gonna get in. Cleveland's gonna get in the playoffs.
I think they will
I
get
think
in.
This will be
that
the
I
second
think
time
that,
he's
that
got in.
final game is going to be the deciding factor who gets in.
Cleveland's gonna be good. He's
Because
gonna
I
get
think
in
Baltimore,
again.
to me, Baltimore is winning the division.
That's a lot.
I mean, you're still sold on their defense.
The defense is up and down.
Their
Cool.
defense is ass.
Who's?
I mean, their
Browns
defense,
defense is
their
ass.
defense is ass. But
they
your-
got some good
your- wait,
cornerstones,
wait.
though.
But your favorite, your favorite team you love to goal about, the Vikings, couldn't do a damn thing against that
That's
defense.
a fact.
Couldn't do a damn thing.
What
Couldn't
does
do
that have to
anything.
do with the Browns defense, though?
Because their defense is spotty. They have games where they show you that.
That's
I
a
feel like
fact.
They're
that's
elite.
I feel like that's Baker Mayfield too. He's
Yeah, they have
spotty.
games where they
Oh,
show
no,
you
the
that's elite.
Vikings, the
Because if
Vikings
Baker
were the
Mayfield
only.
shows up in that last week with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, I think the Browns are going
And for the first
The
half,
Vikings
the
Browns are
Chiefs,
gonna
win.
the first half, the Browns defense was playing amazing against the Chiefs.
The Vikings, that was the only game the Browns actually, the defense showed
I
up.
hope it
That was
comes
the
down
only
to
game
that,
that happened.
though.
Nah, I mean, first half of the Chiefs.
I hope
Like,
it comes down
defense
to
played
that. Though.
good.
As
They-
a football
they're
fan, I
spotty.
hope it comes down to
That'd
that.
be
The
crazy.
Because
Browns
right
and
now,
the
the
Bengals.
Vikings, they started off 0-3. I said they was going to come back. They're 3-3 right now.
You said it was going to division though.
It's
We'll see.
He said, "We'll see."
it's look shaky. It's look
No,
shaky.
no.
We'll see.
Honestly,
They're
we play the
2-6.
Cowboys next week.
But
It's going to be a
this-
good game.
The week against the Lions was shaky.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
past
You
week
should-
against
like, you
Carolina
should-
was
yo,
shaky.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I
what's
love the
wrong.
Vikings, but my misevaluation on the Vikings was that they have the youngest coaching staff in the NFL. And I think that means
that
something.
matters.
Inexperience. I think that inexperience means something. I still think they'll get into the playoffs, though. But we'll see.
I think it's not. I think it's possible.
You
They
can't.
can
Yeah,
make
you
the
can't
playoffs.
run off that one. You got to stand on that.
Where's Dalvin
I'm never
Cook?
going to
He's
say the Vikings
He's
are not
back.
going to make it. I think the
about to say,
Vikings
that
are
guy's
going to
old.
make it.
Hurt,
Didn't you
bro.
pick them to win the division?
He's
You
good as
definitely
hell,
did pick
bro.
them to win the division. You
I
got to
did,
stand on
and
that.
they could.
It could
He
happen.
said it
Really,
last week.
They could have.
He said it last week that he thought that they were going to come win the division.
Oh, you still think they're gonna run it?
I still have faith. Yeah.
Okay,
Actually, nah, I
I
love
love
it.
it. I love it.
They faced the
With the
Packers
Packers?
twice.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, I love it.
That's the thing. He also said that the Packers were one of his favorites right now to contend for a
He's
Super Bowl.
setting himself
I
up.
know.
For
I
I
it.
mean,
Best
I
of
think
split.
I think the Vikings. The talent is there for them to be a top team in the NFC.
I know, but I'm saying if you have
been
the
Dallas
Packers
for
that
like the
high,
last
then you
4
should have
years.
Minnesota that high.
Nah.
At best, they'll split.
No, I shouldn't.
But you have the Packers winning Minnesota winning the division.
I mean, I still have faith that Minnesota can do it, but it's not like, the Packers are playing better football. With the Vikings, they're just an inconsistent team. Their defense has showed up. Their rushing defense sometimes doesn't show up.
Facts.
Patrick Peterson is injured until their matchup against Green Bay. Dalvin Tomlinson, I believe, has been out. Dalvin Cook has been out. He played last game, but he's been in and out. Madison has been the starting running back for them.
He's played well, though.
They've dealt with Christian Darrisaw, the rookie left tackle, just played in his first game and was damn good.
He was.
So there's been a lot of stuff with Minnesota.
I'm with you.
So I just can't, I think they're talent-wise, if it all clicks, they're healthy. Yeah,
they remind you of
definitely
Dallas?
You know what they remind me of? They remind me of the Tennessee Titans in 2019. That's who they remind me of.
No, I mean
way?
I mean Dallas in terms of like a team that's always one of the most talented in the league, but just can't put it together at the right time.
I mean, I guess you can make that comparison. That makes a lot more sense.
You like Kirk Cousins?
I love Kirk Cousins. I think he's one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the NFL.
He loves.
He is the most underrated quarterback.
In 2019, I said the Titans would win the division. They didn't win it. The Colts won it.
Yep.
But then in that first playoff game, I said they're going to beat New England. Then versus the Ravens, I said they're going to beat the Ravens. They beat both of them. Nobody thought the Titans would make the playoffs, especially when Ryan Tannehill got inserted in.
That's like your favorite thing to break up.
Because that's
Did you forget
something.
You also picked the Raiders to make the playoffs that year.
They were 6-4.
the Jets.
And then, he picked the Jets too. Like you be forgetting your other takes. Like, you just bring that one up.
That's what you do.
Yeah, I mean I get
No,
it.
but
was
the
a great
Raiders,
take, though.
6-4 though.
They made it.
And I like Derek Carr. I'm always roll with Derek Carr, so that's my guy. I'm always roll with Derek Carr.
That's your guy.
And with the Jets, I mean, what we did, like getting Le'Veon, getting Robbie, getting C.J. Mosley,
You thought
Sam Darnold. No, realistically speaking, Sam Darnold had mono though that year.
But do you think he was really going to win
How
those
many
games?
games did he miss?
I'll give him the credit. Jets, when Sam Darnold came back, were nice.
They played the Bengals. They didn't have a win.
That
Look,
whole
listen,
season,
Riv.
they didn't
Listen,
have a
Riv.
win.
Listen, Riv.
He's about to talk knowledge.
We went 7-9,
Yes.
and we let the winless Dolphins and Bengals at the time
Which
beat
goes
us.
back to my point.
We also lost to the Jaguars that year too.
That's disgusting.
If
Didn't we lose to the Browns too?
Sam was out the
Nah,
entire
that
first
was
month.
rookie year.
That was a
played the
rookie year. I was
Bengals.
about to
He
say.
missed the first
But
month
I'm
of
saying
football, though.
games we should have won: Dolphins, Bengals, and
Did Sam play
and
all three
Jags.
of those games?
Nah, he did. No, but that's why Sam was an inconsistent quarterback,
Yeah,
bro.
so you can't tell me they could have if they lost to the worst team.
No, but C.J.
They
Mosley
went
was out
set-
the
but
entire
I'm-
year.
Nah,
Though.
that's
They
okay.
went
Then you can say
seven.
that.
They
He
did
was
go
out week
7-9
one. And then
with
we
Darnold
blew that game
missing
against
the
the
first
Bills.
half.
In the fourth, we blew that game
He
against
did
the
up
Bills.
down the stretch.
Bro,
of the
we went
season.
7-9, and we lost to three teams we shouldn't have lost.
Bro,
to.
we
with
realistically.
the QB though.
We
I'm
should have
just
won
saying-
week one.
Yeah,
Remember
he
against
baited
the
that
Bills,
one
we
too.
blew
I
a
remember that.
60s
He
early
baited
in
that
I'm
the
one.
saying
fourth.
that's not like a horrible take. It's not like they just won like 0-16.
It's not a horrible team, but it's just weird because he comes back. You lose to those scrub teams, but you got hot late.
Oh
so it's
yeah,
like,
Nick Claxton starts tonight.
I don't know. That's tough.
I'm hyped. He's guarding Giannis.
Now I'm saying, but I think the Vikings, they're my Titans this year. Every year I pick a sleeper team. 2018.
Who's your sleeper team this year?
The Vikings.
The
The
Vikings.
Vikings
Who's
to make the
your team last
playoffs.
year?
Nah, it was the Lions. Wasn't it the Lions
The
last
Bucks.
It can't be a
year? No, it was the
sleeper.
Lions. It wasn't it the Lions last
Oh
year?
yeah, the Lions.
Yo, I remember that. He
Yeah,
had me
the
so,
Lions- the
you had
Lions-
me so
they were
sold
like,
on
what?
that take too,
They were
bro.
like 3-1, right?
Yo, the Lions
Yo,
lost
he
so
had me
many close
sold on
games
his
last
take, bro. It
year.
was crazy.
What are you gonna do, man?
Bro, the Lions lost so many close
I'm
games.
glad Stafford's out of there, bro.
Bro, they were
He had to
lead.
put up with that for too
They
long.
led in like 3/4 of every single game and just blew it, bro.
Yo,
Just blew
can
it.
you believe him and Sanchez were drafted in the same draft, and he's having to deal with that since 2009 up until recently?
That
No,
is
but no,
Yo,
no.
that's
crazy.
terrible.
My
bro.
real take last year was the Bucks though, because
But
I
that
was
doesn't
saying,
really count.
nah, it does. Because
Everybody knew the Bucks was gonna be nice, though.
But I was telling y'all before Brady got there that they was gonna be nice. They
No,
was gonna
you
take
told us
steps.
they were gonna win, and
Because
they did.
at first I thought that they were gonna get. I didn't think they was gonna get Brady. I thought they were gonna get Phillip Rivers.
Right.
That's what I thought they were gonna get.
Okay.
So with Phillip, but I said even with Jameis, they're gonna make the playoffs because this team is talented as hell. And then when Brady goes there, he wins. The narrative on Brady is, oh, but that team was
Yo.
fucking elite, you know.
Yo, off topic. How's James?
But none of
Winston
y'all
doing?
knew that beforehand.
He's doing
Y'all
bad.
know that.
That's true.
James Winston's doing bad right now.
No, he's not. He's playing okay. He's playing solid.
Mid is a
He's
good
mid.
term.
Okay.
playing solid.
He's
I mean, he
mid.
doesn't have a weapons.
That's
Michael
fair.
Thomas.
He didn't play yet.
Nah, I know what I'm saying.
he
When's he
hasn't
come
played.
back?
I have
He actually
no
is
idea.
cleared to come back this week.
Okay, that's
Well,
good.
good. But
Let's
yeah,
see-
Jameis
let's see
has
if the
no
weapons
weapons.
stay.
He's like 21 Savage.
Because when he had weapons, he was 30 for 30.
Thing is, he has Alvin. He really
And also a
hasn't been
Pro Bowl
seeing him out
quarterback.
the
He made a
back.
Pro Bowl. You don't
I
mention
know.
that. All right.
Because
Mention
he
that.
gets 30 for 30. I don't care. You threw 30 touchdowns and threw 30 interceptions.
That's OD.
Well, mention that though.
ridiculous.
Respect Jameis, bro. You just a
Has he
hater.
made
You
man.
love
playoffs?
Jameis.
Has he made the playoffs yet?
Nah, he
His
hasn't.
career.
He's still young.
He's probably gonna make it this year though.
Imagine didn't
What's
make the
their record?
playoffs. Tom Brady comes in.
They
wins
have a
the
winning
Super
record, but
Bowl.
they're
They
like,
have a bye week this week.
Trash.
yeah, they did.
They had
Okay.
a bye week this past
Okay.
week. Yeah.
But they have a winning record.
They do.
Well, they're 500, right?
4-2,
They're probably that.
something around there.
What's their record?
3-3 or 4-2.
3-2.
I thought it was 3-3.
Something like
They're
that.
3-2 or they're 3-2, I believe. So on to the next topic, the Tennessee Titans. They just had a big win against the Buffalo Bills, and a lot of people were out on the Titans because week 1 they got blown out by Arizona 38-13. But then on Monday Night Football, they beat the Buffalo Bills, which you can argue is the best team in the AFC right now, 34-31. Derrick Henry, 20 carries, 143 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. He had a hat trick. I mean, what do you think about the Titans? Are they the most slept on team in the football right now, or at least in the AFC?
I don't think so. I just because the defense. Do you trust it? I don't personally. With all the injuries,
I trust their offense.
I trust their offense, but that game. When you watching that game, it was a really great game. Let's start there. Derrick Henry, he did his thing. Ryan Tannehill didn't look too good. Julio, his first game back from injury. Same with AJ Brown. So it's hard to assess those two guys because it's their first game back. But Derrick Henry, different beast. They're gonna have to trust on Derrick Henry. They're gonna have to trust on Dan Henry. And in a playoff game, against a team like the Bills or a team like the Chiefs or a team like the Ravens, I feel like your defense has to get stops. I feel like your defense at some point has to make key stops within the game to give your offense chances. And I don't think this Titans defense can do that. Are they slept on? Not really, because they have Derrick Henry. So when you have Derrick Henry, you're always going to be in it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I feel like the Titans, they're still a really good team, and I would have them win the division, in my opinion.
Also, I didn't mention this before, but Derek Carr just had his 4th 300-yard passing game.
In a row?
Of 2021.
Oh.
Yeah. That's good. He's been great.
So you're saying they're not being slept on?
I don't think so, because they have Derrick Henry.
So there's none to sleep on when you have Derrick Henry?
I feel like their offense is being advertised. People are going to talk about that, but it's just been their defense.
You know why I say they're being slept on? Because we haven't heard Derrick Henry's name being mentioned with the MVPs. When you're putting up games where you're single-handedly carrying your team to a W, when you're playing the Jets, and sure, Tannehill did have a spectacular game.
Say that team one more time.
Of course, no, I'm with you.
Oh, okay.
Without A.J. Brown or Julio Jones,
But you're playing the.
That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Without A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, Derrick Henry, the game plan should have been for the Jets. The ball is going to go into Derrick Henry's hands at minimum 30 times.
From what Joel told me, though, he was at the game. Derrick Henry was, for the most part, contained. He just had a few plays that.
No. I wasn't at
that's
the
not-
game. I wasn't at the game. I watched.
If you watch the game, they were really good in the first half against them. But
he was held as much as you can hold him.
Correct. But it's inevitable
crazy,
because he's Derrick Henry. Come fourth quarter, as this mic's about to fall. Come fourth quarter, Derrick Henry suddenly turns it up.
It's crazy.
Now, when you have I believe he has just under 800. I think he has like 780 rushing yards. Over 550 of that is after contact. That's a grown man. They're 4-2 right now, I believe.
Something like that.
They just beat the supposed best team in
Bills.
the AFC. The best number 1 ranked defense, rushing, passing, regardless. They've been spectacular defensively. He by himself beat that team.
Put up 21
I just think that once we start to hear him in mainstream media, we'll become mainstream media one day, boys, for sure. But once we start seeing First Take, Sports Center, talking about Derrick Henry being in the MVP candidacy,
You think he should be an MVP candidate?
Of course.
Why not?
Where, though? You think he has a
I'm not
case
trying
over
to
that?
disregard your take, but I don't watch First Take or nothing like that. But you don't think that they talk about Derrick Henry?
MVP?
They actually haven't. I have them on when I'm on YouTube. I've seen them. They actually don't talk about him much.
Has anybody talked about him?
They talk about LeBron, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons. All day.
Bro, 10 touchdowns.
Literally.
10 touchdowns.
Oh, and the Chiefs.
He's averaging 130 yards rushing a game.
So you think he should be in it?
Of course.
100%. I look at this Titans team, and I don't genuinely believe it's good. I don't believe it's good.
Wow, that's
Good is crazy.
I don't think it's all like. I don't think that it's 4-2 good. That defense is not the best at all. They lost to the Jets then and there. Of course, they didn't have AJ and Julio, but regardless, the Jets are not a team that you
suck.
look
You
at and
just-
think that they should. Exactly. I'm trying to be
No,
nice.
I want to push back on his narrative.
But
'cause
hold on,
this
let
is
me finish.
ridiculous.
Let me finish though. Obviously, going into the season, Tennessee had some high expectations, but given what's been going on, the O-line issues, we just saw Taylor Lewan go out last game too. The O-line really is not that great. Derrick Henry's being asked to do something we haven't seen a running back do since Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson carried them to the playoffs. Now we're watching it again with Derrick Henry. 10 touchdowns in 7 games, 130 yards a game. He needs to be in the MVP conversation. Once I hear that, then they're not slept on.
Man.
But you said all that to say, are they contenders or not? Because if they're slept on, that means you're sneaky
As
contenders.
long as Derrick Henry's on this team, they got to be sneaky. They are sneaky. There is not a run game as dominant outside of the Ravens that I look at that are stronger than the Titans right now because of Derrick Henry.
So hypothetically, playoff time, if the Bills and the Titans run it back, you think the Titans can win that game?
It's not impossible.
Wow. Okay. First of all,
Oh God.
when the Panthers were 3-0, what were your thoughts on the Panthers?
They were definitely higher than they were now, for sure.
I mean, what were your thoughts? Are they good?
But
or
they were a
not?
solid team, yeah.
Okay. The Jets almost beat them too. We almost came back against them.
Week 1,
It's
yeah.
not like the Jets. It's not like they're complete trash.
That's what
they're a bad
I'm not saying
team.
they're trash.
You're complete
But
trash.
them beating the Titans, I think, was more of a testament of Zach Wilson having a breakout game.
No, you definitely
Zach
complete
Wilson,
trash.
Zach Wilson made throws that there's only a few
That's a
quarterbacks
fact.
that are making
He's
that
right.
throw.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say no QB can do.
I know. I was about to. 'Cause
Almost.
the way he did it, though, I would say, no
Mahomes
way
is
it can look
alive.
like that. But he just looked.
He
way
made
too
that.
good.
Mahomes is alive, bro.
So was Aaron Rodgers.
Josh
The
Allen.
Titans are a good team, and I don't want. Derrick Henry has been phenomenal. We know that every single year he's upped his rushing yards by 500.
Ridiculous.
In 2018, 1,000. 2019, 1,500. Then 2020, 2,000. This guy's insane. He's going to go down as a top 10 running back of all time and probably the best of this decade. There's no doubt about that. But we have to get one thing straight. The Titans are not a bad team, and they're 4-2 because they're not a bad team, but also because they haven't played good teams.
That's true.
You know, the teams that they've beaten, the Colts, when Carson Wentz wasn't on any of his good ankles. He had no good ankles. I believe they beat the Jaguars as well.
The Seahawks blew that game more
The
than they beat
Seahawks
them.
blew the game, but, I'm going to give credit to the Titans. But the Titans and the Bills. So I would say, actually, no. Seahawks, Bills, both very good games. The Titans right now, people look at their defense face value and say, that's a bad defense. Their passing defense, absolutely. They don't have anybody in that secondary. And the guys they did had, Christian Fulton was on the verge of a breakout season. Then he got hurt. Then Caleb Farley, who was a highly coveted rookie, I thought highly of him. He just tore his ACL. He's out for the season. I feel extremely bad for him. But the Titans right now, they rank 9th against the run, 24th against the pass.
Who have they played?
I don't want to hear that from you right now.
No, for real.
Why?
Because I just don't. The Buffalo Bills, the Seahawks, who run a lot too.
But you just said that they haven't played good talent, but then you said it and you're like, maybe they have.
No, I said, yeah, they have played good talent. When I thought about it back, they have played good talent. But right now, the Titans are the 9th ranked rush defense. And the reason why I don't want to get into that debate of, who have they played is because
that's not a debate. It's right there.
because I don't need to get into I don't need to get into that conversation, because if you watch the Titans play and you watch who they have on that defensive front,
I agree.
know they're
You're
good.
right. You're right.
Jeffrey Simmons is a top 5 defensive tackle.
No doubt.
I don't have to look at who the Titans have played
I agree.
to understand Jeffrey Simmons is a top 5 defensive tackle. I don't have to look at who they played to understand Harold Landry is a game wrecker and makes a lot of big plays. I don't have to look at who they played to understand Bud Dupree
Yep.
is a good edge rusher,
That's a
and
fact.
D'Amico Autry is a very good run stuffer.
Big facts.
Their defensive line is very good. The problem with their defense is that their linebackers are shaky. Losing Jayon Brown was huge, but their safeties are good. I think Amani Hooker, Kevin Byard,
Definitely.
they're both very good safeties. It's just their secondary
The
and their
corners
linebacking
themselves, yep.
core. That's what's been their Achilles heel. In terms of their offense, their offensive line has been shaky.
No doubt.
And something that's been super weird about the Titans these past couple of years, since Tannehill's got there, is that their offensive line, run blocking is amazing. One of the top upper echelon of the league. Pass blocking, they're not good. And Tannehill gets pressured a lot. Versus the Jets, I don't think he had a clean pocket in that
Yeah,
game.
6 times.
They were getting.
I don't think he had a clean pocket in that game, and he still took care of the ball.
Yep.
The reason I don't agree with you in saying that the Titans are not a good team is because I think they are a good team. I think
Okay.
Tannehill right now is 12th in QBR. AJ, Julio, they're there. Julio hasn't made an impact because of injury.
Yeah.
He's just been out of the lineup. A.J. Brown had a big-time game against the Bills. The talent is there for the Titans. It's just they have major holes in certain areas that stop them from being an upper echelon team. I do think they're one of the more slept-on teams in the league because people thought they were going to fall off, and I was one of them. Until they got Julio, I said, this is a team that's going to be like 8-9. But Julio hasn't even made an impact. So I thought they were going to fall off because of Arthur Smith leaving,
AJ really
Jonnu
hasn't made
Smith
an
leaving,
impact.
Corey Davis leaving.
Sucks.
But Todd Downing has done an okay job at least making it stay afloat. And in 2019, the Titans started off 2-4. They finished 9-7, went to the AFC Championship. 2020, they were 11-5. Since 2016, the Titans have finished 9-7 or better. I believe in Mike Vrabel. I believe in that coaching staff. I think the personnel is there. They're just one big-time move away from putting themselves in a category where, okay, you take them a bit more seriously. But right now, there's just too many holes on this roster for me to say they're a legit team.
I agree.
I know they beat the Bills, but I believe last year the Titans also blew out the Bills as well, right?
I think so.
Last year the Titans blew out the Bills in regular season.
They did. I remember
and the
that
Bills
game.
went to the AFC Championship, and the Titans lost against the Ravens. So regular season for me, it tells me something, but I think in the playoffs, once you've already seen a team, you can scheme for them differently. Once you've seen the regular season film, you know what you can do. The Titans just have too many holes. That's why I'm not all the way in, but I love what they're doing right now.
In terms of slept on, do you mean slept on as in making the playoffs or slept on as in being a contender to win it all?
I mean, they're winning the division.
I feel like the respect that they've been getting. That's more so what I feel. Like
coming into the
is.
season, I thought the addition of Julio Jones along with A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry and just that offense in general, I expected them to be much better, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, they were one of my top 3 picks to be in the Super Bowl or be Super Bowl favorites. I mean, it hasn't turned out to be that way, but slept on, yes, because you still have the best running back in the league, and it's only a matter of time before Julio Jones and A.J. Brown start clicking. You still have Ryan Tannehill, who's a good quarterback. I think that the team's being slept on in terms of, I guess, being a contender just because they have so much star power. They have the offensive star power from the receivers, from the running back, and they have a good quarterback. As far as their defense goes, I'm not really sold on their defense. I know they got a big win against the Bills, but like I said, I don't really put too much stock into the regular season because anything could happen come postseason time. So I do think this team is being a little slept on because I know they lost to the Jets or whatever, but they didn't have their 2 receivers, so I don't really think that you could really count that as a full-blown loss.
And the Jets' defense gets slept on. We're one
Your
of the
pass
better
rush
ones.
is really good.
Yeah, secondary's been playing good too.
Yeah, and like it took a miraculous second half effort from Zach Wilson to get the job done in overtime. So
The only 2 losses, on the Cards, right?
Yeah.
the Cards smacked them. But I mean, look, I think the Titans are good. I think for me to really take them more serious or have them as to what I had them in the regular season, I need to see more contribution from Julio Jones because that was their marquee free agent
Be on the
signing.
field, bro. He's on my fantasy, bro.
So if Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, they're clicking on all cylinders in the passing game and the running game, I think that you can't sleep on this team. And we already know what Derrick Henry does in the postseason. It was a postseason where Derrick Henry literally was
like 150 every game.
150 every game carrying
except
them.
the AFC Championship.
Now you pair him with Julio Jones and A.J. Brown, who haven't really taken off. But once they do start taking off, I think this team's completely dangerous. So
Real
yes,
quick
I
question,
do think
though.
people are sleeping
Bro, I don't
on him.
even think that he's going to be on the field enough.
I was going to say, real quick
he's on
question.
my fantasy. He doesn't play, bro.
Is
He was
Julio?
He's always hurt.
What's Julio's ceiling this year?
What do you mean? Like stats?
Like, what do you think? What are you
I don't even
expecting
know. I
of
don't
Julio?
know.
Do we think that this hamstring is going to carry on this entire season? I feel like it's
Even
a
when he
tricky
plays,
injury.
he don't even put up nothing.
Just because you
crazy.
look at
I just
CMC,
I don't think he's fully healthy right now.
you look at
know what I
CMC
mean?
who just had a hamstring injury, right? He was supposed to come back, didn't put him on the IR. Then suddenly on the IR, now missing an additional 3 games on top of the 2 he's already
That's
missed.
the reason the Panthers are losing.
Low key.
No, it's
the
not low
fact-
key.
Those,
It's high
those
key.
injuries linger on.
That's
I'm not sure when
it's
Julio's going to
tough.
come back. Hopefully he does soon. But who do you think is better, Derrick Henry or Adrian Peterson?
I don't like this question.
I do. It's a football. It's a good
AP.
football question.
I don't like it.
I like AP.
You like Adrian Peterson?
The thing is,
Why?
I'm taking.
Wait, who do you think is better and who do you like more? This is a
That's a-
different
yeah,
question.
who's
I
better?
think
Who's
I
better?
think they're the same type of running back,
I disagree.
but I think AP carries better than Derrick Henry.
Oof.
I disagree. I think
he didn't have a Ryan Tannehill. He didn't have receivers like AJ Brown.
Yeah, but you saw
He
what
had Brett
you saw what Derrick Henry did in the postseason.
But I saw
a couple years
AP
ago.
come back from an ACL injury
That's a fact.
and win the MVP. Like
fact.
win the MVP.
Yeah,
and carry his
2,000
team.
yards, just what Derrick Henry did last year.
I don't like the question because one, I think in a few years when Derrick's all said and done, I think Derrick will be the better running back. But I think in terms of everything I want in a running back, I just think of Adrian Peterson. He could run through a guy. He could juke you out your boots. He's
so elusive.
He had the
bro.
big. He probably has the biggest bag of running backs ever had, in my opinion.
over Barry Sanders.
Just because he could run through someone. Barry Sanders is the most
Barry Sanders like Kyrie out there,
elusive
bro.
back ever. True, but the fact that Adrian Peterson had Barry Sanders-esque moments and Jim Brown moments, that's what makes AP special to me. I just look at Derrick Henry and the pure rushing ability. I just see Jim Brown in Derrick Henry.
Do you? I see more Bo Jackson when I see Derrick Henry.
I mean, either
in my
way, you
opinion.
can't shake it wrong. I mean,
Fastest guy, one of the fastest guys in
That
the
was-
field can run you over. That's literally Bo Jackson.
that was
I
Jim
guess
Brown.
you could say Derrick's more dominant.
I don't even know if he's more dominant because Adrian Peterson has what, like a
longevity.
1,800 yard season, a 2,000 rushing yard
Only
season. I don't know
longevity.
about
Only
that.
reason I'll say he's a little bit more dominant is because he's getting over 350 carries clean a season. The curse of 400 touches in a season's real, and he has basically put that to bed.
Yeah.
He's been spectacular. I think when it's all said and done, we're going to be talking about Derrick Henry, like you already said, is an all-time great.
Longevity-wise, resume-wise, I think Adrian Peterson
yep.
probably has the edge
No
over
doubt.
Right
him.
now, yeah.
But if we're talking about 3-year peaks, just the 3-year peak of Derrick Henry from 2019 to now 2021, it's Derrick Henry. Not only has he shown that he can rush for 2,000 yards like Adrian Peterson, he has done it 3 times already. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards 3 times already. And Derrick Henry dominates in the regular season. He dominates in the playoffs. AP can't say the same. Adrian Peterson's best playoff run, he had 185 rushing yards. Derrick Henry had 195 in one game.
He's insane.
There's no question. When it comes to playoff performance, Derrick Henry's better. Regular season, it's pretty even in my opinion. But I think I'm going to give the edge to Derrick Henry just because I think I would rather have Derrick Henry, in my opinion.
Only reason I say I don't like the questions because I love both of them so much.
His
I also
3-year
think
peak is hard because it's like
I also
AP's
think
3-year peak was OD too, though.
Nah,
I don't think it was.
it was.
1,760 yards, 10 touchdowns. The next year, almost 1,400 yards, 18 touchdowns. The next year, 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns.
2K year.
That's what I'm saying.
This was his peak because
That's all around the same
The
season.
season he tore his ACL, he only had 208 touches, 970 yards, 12 touchdowns. Didn't finish the season. Year after, comes back.
Almost breaks Eric Dickerson's
348
record.
is 9 yards shy of the all-time
But
record.
that's why I said I think his 3-year, like when you talk about 3-year peak, I think those are your best threes. I think his is misleading because his is so up and down. His best year
Right now,
was
3
late in
years-
his
wait,
career.
what
years
was
is tough
what was Derrick Henry's
him.
first 2 seasons?
well, 3-year peak is just the best 3 seasons of your career.
So I could just pick
Let's-
any 3.
See, that's why I say it's tough
the three
because
I would
Derrick Henry
say-
has been Derrick Henry just these
The
past 3
three
seasons.
I would pick out, the 3 I think you can use, it has to include the 2K
season.
include the 2K season.
2008.
But I would say the year he got injured, remove that season and just use the previous 2 seasons.
Well, he has because Derrick has a 2K year. AP has a 2K year. And then Derrick has the 1,500, but AP has a 1,700 year with 10 touchdowns.
Who gets in
I
the
think
end zone
Derrick
more?
Henry's getting 2K this
Well,
year.
yeah, that's what's
Who
going to
gets in
take
the end
Derrick
zone
over
more,
the top.
Drew?
He has
Who gets in
another
the end
2.
zone more, AP or Derrick Henry?
I'm going
AP
Derrick.
had
I
it.
mean, Derrick has 10 already, and we're 6 games in.
I just think you look at Derrick Henry and Adrian Peterson. He dominates the regular season.
That's a fact.
AP did as well, but Henry dominates in the playoffs. AP didn't dominate in the playoffs.
It's just unfortunate
his
he
best
never had the
playoff.
teams.
Yeah, I
You're
don't think
right.
he's had teams.
You're
like,
right.
like
You're right.
Derrick
But
Henry's
his
had.
best
Right, the
playoff
one he
run,
did.
185 yards. Derrick Henry had 195 in one game, and that was against a defense in Baltimore that
Yeah.
was looked
Solid.
at as a top defense. Henry also protects the ball better.
Yeah, that's why
than
when you're
Adrian
saying he's a
Peterson.
better carrier, I disagree. I
No,
think
what I meant by carry, I meant by like carry a team, bro. I didn't.
Nah, yeah,
That's what I meant.
He
Look at
backpacked
what-
them that MVP
Yeah, he
season.
back-
and I agree.
backpacked.
I agree with
He
that.
I
But
didn't mean
backpacked
by
him
like carry
crazy.
the ball.
this is Derrick Henry's AP backpack season.
Is
I
it
don't know
really though?
about
Because
that.
he has
At
Up
least
until this
No.
point,
he has other
At
All
least-
Pro players on his
I'm
team.
not saying
though.
it's. I'm not saying it's Adrian
No,
Peterson to a
but
T.
you consider, but he has
It's
people
not
that he can
Adrian
rely
Peterson
on.
to a
Like
T.
he had like Ryan Tannehill was alive. Like Julio's alive.
Who was a
AJ
quarterback for the Vikings?
I think
the
it
other
was
week to play?
Christian Ponder. I think. I really don't know.
Christian Ponder,
No,
bro.
no.
Who was their
Travars-
wideouts?
I think it was
Sidney Rice,
Travars
maybe?
Jackson.
Sidney Rice was
Marvin
okay,
Harris,
but like
it's
that's
no
nothing.
Julio,
But
it's no
that's
AJ
nothing.
Brown.
That's what I'm
I think it
saying.
was Travars Jackson.
That
Their
did not
quarterback?
help.
Nah, it was definitely Christian Ponder.
That's terrible. No, let's be honest though.
Was it Christian Ponder?
So AP's
So these are the receivers on AP's team: Percy Harvin, Kyle Rudolph, who was a Pro Bowl tight end.
He's good.
Jarius Wright, Jerome Simpson. So yeah, not a good list.
not
of
even
guys.
good
at
enough
all.
to be AJ.
Nobody.
And
Yeah.
Christian Ponder was their quarterback. He threw
Right, it
18
was Christian.
touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
I was.
But their defense was the 14th best defense in the league.
14.
So it
Good.
was,
It
yeah,
was good.
it wasn't
It
a,
was
it wasn't a
whatever.
slouch.
He carried them.
What was
I
their
mean,
offense?
I just named you the offense.
No,
like
their
what's the
ranking.
14th as
What,
well.
were they number one in rushing that year?
Yeah,
They had to
probably
be.
would.
Oh my god. He
But their
backpacked
defense,
them.
look at their defense though. Chad Greenway, Harrison Smith,
Harrison Smith's a
Antoine
beast.
Been
Winfield,
here for a
Aaron
minute.
Henderson,
Jared Allen's a
Jared
Hall of
Allen
Famer.
was there.
No, they had a good defense.
Everson
Very good
Griffin.
Everson Griffin. Yo, Jared Allen's a beast.
But
Yo,
that's what
he
I'm saying.
slept
You
on.
look at Tennessee's defense right now. It's not that.
It's ninth in the run, from what he told me.
Say that one more time.
It's
Ninth in the run. No, definitely have a good rush defense for sure. But in a pass first league as of right now, excuse me, I keep having to feel like I have this bubble in my chest. But in a pass heavy league, I should say, where the best QBs obviously are the ones right now winning games. I feel like the secondary is what you need to be locked up. And
My
there's
thing
not
is,
many.
he
of
didn't,
them.
AP didn't have nothing to rely on.
You know how
I'm
much
with you.
It was
Oh,
him
no.
and- it was him or
Listen.
nothing.
I think that from carrying sense, obviously AP carried the offense.
It was
to
him or
play.
nothing.
But
Well, you
I'm
say the
saying-
same thing about Derrick Henry in the playoffs.
I did.
What did I say?
He backpacked them. Remember
Well,
when
in the
Ryan
in the
Tannehill
playoffs
was?
when Tannehill won, you said it was
But
it was all
I thought
Henry.
we was talking about the regular season at the moment.
I thought you guys talking about the playoffs.
No, we talking about the regular season.
Well,
No,
we're kind of talking about like a whole right. But I'm saying this season, this is my equivalent of what AP did with Derrick Henry.
yeah, I was just talking about.
But
the
now
regular
he's
season.
talking
He for
about-
show carried.
He
your mans
definitely
in the
did.
playoffs,
AP
but
never did that in the playoffs.
never really could.
Never had the opportunity to.
Well, you didn't expect Henry to do what he did though.
And
I
I will
kinda
say,
did.
Adrian Peterson, didn't he fumble against the Saints in regulation?
He
A
did. He
big
had a
fumble.
big fumble again. Yeah, in a
Yeah,
big
no,
game.
he my boy, he didn't play. He didn't play bad. He just ain't.
so
play
wait,
too great.
so Derrick Henry's had what, like a nice 3-year run.
Yeah, and
I
in the
think
playoffs,
I
it's
think
unbelievable.
the first 6 years of Adrian Peterson
sure.
is ridiculous.
For
I think I got to see it more from. I got to see more from Derrick Henry to put him.
I think if Derrick
in that.
Henry has 2K this year, the argument is over. I'm gonna be
I don't know
honest.
about being over.
I'm talking about just their peaks. Yeah, it's
Oh,
over.
peaks.
peak
Yeah.
AP. I don't know.
'Cause,
Peak
bro,
AP
think
almost had
about
the
it.
best rushing
The last-
season ever, bro.
the last
he carried
time-
the
Derrick
team.
Henry just had it last year, bro.
I know, but he almost had the best rushing season ever.
Derrick Henry
He
wasn't
ran
shy
yards
of that,
short.
though.
What was Derrick Henry?
2027.
Derrick Henry's had people to rely on.
Bro,
We literally
AP
just
won
read
the
his
MVP.
offense, bro. He carried that
Nah,
team.
but I didn't name you
Off
their
an
offensive
ACL
line. Their
tear.
offensive line was good.
Off an ACL tear.
Hear me out. 348 Adrian Peterson, 378. 2027 Derrick Henry had, 2097 Adrian Peterson had. So he had more. He had 50 more touches than. Excuse me, am I bugging? 30 more touches. Excuse me, than Adrian Peterson, and had less yards.
All right. So against the Saints, that game, AP had 122 yards and
He
3
ate.
TDs.
How many fumbles?
He had what
Make sure I'm not wrong.
122 yards and 3
He
TDs.
bugged.
in
Jesus.
the playoffs
Against the Saints, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Jesus.
2.
That's it right there. That was always his Achilles heel. You're right.
He
Early in
damn
his
near
career,
carried them.
122.
It was 28 to 31.
Yeah,
He had
122.
Wait,
two.
what game was
Saints.
NFC
Carey-
Championship.
Right, Brett Favre was there. Don't
No,
say that.
no, he's saying in the game.
Oh,
Sitting in the
okay.
game, bro. They
Bro,
had 28. He
I
had
was
3
saying,
TDs, bro.
because they wasn't getting there without Brett Favre.
That's a fact.
Brett Favre was different.
I'm
That
just saying
year.
that game.
AP, I don't know.
you
AP's gotten to the end, double-digit touchdowns, 8 seasons as well. I know Derrick Henry
No,
has
listen,
4.
that's why I
He's gotta-
said
yeah.
at the beginning, I hate this question because Adrian Peterson is that dude. But it's early on right now, Derrick Henry is showing he is making
I don't know.
a way
By
into
the end
that
of this
class.
season, though, Derrick Henry, deadass,
'Cause
might have a top 5
who's the
rushing season
only-
ever, bro.
Who's the only running back ever to rush for 2K back-to-back? OJ?
Nobody.
Is it
I
OJ?
don't think anybody's done it.
I don't know if anybody's done it.
Anybody's done it.
That's an incredible feat, but he
That's
can do it because
ridiculous.
I think his 17-game season is gonna help him.
For sure.
Oh, that's
gonna
another
happen.
thing you have
He's
to, we
already
have to
at
take
what,
into
like
account.
800? Damn near?
Nah, he's got 780, yeah, about 800.
We're not
already
even
got-
halfway.
He's already got double-digit touchdowns.
If he get to 1,500 by week 10, it's over. He's going to break it.
Bro, this season's going to go down as one of the best rushing seasons ever, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's crazy.
We're gonna
And-
move on to the next topic, and this is NBA awards predictions. It's not gonna be too long. Just give your predictions,
So
your
where's
reason
Carson
why. Where's Karis LeVert? He should be where? In the sixth man of the year? Is he going to start? Where's he going to be?
Bro's going to be on
Nah,
IR.
Karras is going to start.
Oh,
He's only going to miss the first week.
not only that,
Now
for
you don't
Sab.
get the joke. It's like,
My bad.
It's a Karras joke.
Yeah.
Oh,
That hurts.
NBA awards predictions: MVP, Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, Most Improved Player, Coach of the Year.
so we're going
Defensive Player of the
MVP
Year.
first, then we're going to go. Like,
We're gonna go MVP, Rookie
First,
of the
okay.
Year, DPOY, Sixth Man of
Just
the
had to
Year,
make it
MIP, and Coach of the Year.
cool.
So MVP.
Started off young
I
man.
start off. Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think Giannis is winning the MVP this season. He averaged 28 and 11 last year, which was similar to his 2019 MVP campaign. I think the voter fatigue is ran out with Giannis. They're going to vote for him now. I think they have an incredible regular season. His stats are going to be amazing. He's going to have his third MVP.
I need you to give one more. I need you to give a second. One is too light.
Your backup if you're
Your backup. I need a backup.
James Harden.
Not bad.
You know what? I kind of knew that was going to be your backup. So,
Steph.
yeah, my number one is Steph.
Tyler Hero.
You know, no. My number one is Steph. Improved spacing, better teammates, more wins, which is going to equal him getting more points in the MVP. He was already top 3 last year, and his team didn't even make the playoffs. With more wins this year and more spacing, I feel like he's going to be able to unload this year, especially with the amount of spacing he has this year. And my backup is Paul George. You know, with the upgraded load on his team, he's going to have to carry this year. I feel like he's going to have the numbers. It's just if he's able to get those wins to back up the numbers. But those are my two, Steph and then Paul George. Homer.
So when we first did this topic a few weeks ago, or maybe even months ago, I had Giannis as my guy too. I'm with you, Joel. I think that voter fatigue is going to end this season with Giannis, given the fact that he proved that he can do it come playoff time. And that's why he got scrutinized last year and didn't win the MVP last year, even though he had basically the exact same numbers that he did when he won MVP back-to-back. My backup, Anthony Davis. And I know it's kind of weird that you said Harden, that's your guy. You said Steph and Paul George, that's your guy. But I genuinely do believe Anthony Davis is going to be coming in with a mission this season. Anthony Davis just saw Giannis Antetokounmpo win a championship. People
better.
believe that he is better, right?
No, he is better.
That's a fact.
People believe that Giannis Antetokounmpo is better than Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is going to be on a mission this season, and he's one of my MVP favorites for sure.
For me, my front runner for MVP is Kevin Durant. I think Kyrie being out for however long he's going to be out, it's going to lead to more touches for Kevin Durant. You have to share the ball with the third option. I just think Kevin Durant's out to prove something this year. I think that if he stays healthy, he can genuinely end up leading the NBA in scoring as well. I just think that just without the addition of somebody who scores 27 points per game and takes about 21 shots a game, that leaves more shots for Kevin Durant, for James Harden, the two headliners of the Brooklyn Nets. So Kevin Durant, if healthy, is my front runner for MVP. My secondary pick, I'm going to go with Giannis Antetokounmpo just because of the fact that he's dominant. They're coming off a championship. They're a regular season team on both sides of the ball. He's dominant. Defensively, offensively, nobody could stop him. He's going to put up his ridiculous stats, his 30 points, his 12 rebounds, probably 6 assists a game. Dominate both sides of the ball. So, I mean, yeah, my secondary is Giannis just because his team's track record the past 3 years has always been great in the regular season, and he has the stats for it. So Kevin Durant's my number one. Giannis is my number 2.
Rookie of the Year. I'm going with Cade Cunningham.
Facts.
It's across
Dark
the board.
horse.
Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey, yeah. Josh
Come
Giddey.
on, bro. Be serious, bro.
Josh
Nah, that
Giddey's
is his
nice,
name,
bro. Come on.
Bro, he dropped the
No,
whole
he's dead serious.
Over Jalen Green.
Bro, he dropped a whole YouTube video on
Jalen
it.
Green is not a dark
Over
horse.
4,000
Oh,
views.
no,
he
no,
means
but
He
it.
said Cade first and Jalen.
But we're doing our 1 and 2. So
Yeah,
you
it's a
really
dark
think
horse.
Nah.
Jalen Green
I'm
wouldn't be a
cool
dark
with it.
horse.
I'm cool with it.
we're not
I'm
talking
cool
about
with that.
dark horse. We're talking
Nah,
about
it's all right.
I
It's
think
all right.
Jalen Green is going to score a lot. I think Giddey has the potential to score, but also do everything else, and that could
Get a
maybe
load
put
of
him
this guy, bro.
I'm cool with that.
Just look at him.
Yeah, nah.
Look at who,
he's a freak.
Luka?
Guy in the middle.
What
Rookie of the year.
Why
What
do
do you
you
think
guys
about
kind of look alike?
We don't.
Yo, that's your twin?
He's
Nah.
younger than me.
He's cuter than you.
Hey,
Shit
yo.
you on.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He's cute. He's cuter than you. That's mad
Nah,
crazy.
Rip didn't say anything. He's like, oh, that's the time you're on? It's mad. Like, yo,
he's like, that's your twin. He's like, he's younger than me. He's stupid.
Cade, Rookie of the Year. I don't got to say
Yeah,
too much about that. My second guy, though, I'd probably go Suggs. Yeah, I think I'd go Suggs.
Jalen
Sean
Suggs.
Holland.
Who?
Sean Holland.
Bones Highland is nice, but not to win though.
Nah, yeah, Suggs.
Bones
I think I'm
Highland
going
is
to go with
tough, though.
Suggs. I feel like he's going to get equal amount of
Franz
opportunity.
Wagner. What do you
Oh,
think?
my God, no. Hell no.
All right,
Cam
so
Thomas?
obviously my rookie of the year is going to be Cade. I don't want to go into depth into it because it's obvious he can do everything, score, facilitate. He's going to be amazing this year. He's going to have the opportunity for
He's
it.
the real Ben Simmons.
He is the real Ben Simmons.
What Ben Simmons should
except
have
his
been.
defense isn't
Wait,
bad.
Scotty Barnes, he's not going to be in the running?
Guy doesn't give me a chance.
Dude.
I'm sorry.
Slammed the hell out of him.
I definitely did. Scotty is my dark horse.
I feel like when Pascal comes back, Scotty won't be in the starting lineup.
I disagree. Well, maybe, but I do think that he's going to have more of an opportunity to facilitate the offense, given the fact they don't have a real point guard.
Goran is going to be there, though.
Fred is there.
Dragic.
For sure, but I feel like their vision for him long term is to be that Draymond.
I think it
Green
won't
type.
happen.
Scotty
this year.
Barnes?
But why not? I mean, are they really playing for a spot
They're good.
for the chip?
They're
This
good enough
season?
to be a
Playing for the
play-in.
playoffs, yeah, I think
They're good enough to be
they're
a
going to
play-in.
play for that every year.
I agree with that. I agree with that for sure. But you just spent the fourth overall pick on Scotty. I feel like, a third overall pick on Scotty.
He wasn't third.
Evan Mobley was
so
third,
I'm right. He was fourth. Excuse me.
I think actually Evan Mobley's probably my dark horse.
That's what I was gonna say,
John-
man. But he don't. Oh my god.
He gets so upset.
Bro.
Because he
Yeah,
just
go
said
ahead,
no.
bro.
He just said three different rookies.
So
I feel
now
you.
you're gonna, if he does win, you're gonna be like, you
Yeah.
gonna think you did it, but in reality it was him. It's crazy.
Nah, we'll both take credit for it.
What about Kai Jones?
James
Well, Chris
McKnight, though,
Duarte.
that's the real.
Six
Nah,
men
yo,
don't
don't-
win
nah.
rookie of the year.
Joel Duarte.
Karras?
See, but I was really thinking.
Yo, hold
Davion,
up.
bro.
Nah, in all
You
seriousness,
know what I'm saying? Because
Bro,
Davion's
bro,
really
bro,
gonna
bro.
lock up.
He's gonna come off the bench.
in all
The issue is going
seriousness,
to be the points.
TJ Warren, there's no timetable on his return. Karis LeVert is going to be hard to start off the season. Duarte could put up some numbers on
Chris
Indiana,
Duarte.
bro.
Now, Levert. I heard
taking
Levert's
Buck
gonna be
Knight.
fine.
And he's
I
20.
have
Levert's gonna be
Buck Knight
fine by
over
the first or
Duarte.
second week of the
Okay,
season. He'll be
okay.
Yeah,
fine.
I know.
Bro, I'm just saying Duarte could average like 15.
I didn't
He
say
can't-
anything. Why?
Why
Are
can't
you
he average?
saying? Are you taking Duarte over McKnight?
Nah, I'm not taking
James
him
Buck
over
Knight
Book
is
Night. Yeah,
What?
Yes.
James Buck Knight's a
Whoa.
bucket. Are you crazy?
Duarte's going to have a better rookie season than Book Night.
What about
Buck Knight-
Davion?
Yeah, Duarte's
Davion
going to have
doesn't
a better.
start. He doesn't start, right?
Look,
I understand,
Duarte's
but neither is
gonna-
going to be
locks up, though.
Exactly.
Duarte's going to have a better season than Buck Knight and Davion Mitchell. Rookie seasons, yeah. Long term, I'm taking.
I'll be
Buck
honest.
Knight.
It's
Okay,
not
okay.
too far fetched
Duarte's
to say
24.
that.
I thought he said he was
because
taking him long
I think the
term.
No, I
Pacers
didn't.
are going
When
to
did
be
I
fine.
say that?
I thought you just
We're just talking about rookie of the year.
somebody
rate.
Bro,
just
he's
asked you what you
24.
taking. Yeah, lost.
Yeah, he's
24.
24. He's developed.
He's NBA ready right now, so
That's
I
the
understand.
problem.
That's a terrible age to come into the league.
Hey, at
Didn't
least he's in
Jason,
it.
Jason was
He's
that
in
last
it.
year, right?
Who?
Jason Tate.
Jason
No,
23.
he was.
was
He's been
Kendrick
in the
Nunn.
league.
Tate's 23.
Bro, that was
right?
just
25.
Kendrick Nunn.
No,
Who am
he
I
came in
talking
at
about?
23 though.
That was 2 years
Who am
ago.
I talking about?
Davion. He's 23.
No.
Davion Mitchell.
On the Heat. Excuse me, on Houston. That's
That's Jay Tate, but he was 26.
Yeah, he been here. He just didn't get picked up.
Nah, bro. Kendrick Nunn, though. He literally was a 24-year-old rookie.
Yeah, that's none. Jason Tate graduated. He been here like a minute
So
ago.
who's your rookie of the year?
Cade Cunningham, my rookie of the year. I think he's gonna
Okay.
fill up the stat sheet. I
Very
think he's gonna
shocking.
have.
yeah.
He's gonna have a lot of opportunity with the Pistons. He's gonna have a high usage rate. He's gonna dominate the ball. He can play make. He can score really well. He's gonna put up some rebounding stats. So I think he's gonna be my pick. But my sleeper pick was kind of spoiled by you. But I was gonna say Evan Mobley just because I think that he's gonna come out. He's gonna have a really good season. So yeah, he's gonna
Good
be
pick.
my dark horse. It's gonna be Evan Mobley, but I don't really know if it's much of a dark horse because he's the third pick, and people around this table really know how
People
good
haven't
he
talked
is.
about him much.
I don't
He's
know
very
why.
good,
I don't
though.
know why people think he's gonna take time to develop. He's
I
not.
don't think that at all.
I mean, I don't
think with all the
mean to
bigs-
get you. I don't mean to get you upset, but like I've seen some of the preseason games and he's been wilding. He's
Why
been
you
playing really
usually get me
well because
upset?
you don't take much stock into
That
it.
don't
And you get
mean-
mad when
Nah,
people
you
use
said-
that.
No, I get mad at him. You do
all
your
right,
thing, though.
yeah. Evan Mobley, he's nice, bro.
So why this double standard for me? And
Because you're
Because he
annoying.
doesn't like you.
serious, man. Nah, it's
Am
just
I-
because Riv
Rev, you think Mobley gonna be nice though?
I like Mobley.
Riv flips his narrative depending on who's playing.
Like, he doesn't like European.
If it's Lonzo Ball playing, look at Lonzo. He's
I
playing
didn't say
amazing.
anything
Yo,
about Lonzo.
you literally texted me the other night saying, "Yo, the Bulls look good." I said, "Bro, it's preseason."
I don't even text you like that. You're such a liar.
Now, question: am I speaking for the table when I say we have Cade over Jalen because he's going to have the ball in his hands more?
I have-
Jalen's gonna
No,
have the ball in his hands too.
Cade, I have Cade over Jalen because Jalen's not going to do much of anything but score. That's why.
I agree.
He's a high
Yeah, yeah,
I
volume
agree.
scorer.
But
His
let's say
efficiency's gonna be low.
hypothetically
nice, though.
speaking, he
fly,
averages 22 rookie season, right?
He could still not
Green-
win it.
Okay.
If Cade puts up like 18, 8, and 9, and they're
He's
competitive.
not going to do that though.
I'm saying
Nah.
hypothetically.
He's not
If
gonna do that.
Jalen's putting up 22, Cade can put up about 8.
So let's say-
I
I
think
think
Green
Cade's
is gonna-
putting up. I think Cade's putting up 19 points, probably 6 assists, 5 rebounds a game.
I
don't
think
that's not-
Jalen Green's going to have 19, 2, and 2.
Ew.
If I had to guess.
That's disgusting.
But we know what we're getting from him. He's a
How
Jordan
scorer.
tall is he?
Clarkson.
6'4"?
He's
He's
gonna be
6'6".
He could get.
He's super athletic too.
Two rebounds would be
Maybe
sorry
4
on
rebounds. I'll
his-
say
yeah,
4
okay.
rebounds.
Those sounds like Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, you don't need that.
No,
but
I
if he
think
if he has a bag though,
a
then
rookie Andrew
No, that
Wiggins.
rookie. No, I was saying that rookie. That stat line you just named me sounds like Jordan Clarkson.
No, it doesn't, bro. Stop playing.
Yeah, don't say that disrespectfully.
No, it's not wrong with
Jordan
Jordan Clarkson.
not bad.
There is.
Nah,
There
Jordan
is.
Clarkson, good player.
Okay.
Defensive Player of the Year. This
That's where it gets
award.
interesting. And this, you're gonna like me for this take.
Well, maybe we're gonna agree.
Go.
Anthony Davis.
Lock it in, baby. Anthony Davis.
It's Anthony Davis because I think the
Man
players,
on a mission.
the players on the Lakers are so goddamn old that the fact that the Lakers are going to be good on defense is going to be a surprise to everybody, and everybody's going to look at Anthony Davis as being the culprit for being that great defensively. Because of that, I think this is the year he finally wins that award.
Yes, sir.
He needs to win something.
He needs to win that award because it's about damn
He's pulling
time.
Akeem Olajuwon this season.
So I think he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year.
Bro would never be as good as Akeem Olajuwon. I got 3 guys.
Okay,
Wow.
whoa. It's
You can
one
name-
here.
You could just name one, bro.
Just
Yeah,
name two.
come
Just name
on,
two. Just name
bro.
two.
You're not gonna tell me what to do. You're not
Oh
gonna
my
tell me what to do.
God.
You're not gonna tell me.
Told you
what to
name
do.
two.
I'm gonna name 3. I got 3.
Bro, yeah, exactly. Where's
All right,
the cricket emoji?
I'll name
too?
2. I'll name 2. I'll name 2.
Thank you.
Fine.
Just name
Anthony
one.
Davis and Bam Adebayo. Those are my 2 guys. Anthony Davis, for most of the reasons, he said he's gonna have to carry that old nasty garbage roster that they have.
And
Bam,
who was your third?
it was gonna be Draymond.
Yo, that was dirty.
It's gonna be Drake.
That was dirty.
You got jokes, okay? I got a trick for you. But yeah, I think Bam is gonna have that type of year. So defensively, I feel like last year he felt like he definitely got snubbed, or at least being in the conversation for it. So I feel like this year he's gonna come with a vengeance. With Kyle Lowry being there, he's gonna be able to really hone in on defense and not have to worry too much about offensively carrying the
I'll
load.
move it along.
I have a quick question. Did Dwight Howard win Defensive Player of the Year 3 years in a row?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Rudy Gobert then has to be a favorite to win it once again. I mean,
Voters fatigue.
He already won 3 years.
is it
No,
3
Ben
years?
is the only guy that won 4 in a row. I
Ben
think?
Wallace, right?
Yeah, Ben won 4 in a row.
So this last season was 3rd in a row. That's OD. Are you sure?
No, Giannis won in between.
That's a fact. That's
He
a
just has
fact.
3. He
No,
just has
Gobert
3.
has 3 though.
Yeah, he has 3.
Yeah.
It's not out of the realm of possibility Gobert wins again, especially the Jazz are probably going to be top
He's better
2,
than
top
LeBron.
3 in the West. Gobert has been
is.
that dude defensively in
Right
the
now,
regular
he is.
season.
Right.
But you guys said it already, Anthony Davis. Again, I'm not trying to continue to reiterate myself. He's going to be a man on a mission this
We
season.
get it, bro. He's a man on a mission.
He's going to tweet.
What are you just saying?
You keep saying that.
I'm sorry. It's just,
Every award, man on a mission. We get it.
but it's really that
No,
simple.
I get it. 18 push-ups. Got it.
17.
Okay, wait tonight when we embarrass y'all by 20.
Draymond's guarding him. He never.
And
ever,
when AD still,
ever
when AD
embarrasses
clean
Draymond.
has it over 25, you're gonna be sick.
It'll be the hardest 25 of his life. Go ahead, JC.
Okay, so my front runner for the awards is going to be Bam Adebayo. I think this year he's going to get it. I think he's been there so much. I think he's going to get it. But my second one is going to surprise you guys.
Ben
It's gonna,
Simmons?
no, it's going to surprise you guys a lot. And he probably
I was
won't
gonna
get
say
it.
Claxton.
Now, he probably won't get it. But I feel like I would love if Drew Holiday won Defensive Player of the Year. I
Interesting.
would love if he did it.
Okay.
But hey, Giannis is on his team. Giannis puts up the better defensive stats. But if you're a real basketball
DPOY
fan,
favors big men.
I know. But I mean,
Heavily.
It is. So that's why my number one is probably Bam. My number 2, he probably won't get it. But who I would love to see get it is probably Drew Holiday, just because he's been.
I respect
So
honestly,
that.
you named 3 people.
Nah, you named 2. You named
Giannis,
2.
I need Bam
Yo,
and
get
Drew.
off his body.
No, I wanted to make sure because you was worried. You was bothering me because I was gonna name 3 people, and I thought he named 3 people. You just sat
Worry
there in
about
silence.
So
yourself.
you
No.
thought, but it didn't happen.
Exactly.
Okay,
Just
just
waste
So
making
you
sure.
So can I name
should have
another
never
one?
even said
Nah,
what you
nah.
just
Oh,
said.
I was about to say. So can I name
I think
another
you
one?
can. Personally, I would like for you. to
Carmelo
name
Anthony.
It's a bonus. Now we start. Probably my
Miles
third one.
Turner.
It's gonna be just. It's probably gonna
Miles
be Giannis.
Turner?
Giannis. Miles Turner's a good pick, but no,
He fouls too much, but
he's
Miles
never
Turner's
really that
firm.
healthy to contend
Actually,
for that award.
my dark horse for DPOY is Mitchell Robinson.
Oh, that's not a dark
not a
horse. That's
bad
a
one.
bias.
no, that's not a bad one.
That's
though.
a dark horse pick. He's second in PER in his draft class. Respect that, man.
Hasn't
number
even
pick was
played
he?
enough to
Who gives
do
a
that.
crap?
What number pick was Mitchell?
He was in second round.
Wow.
Bro ain't even playing enough
He
yet.
skipped college, right?
Yeah, he did.
That's
So
the James
six
Wiseman
man
route.
of the year, I have Tyler Hero. He's
He's
ready.
whack,
He's ready to
bro.
prove
Kind
people
of
wrong
upset.
this
We all
season.
have the same a lot.
I have Jordan Clarkson.
I like
Dark
that.
horse Kobe
Again?
White.
Again.
Okay, I like that as well.
Dark horse is Kobe White.
Yeah, I have Hero and Derrick Rose.
Mother of God. All right, Joel, our third eye, we're open pretty similarly.
Derrick Rose?
No, I have Tyler Hero as my guy, but Derrick Rose is my number 2 as well.
Jordan Clarkson and Kobe White. I feel like the bench is come and score, baby. Come and score.
Devontae Smart.
Tyler Hero makes sense just because I feel like Miami's going to need scoring, and Tyler Hero is going to be that scoring option off the bench for them. And he averaged, 15 last season?
Something like that.
For him to win 6th Man of the Year, he'd probably be upwards of 18, 19. It's possible. More than.
I could see it.
I'm not gonna name 2 like you guys, but my front runner for is Derrick Rose.
That's a firm pick.
That's a
Derrick
great
Rose.
pick. Yeah, that's great. That's
See
awesome.
Derrick averaging anywhere from 18, 19.
I feel like if he would have played last year fully with the Knicks,
That's a
he could have
fact.
definitely won it.
Yeah.
No, he had an
I
opportunity.
think
don't know.
the Knicks can have Mitchell Robinson and D Rose win 2 awards in this.
I don't think he would have beat Jordan Clarkson last season. I feel like Jordan Clarkson did his thing,
But his-
and they were the 1 seed.
D-Rose numbers upped
That's
once
a
he got
fact.
to New York.
That's
and
a
the Knicks
huge
won
fact.
24-11 with Derrick Rose.
Anybody think Patty Mills can win?
Yes, actually, that was another one of mine that I was thinking about.
You don't think Patty Mills can win?
Blake
I do
Griffin.
think so.
Yo, next
If
topic.
Kyrie doesn't play,
Blake Griffin starting.
Oh, Paul Millsap.
if Kyrie legitimately doesn't play, I think it's possible.
Bro was talking about Patty Mills.
Time out. You said Kobe White though.
Oh,
That's a 6 man. He's going to be the
and
6
Patty
man.
Mills.
Patty Mills is not going to win that. He's not built like that to
Listen,
win
and
things
Kobe
like that.
is?
Kobe's 21.
You are the first
Guy, bro.
person
He's
to
saying-
say
yo,
that
he
Kobe
be
is
mad-
not
he
like
be mad
that.
biased.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Bro
It's
has
my
said
team.
it.
It's
Bro,
my
on-
team.
on
So
multiple
So why you be
occasions.
biased when I say my team? You be like, oh, that be you all the time,
Patty
bro.
Mills,
Bro,
though, bro.
stop.
I ain't say he's gonna win though.
But you
How
talking about
many-
dark horse.
I ain't say he's
That's the
gonna
worst
win,
dark
bro.
horse
I ain't
All
ever.
saying
you
he
need
gonna
to
win.
say is how many times this man has
How's that,
trash
how's
talked
that the
Kobe
worst dark
White.
horse ever though?
Bro, Patty Mills
He's
is like a
ignoring it
plus
'cause he knows.
50,000. And what are you saying?
You don't
to
think
me?
he
Kobe White, how many times have you
Yo,
said
you-
he's trash? How many
You don't
times
think,
have
yo,
you
you don't think Patty Mills should score 11, 12 off the bench?
That's not
I just
6
think
man.
there's so many better
Nah, I'm not
bench
picking him to win though. He
options.
wasn't my pick. It was Derrick Rose, bro.
You said dark horse.
I
I ain't say dark horse. I just said I would
think-
like it.
I'll be honest.
I asked you if Patty Mills
he
could
did
get
ask.
So, yo,
Bro,
y'all
I'll
be
be
on my
honest.
piece.
I think
Crazy.
Anthony Simons is better 6 man of the year pick than Patty Mills.
Okay.
No, seriously.
All right.
Seriously.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
I don't know.
Wait, was that supposed to like get me tight? I don't know. All right.
No, I'm just saying because Anthony Simons is sore.
I feel like you could just go
Nah,
a lot.
I'll be honest.
You
That's
could
cool.
go to
No, that's
different
cool,
guys.
that's cool.
But what are you
I'd take
saying to
Pat-
me?
How many times have you said that Kobe White is not like that?
As a starting point guard.
No, you said that he's
as a,
not like that
as
as
a
ball
starting point guard.
Can
he's
Laurie
not like that.
Markkinen win?
Yes. That's a better option than the Fernie guy and Patty damn
player. 40 guy.
Like, come
Yo,
on.
you don't even know about Anthony Simons, bro.
He went to IMG.
I know.
Plays
I
for the
know about
Blazers,
him.
right?
He
That's
came out
why.
of high school.
He's not a bad player, bro.
He's not, but come on.
He's raw. He's still raw. I don't know how somebody like he's still like
he's only like
not fully
21.
developed.
He's mad young.
Most
dunk
improved
him.
player, Jordan Poole for me. That's who's gonna win it.
Terrence Mann.
Terrence Mann.
I actually have Michael Porter. If
Junior?
Houston, if Houston overachieves, Kevin Porter Jr.
Oh, my fault. If he comes back fully healthy, I know he hasn't gotten the award, but I'm gonna say Karis LeVert.
Oh my.
That's a great
I'm gonna say
pick.
He's
Karis
not,
LeVert.
I hate that he doesn't play enough.
I know
Bothers
because I
my
think he
butt.
could
Like
win.
that.
What about, do you guys like Darius Garland?
Hell yeah,
MIP?
He's
He
nice.
could be in
He's
it.
nice.
If this
I like
isn't the year, then
OG
when?
Anunoby better though.
OG's a good one too.
Good
It's a
pick.
sleeper.
How
one.
many points did he drop last season? 19?
Who?
Garland?
OG.
Oh, No.
Hell no.
I'm asking.
16.
16? That sounds right. That sounds right.
My boy Vert came for 20.
Michael, I'm
bad.
surprised you
think
guys don't have
Jordan
Michael
Poole,
Porter
though,
on there.
considering the fact that Clay comes, because Clay comes back and starts, I think the
Poole's
award.
gonna average 18 this year.
But you think him getting off the bench?
I mean,
gonna,
Clay when he comes back, which is Christmas time, the first 2 months he's gonna be on a minutes restriction.
Of course, he's coming
Like,
off
no
an
doubt
Achilles
about
and
it.
ACL.
I'm surprised you guys don't have Michael Porter.
I'm surprised you guys don't have who I was gonna mention. I forgot.
So it can't be that
RJ Barrett.
surprised.
I'm surprised you didn't mention.
Could we
that.
say Dinwiddie?
that's one
That's
of
a
them.
Could we say
fact.
Dinwiddie?
What about Killian Hayes?
No.
Hell no.
No.
Dinwiddie?
I don't know about
Nah,
that one.
Killian Hayes.
It's possible.
Could do
Dinwiddie
it,
could
though.
win.
If there was a comeback player of the year, I'd be
If
would
Killian,
probably
Hayes,
be
if
him.
Killian Hayes is nice like that, he could do it.
Bro, do you know how much
He's
jump
not gonna.
he estimate to win?
He's
the
not
He
gonna-
award?
just
How much
averaged
he
like
averaged last
6.
year?
He just
He's
averaged
not-
6 points. If he averages 14 this year,
He's not gonna play, bro.
I don't think.
over who?
Wait, what?
What
He's
come
gonna
on.
play, bro.
How's he not gonna play?
They're gonna play. They're gonna play.
He's so whack, bro. He's not playing, bro. I don't like him. Don't ask me nothing about Killian Hayes. I think he's
Somebody's
whack.
not
No,
gonna
that's
play.
why I'm
I think-
laughing.
I think
The
he's dumb whack.
dismissiveness of his
He's
like,
just
I don't even want to
dismissing us
talk
like
about
word.
him.
Like that just blew mine. He brought him up. Like,
Yeah, he's.
I don't like
Yeah,
him.
he's not like
What about
that.
Saban Lee?
He's just a bulldog. Like
Bro, I be playing with him on 2K because I play with him.
So okay, final award, Coach of the Year. Who wins? I'm going with
Steve
Billy
Nash.
Donovan.
Let me stop now.
that's a good one.
I know it is because it's my pick.
It's my team.
Who cares about your team?
I'm gonna go with Tyronn Lue.
Okay.
I'm going Rick Carlisle. I think they win a bunch more games than they did last season.
Yo, why are you?
I don't know, bro. I just started laughing.
It's all right. Smartness makes him laugh.
Wait, Indiana?
Yeah.
So you think they're gonna win like 50 games?
I mean, I think they'll be better than they were last season for sure.
Now, for him to win Coach of the Year, he has
He has to
to
win
he
like
has to
40.
be
Yo,
like
he's
40
legit crying
He
though.
has to be a top 6 seed.
Because that pick was that's a dark horse.
Bro,
That's a dark horse right there.
Another. I think Rick Carlisle can definitely do
Like
it.
if you put that in, if you go to FanDuel and you put $100 in that, you make like 10,000.
I might do it. I might do it.
No, for real.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah, so you're dead spot on. with that.
I do think that he could
Yo,
definitely
shout out to
do
you
it.
if that really
Thanks,
comes true.
bro.
That'd be insane, bro.
Bro, I do like they
You'd be a
got
guru for
that
that.
starting 5. If LeVert can come back healthy,
It's a lot of ifs in that
That-
starting five.
but it's
if
just-
LeVert healthy, if TJ's healthy, it's a lot of ifs.
forget. I don't care about TJ. All I really
What?
care about
That's a part of the success bubble of TJ.
for sure.
We're not in the
but
bubble though, Joe.
Yeah,
Brogdon, LeVert, Sabonis, Turner is a
and Duarte.
And Justin Holiday.
And TJ McConnell.
Yeah,
TJ
don't forget
McConnell
about
was
him.
solid last season though.
That's tough. Dark
Bro,
horse.
I think
Rick
given the
Carlisle.
Rick
Who's your
Carlisle
pick,
left,
JC?
For Coach of the Year?
Yeah.
Honestly, if everything aligns, I think Eric Spoelstra could win it this year.
I like that.
That's
I
a
like
great,
that.
That's a great pick, and that's a great pick.
Actually, my dark horse though is Chris Finch.
Chris Finch?
Because
Minnesota.
you're silly 5th seed take.
Minnesota.
Okay.
I mean, if they do, yeah, Chris Finch should no doubt.
no,
about
if
being
they
Coach
get
of the
5th seed,
Year.
and if they get 5th seed, you two should no doubt go to FanDuel, and they should hire you guys. Honest to God,
I'm surprised. Why are you so low on Indiana?
they have to win 50 games to win that award. I don't believe they'll win 50 games, bro. Maybe
Wait,
like,
no, wait.
Why?
Indiana?
Indiana
Oh,
Pacers.
No, they're not winning 50 games.
shit, bro. Like,
Nah. But he's a good coach.
no,
though.
he's a
good coach, though, so
champion. He's a good
That's
coach,
what I'm
but
saying.
that team to win 50 games in the East
Usually
right
when
now,
you're when you're
don't
coach of the
what
year,
are
you got to be
like
like
they
top
got
4, top
talent.
3.
but the East right now, it's crazy.
I agree.
Can
but
Monty Williams win this year?
He can.
Because last year he kind of
Hell
got.
yeah,
He
man.
He didn't win
Definitely,
last
man.
year.
He didn't win last year, but I
Probably
feel like he
isn't
kind
gonna
of deserved it. Tom Thibodeau deserved it more.
Can Nate
though, I believe.
McMillan win?
Yeah,
That's my sleeper.
he would have to win a lot of games.
So those are our NBA awards predictions. Hope you guys had a good laugh. Drop yours in the comment section down below. Now on to the basketball portion of the podcast. These
Crazy,
are
man.
3 topics, and then we're gonna finish with NFL Pick'em. So first one, the Suns did not extend DeAndre Ayton to his max rookie extension, 5 years, $172 million, and on the same day they extended Mikal Bridges and Landry Shamet to 4-year deals. I think Landry Shamet was the actual shocker of those 2 deals. What do you think? What does this tell you about Phoenix? Did they make a mistake by not extending DeAndre Ayton? Is he worth that extension, $34 million a year? What do you believe? I'll start with you, Ruth.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like the Shaman one was kind of a punch in the face. You know, I literally asked.
Shamit got paid before him.
I literally asked on Twitter, and nobody can answer me. Like, what did they pay Shaman to do? Like,
Spot up shoot.
he
Inconsistently.
Yeah, like I was confused. He's a very poor defender. He really can't handle the ball well. He's not a good playmaker. He hits shots in moments and streaks, but he's really like a very horrible defender. So it's hard to keep him out there for more than 3 minutes because he gets picked on. With the Bridges, I feel like Aiden's been asking for that money, right? And then you, based off this playoff run, you just had Aiden went up against the best of the best. You know, he
Yeah.
went up against the Jokic.
Yep.
He went up against AD, and he held his own defensively. He didn't lock them down, but defensively, he wasn't a slouch. He wasn't a cone. He held his own. He was a great screener. He was great in the pick and roll. He even developed a mid-range pop-up jump shot in the playoffs. Developing that in the playoffs is insane.
He got killed, though.
But he never got killed.
Giannis
By
killed him.
Giannis killed him.
Oh, I'm not even talking about
I know
that. That's
what
a
you
different
mean. I know
beast.
what you're saying.
But he developed a midi in the playoffs. That's ridiculous. But the
Facts.
fact that they didn't pay him, and it's weird because we talked about this with the Rudy Gobert situation. Yeah, he may not deserve that money, but in a situation like that, you
small
have to
market.
pay him.
Yeah.
Small market.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anybody else. And with Phoenix, you just went to the finals. Keep this core together. Bridges, Aiden, Booker. Keep them together. You know, you pay Aiden because he's one of those bigs where he's still relatively young. He has a lot of potential. And you've just seen him go up against AD, the Joker, and Giannis. Now, the Giannis matchup, life.
Yeah.
But AD and Jokic, he held his own pretty, like, he
Not on AD.
pretty well. He did all right. You know, he wasn't no pushover.
You're right.
He made everything tough on them. So I feel like this was kind of like the Landry Shaman is ridiculous. I would ask for a trade after the next day, but that's just me personally. But I feel like Aiden should definitely feel the type of way that this organization doesn't respect him. I get that they probably look at him and like, he's not Trae Young. He's not Luka. But, bro, you just went to the finals with him as a starting center. Like, he was a main contributor. So, you know, like I said, Shaman is ridiculous, but Bridges, understandable.
So I understand him being upset. but I also understand the Suns. It was one season of him really showing, okay, this is why we took him number one. I'm not ready on one season to give him a max. If he does the exact same thing this season, obviously we're looking for him to improve.
Next year.
I think that they will give him even more money than what he was initially asking for.
That'll suck.
I mean, it will suck,
And
but
he gets hurt.
at the same time, he would have really earned it. 2 seasons, I'm more than firm with giving you the bag. If you're the Suns, you didn't win the championship, right? CP3 really came in and was the reason why he had this improvement the next season. I believe this is his that was his 3rd year last year.
He had a better statistical year in the second season with Rubio.
So he was worse last year than the year before.
Statistically,
yeah.
Nah, he wasn't worse though.
Interesting.
That changed your take, didn't it?
No, it's just it definitely something to take in, because then why are we really here criticizing him for not getting, or the Suns not giving him his bread, if statistically he got worse, even though obviously as a team they got better? Wait the one more season, like I initially said, see if we see another improvement from him or an improvement at all. I think we saw the improvement come playoff time. I think that's where we really saw DeAndre Ayton blossom, But I think if we see him in this regular season and he actually averages upwards of 20 points, 12 rebounds, 21 points, 13 rebounds.
So if 20 points is the standard, why did Bridges get paid?
Because he's borderline 10 out of 10 at what he does, and that's defense.
Ayton's not borderline.
Is he 10 out of 10 on anything?
On defense?
Rebounding, he is.
Defenses, I don't know.
Nah, yeah, he's a
Rebounding,
great
for
rebounder.
sure.
Great rebounder.
For sure. I think his offensive game still needs to be refined, but I think Bridges got paid because, one, he wasn't getting the money that Ayton's going to be getting, and 2, I think that they look at Bridges' defense and think, okay, this guy is essential for what we want to do.
Mikal is getting half of what Aiden is going to get.
That's like we're talking about 170, 180 million. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't just close your eyes and say you had a great postseason. Here's the money.
Well, you're Phoenix.
But you're right. If I saw Shamet got my bread before me, I'd be fuming.
Oh, DeAndre Ayton, his rookie season, he averaged 16 and 10. Second year, 18 and 12. Then this past season, 14 and 10. But the reason why DeAndre Ayton deserves a contract, in my opinion, is because he averaged 16 and 12 in the playoffs and shot above 65%, which was historic for his. And it was historic for him, and that's the first time he was in the playoffs. You have to realize what the Suns are as a team. They're a perimeter-centric team, which means that there are not many opportunities for DeAndre Ayton. Let's say DeAndre Ayton goes to the Hornets, who they desperately are. They're dying for a center. LaMelo Ball and Ayton is averaging 20 a game. There's no doubt about that in my opinion.
I'm with you.
I think he's a great rim runner. He has to refine his post game. He has a good mid-range shot. And even in the preseason, he's been shooting some three-point shots as well. I know you don't take much stock into that, but he's been shooting. He's been shooting from out there. So we'll see what happens with DeAndre Ayton.
I cut you off when you said the preseason. I stopped listening.
But this is the Suns. Robert Sarver is known for being cheap. He's the owner of the Suns. He is so cheap that they sold their G League team. They are notoriously known for selling draft picks, and they only roster 1 two-way player a season because they don't want to spend on more. So that's Robert Sarver. And a similar situation happened with Joe Johnson in the 2000s when he was on the Phoenix Suns with Steve Nash. They didn't pay him. He went to Atlanta and was a multiple-time All-Star and had put a resume at least to be a Hall of Fame player. Not first ballot, but maybe
Definitely
eventually
not
he'll
first
get
ballot.
it. Joe Johnson had a heck of a career, though.
Yeah, he did.
Joe was tough.
He was
25 points
cool.
per game 1 year. You done, Joe?
Yeah.
Oh, my fault. I didn't want to cut you off. My fault. But I agree with you guys. I think DeAndre Ayton definitely deserved to get his money solely based on the fact that he performed in the playoffs, averaged 16 and 12, was a key part to them getting all the way to the finals. I don't put too much stock into his regular season stats going down just because you add Chris Paul, you add Devin Booker, and like Joel says, they're perimeter centric. That's their type of offense that they run. They don't really cater towards their big men. So I don't really put too much stock in that. But just the fact that he averaged 16 and 12 in the playoffs, shot 65% from the field, and for the most part in the West held his own against some of the best bigs in the league, I think that was enough to warrant him getting his money. But I kind of do get where you're coming from because his statistics kind of did go down a little bit. But I don't think it was more so because of his play. I think it was more so because Chris Paul's coming in. He's got to get his points.
Yep.
Then you got Devin Booker. He's got to get his points. And you got, You got your Mikal Bridges, your Jay Crowders getting their like 9 to 13 points a game. So just being on a team, like everybody knows, when you're on a team, somebody's stats are gonna go down if you're on a team with multiple
team.
good. So yeah, it happens. So I don't put too much stock into that. I would be upset that Shaman got paid before him because he actually ended up just getting traded there this year. So the fact that they were able to, work out a deal before you drafting your number 1 overall pick is kind of funny to me. And just off the fact that the Phoenix Suns are like, they're not like a high end organization, not a top destination. So you have to do whatever you can to keep these players. So just off his playoff run and how well he played, I think it warrants him getting some money.
DeAndre Ayton joins Anthony Bennett as the only first overall picks not to get extended past their rookie contract since 2008. Greg Oden.
Got him.
Oh, there it was. Okay.
Now, question: He'd be a restricted free agent next season.
This is how it works. If he signs his qualifying offer, he's going to be an unrestricted free agent after next season. But he will be a restricted free agent if he doesn't sign his qualifying offer.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has a game winner in the Western Conference Finals.
For sure.
That game right there could have.
But I think
Clippers win that game. They win the series.
Yeah, that was all.
I think you mentioned something good though. Is like, what's the alternative? What's the alternative for Phoenix if they don't pay Ayton and let him walk or trade him? If you trade him, you get maybe late first round picks. I don't think anybody's trading a top pick for Ayton. You don't get equal value. No. The Suns get worse if they don't extend Ayton. And it's 34. Is 34 million in overpay? Yeah. Because, for example, where do you rank Ayton amongst the top centers? I don't think he's not top 5 for me.
I was gonna say he's
top
probably
10,
like top 7, top 8.
He's not 34 mil.
Hold on,
No.
Top 10.
Is he better than Clint Capella?
They're around the same level,
Clint
Clint Capella might be a little better.
but they're in the same level.
Clint Capella's getting paid 18 mil a year.
Ayton's younger.
I'm taking Ayton.
No, Clint Capella's not old though. Clint Capella's like 25, 26.
Clint's a
27.
solid player.
But
He's
Clint, we
not
know what Clint's like. He's at
Clint's
his
going to
peak.
give you a double-double with great rim
mid-range shot.
protection.
Clint's at his peak.
I'm
We
gonna
know
take,
what
I'm
Clint-
gonna take
we know
Ayton
we're gonna
because
get
of the
from.
ceiling. Go ahead.
But for example, like let's talk about the centers. Jokic, Embiid,
Obviously.
Kat,
They're north of
Bam,
34.
Rudy's better. I would say Vucevic is better than him. I'm trying to think of somebody else. I don't know if that's it. I think Clint and him are in the same class. Yeah, I did say Kat.
That's pretty much it.
Valanciunas.
I think Ayton is better.
I agree.
Yeah, I think Ayton is better. So yeah, he's a top 10 center in the NBA. Probably he's in like the 7th range.
8th.
He's around what Clint Capella is, and Clint Capella is getting paid 18 mil, and they'd be paying 34 mil.
I think his offensive game is better than Clint Capella's. Obviously, I think Capella's defense is better than Ayton's, but I
don't think so.
You don't
I think Clint's just a better rim protector.
But there's no doubt that
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand.
Ayton hasn't lived up to the first overall
No.
pick.
Wait, are we putting Bam at a bias as center or PF?
Center.
So then that's another one. You said
I
him?
No,
don't-
he
yeah,
said him.
no,
He
yeah.
said him in the
Okay,
top
okay,
5.
okay, cool.
He hasn't lived up to his first overall pick, especially since he got drafted over Luka and Trey.
Ridiculous.
Like
I feel like the situation hasn't warranted to give him
even
the
Jaren
opportunity.
Jackson Jr. I think has more high end potential than Ayton.
Because of the way the NBA is
The
trending.
two-way, yeah, the two-way ability.
Like
yeah.
if the Suns had a 5 like Jaren, like if he played the 5 with Phoenix, that'd be dangerous.
But I think the team Ayton has been put on kind of didn't need him to be
Yeah, it
the
doesn't
number one
cater
pick
to his
right away.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't need him to be. He got Chris Paul. Then Devin Booker
I
was
was about
there.
to say,
Then
Devin's
Bridges,
automatically
he
number 1.
improved. Then
He
Jay
emerged.
Crowder comes. Cameron Johnson's there. Cameron Payne, he has a little resurgence. So it's like he didn't need to be the number 1 pick anymore. You know. So it was like
who would you take going forward? DeAndre Ayton or Michael Porter Jr.?
Michael Porter Jr. I will take the wing
Easily.
9 times out of 10. Yeah.
You go MPJ too.
That's easy.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
relatively easy.
So in
Ayton
that
is
draft,
dumb nice though.
so in that draft, Luka, Trey, MPJ, Jaren, potential players who could have
I would
were
take
better than
Jaren
Ayton.
over.
So if you could redraft
MPJ,
Jaren, I mean,
MPJ in
DeAndre's not
hindsight,
going-
obviously, like
Well, I knew I didn't care about the back injury. I would have took MPJ. with
him going
any
15
pick.
or 14.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to go top 10 regardless of that injury.
I mean, if we redraft, if we're doing a 2018 redraft, Luka's 1, Trey is 2, 3rd
Probably MPJ.
is hard for me. I'm gonna
It's
go with
either-
Jaren Jackson though.
Nah,
I think who was the
nah,
third-
I'm
who
going
was the third
Jaren
pick?
Jackson.
Who the third
I'm
pick?
going Jaren
Who
Jackson.
the third pick?
Marvin
Ma-
Bagley.
No, Marvin Bagley.
Sacramento?
Wait.
No.
Marvin was
the
2.
3rd pick was Luka.
Yeah.
Or Trey.
Yes.
One of
So
those.
what team had the third pick?
The Mavs. Luka was the 3rd pick, right?
No, the Hawks had the
Hawks.
third
Oh, they
pick.
traded. They traded.
back
Okay,
with-
okay,
yes.
okay.
I think they go.
Well, what
with
pick was
PJ.
Bagley?
Bagley was 2.
Well, I'm just saying, this is,
Trey-
if I'm just
oh
going
my
1
God.
through
Trey was
5, if I'm doing
So Collins is already there. I think they go MPJ at 3.
Well, I'm not talking about what those teams did. I'm talking about what I would do.
Oh, okay.
My redraft. So if I'm doing a 2018 redraft, I'm drafting Luka, Trey, Jaren, MPJ at 4, and then DeAndre Ayton at 5.
Are we missing anybody? SGA?
I don't know, man. Jaren,
Wow.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm taking
SGA.
over
I'm taking SGA over Ayton
Question:
too.
You're taking Jaren even with the injuries and everything?
Yes, high end potential is there. Yes.
I'm already whack anyways.
Jaren Jackson could shoot the 3 too.
So
definitely could. He scares me, though.
DeAndre Ayton isn't a
I feel
top
like we're
5
still missing
pick.
people, but SGA, off the top of my head, I remember he's going top 5.
You're taking SGA over MPJ.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm biased. So I'm
no,
taking
that's
SGA
fine.
over a lot
Okay,
of
let's
people.
look at the 2018 NBA draft. So, Colin Sexton,
No.
Miles
Taking
Bridges,
Over him?
Yeah, I'm taking Ayton over both of them.
Kevin Huerter.
Ayton.
You had to answer that.
Yeah. Red Robin.
Herder for 6 man's interesting too.
Now we're not missing anybody, bro. Yeah, we're not.
Yo,
We're not missing
You're
anybody.
not missing
bro.
anybody? All right.
Yeah, it's just Luka, Jaren, Trey,
That class is young.
Shea,
Chill, we're missing
MPJ.
somebody. DiVincenzo.
Wendell Carter,
Oh my
Mo
God.
Bamba.
Wendell Carter.
I hate him so much.
So yeah, I think we can all agree that they should have probably paid him. If they didn't, they're gonna wait to see what he does this season to
But
pay him.
do we expect him to really make an improvement in numbers, like a big improvement?
Look, I think if he averages 18, that they're good with that. I want him to average 18.
But does he need to, is what I'm asking.
I think he should.
How about 18 and 11? That's not bad, right?
Like, he's
He's going to get 16, 12 in his sleep.
At,
Yeah,
thi-
that's what I'm
at this
saying.
point, he's the first overall pick, bro. Like, come on, you got to give me more.
who?
Yeah.
I mean, but playing with Devin Booker and Chris Paul, it's not.
I'm not even talking. I mean, even if those numbers are like, even if it's 16 and 12, I want you to give me 2 blocks, bro.
Well,
Okay.
wait.
Like, give me something.
What was his best season?
His rookie year.
His second year actually?
And what, 18 and 12, right?
It was 18 and 12, 1.5 blocks, and
He can do that again.
he averaged 2 assists this past year. Career lows in assists, second in rebounds, career low in points, career high in field goal percentage though, but second career low in blocks and career low in steals.
I will say it is probably due to Chris Paul coming to the team. That's why his points went down.
Yeah.
I want to see it in the playoffs. He ups his game even more than you pay him.
I agree.
So next topic, Doc Rivers kicked Ben Simmons out of practice.
Sure, guy.
And then in the presser, Joel Embiid, and I quote, said, "At this point, I don't really care about that guy."
That's funny, man.
He said he's going to do what he wants to do. Then Embiid later on said, "Our job is not to babysit anybody."
Yo, Giannis is killing y'all.
I know. He's got like 15 and 8 right now, right?
Get out of here. Fantasy, let's go.
So,
He's dumb nice,
yeah,
though. I don't know why he comes as a
Joel
surprise.
Embiid has called out Ben Simmons already, and The Athletic just posted a tweet from Ben Simmons, about Ben Simmons, that he is not mentally ready to go back to the 76ers right now. So what are your thoughts on this scenario?
Trade him.
This is becoming too much.
Trade him.
But what's his value, man?
Just trade him.
But what's his value?
What
He
do
doesn't wanna
they
be
mean
there.
by he's not mentally ready to come back to practice?
He's probably not taking the drill.
Did you hear what happened,
He's
though?
probably arguing with teammates.
So-
He had his phone in his
no,
pocket.
not just that. So Doc asked him to do a defensive drill.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw. I'm sure you saw that.
Yeah, I
He
saw
asked him
that.
to do a defensive drill.
Ben said
Ben
no.
on his bitch shit said no. And then Doc said, all right, then why don't you just get out of here?
Because you're not helping us.
So then Ben dropped the ball and walked out of practice.
So then it goes back to my point. Mentally, what do you mean by that? Like
I'm with you.
You're not mentally ready to come back to work?
I don't
Like
know.
you don't want to
bro.
work anymore? Like what's
He's being a little kid.
going? Are
he
you
doesn't want to play for them, bro.
But it's like you've caused your value to drop. This is you. You've done everything. You've made it a point to not communicate with your team. You've not played well in the playoffs. You decide to come back because you realize this isn't working. Rich Paul has put you in a bad situation, and you decided to listen to him. Okay, that's your manager.
He's a smart
Whatever.
guy.
Agent, cool. You listen to him. Now you look stupid. Fine. You come back. Now you come back. You're not integrating with your teammates. The goal is still the same.
Yeah.
But the goal is the same.
That's
Win
a
a championship. That's the goal in Philly. Win a championship. You have Embiid. You have Tobias Harris. You have Ben. You have Seth Curry. You have Doc Rivers. The goal is to win a championship. You come back. You haven't you've shown no lack of communicating with your teammates, no lack of even wanting to play. Now you're giving Doc Rivers attitude because he asked you to do a defensive drill, something you need some work on because you was looking real shaky.
Oh my
You need to get
God.
in there and do some drills.
There's one thing he
And now
doesn't
you
need,
don't want to do the drills for what? Because you don't want to listen to a guy that's still your coach. He's still your boss at the end of the
He's
day.
trying to force his way out, bro.
Force your way out the right way. Go play hard or go at least just
We weren't
play.
saying that to Harden.
Harden at least played.
Yeah, he played, but he wasn't
But he
like he
played.
came out of shape, and he wasn't really.
But he played.
And he cost them a game in the fourth too.
And we know Harden. We know Harden's energy right now. We know who Harden is as a player. So and Harden, first of all, you can't even count the situation because Harden gave his life and his soul for that city, and he brought them to multiple WCFs.
But that's the thing. Philly doesn't want Ben Simmons back. Neither do the fans, and he doesn't want to be there either.
Yeah, but you have
to trade him at that point.
But you can't, the problem is you can't trade somebody you can't get nothing back for.
But what do you mean we can't get anything back?
There is nothing.
Nobody. All 30 NBA teams are not willing to take a chance. I mean,
you guys
Ben
are offering
Simmons.
Kyrie, but here's the problem: Kyrie's not playing.
No, we're not. Forget Kyrie.
It's just like the offers aren't good enough. You have to still. You're a GM. When you're trading somebody, you have to get something back.
So realistically, you thought the LeVert and Malcolm Brogdon deal for Ben Simmons was a bad one.
First of all, that deal wasn't even fully on the table.
No, but I'm saying there was talks about that deal.
I would have done that. I would have done that.
There's still you can still get value from it.
But I don't think you can do that now.
The deal was Brogdon and 2 firsts. Would you have done that?
No, I'm not doing that.
I heard LeVert just recently being brought up in the trade topics as well.
It's been talks, but there is no concrete trades. Right. So it's like you still want to win a championship. You want to get something back that warrants an equal value to where you can still win a championship.
But that's where he kind of has them. Like
I
know what you're saying, by their mercy.
But I think the Sixers have failed in this situation.
No, early on though.
Well, for one, I think they're still failing in this situation because for one, Doc Rivers, Joel Embiid came out and threw Simmons under the bus after Game 7.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I said early on. Yeah,
that was dumb.
That was
dumb.
But you know, when Doc Rivers said he doesn't know if he can be a championship point guard, I heard that tape was kind of taken out of. It was kind of misconstrued. I heard the real one, and he did not say anything about that. No, he just said I don't know.
He said I don't know.
Yeah, but that you have to. I'll send you it later. That they completely misconstrued what he was saying. That's what the media does, though. He did not just flat out say that, though.
What I'm saying is that Philly, Daryl Morey. Bro, his value is shot down already. Like they're still trying to get so much. They're trying to get the same value that you would get for a superstar.
Yep.
He's not a superstar,
and that's Philly's problem. That's Daryl Morey's problem right now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Is that you got to just get what you can get now because Ben doesn't want to play, and you're making his situation worse by dragging it on. But I will say this: they are in complete control of this situation. Because Ben Simmons signed a contract. He's under contract for 3 more years. And Philly can just tell Ben Simmons, look, you have 2 options. You either sit out and we find the shit out of you until you're broke. Or 2, you play hard until your trade value is good enough until we could trade you for something that we feel comfortable getting you back for. Those are the 2 options. And Philly, they can do that to him, and if Simmons
just can't be stingy with the options he's getting.
And if Simmons, but that's what he's been.
Yep.
And if Simmons doesn't comply, okay, you want to just not show up and not play hard? Okay, now we're just going to fine you and suspend you and just ruin your reputation. Ben Simmons right now is making a grave mistake because he has to just thug through it. Like he has to just thug it out. It is
Young
what
thug,
it is.
Bro.
You know, everywhere right now across the country, there are people that are working jobs that they hate, with coworkers that they don't like, with bosses that they don't like.
I hate my job.
Well, thank you for
He's being honest.
On
He's
air.
being honest. I respect
his
that.
boss is going to look at that.
They know I hate that job. I walk in every day and I say I hate this place.
So people work in jobs like that every day. And now Ben Simmons is getting a taste of what it feels like to be a regular person because his entire life he's been a pampered basketball star. So now he's getting the chance to know what it feels like to be a regular person, and he's quitting. He's saying, no, I'm too good for this, but he noticed in hindsight he's not because he's going to get fined and he can't afford to lose that money. So he should just suck it up and play your best and play until your trade value is good enough because right now he's ruining his pockets. He's messing up his pockets. He's messing up his reputation. And on top of that, he's messing up the league because when the next CBA agreement is talked upon and there's negotiations, the owners are going to use the situation to gain more control over players. And players have worked so hard to make this a players league to have player empowerment, and Ben Simmons with this situation can tear a lot of that work down. So he's not looking out for himself. He's not looking out for people around him. He's not looking around for the Sixers, and that's why I feel okay with Embiid saying, I don't care about that guy. Because, how are you going to just come here and act like so nonchalant? Like, let's be adults. Let's be adults about this.
Still got a job
to do. So Ben Simmons, it's his job, and he has to just have a change of perspective. You are somebody that plays in the NBA that's making over $20 million a year playing basketball, a game for a living. Who cares about the fans? Who cares about your teammates? Just go out and play basketball, bro. It's not that big of a deal. It's his job. I'm all for mental health. And if he's going through something that's drastic, that I feel like is serious, then I give him the benefit of the doubt. But this all feels like it's coming just because he wants to get one up on Philly and he wants to basically force his way out without taking any accountability for what he's done.
All anybody wants to do is see Ben Simmons play basketball, because all we really care about is seeing him improve on the court, which is fair. I mean, you don't have to like him or anything. It's what
his game's so
No, he's good for the league.
Well, what the regular NBA fan wants to see is whether or not Ben Simmons is going to rewrite what he did in the playoffs. That's all he should be focusing on, truthfully, is whether or not he's going to improve from last season to this season. And we're not talking about his skills at all. We're talking about his off-the-court antics right now. That's the issue. Come on, bro. You got to speak with your hands. You got to be emphatic.
You were shaking last
Was
one.
I?
Yeah.
Maybe I got something wrong with me. But you look at what Ben Simmons has been doing recently, it's not something that any team should really support. When Kyrie's sitting out right now, everyone's giving him hell. Of course they're going to continue to keep that same energy towards Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is being a child as opposed to Kyrie not taking the vaccine, where one can be handled more easily with Ben just going to practice because exactly
going to work.
Both of them to a degree, but obviously Kyrie's situation's way more different than Ben's is, where Ben solely isn't reporting to the team because he doesn't want to, because he feels like the Sixers have wronged him, even though they've already committed to him long term and given him this unbelievable amount of money. So the disconnect with me and Simmons right now is he's not caring so much about his game as much as he's caring about himself, and that's my problem right now.
Yeah.
What do you think, JC?
With the Ben Simmons?
Yeah.
What was the question again? My fault.
What do you just think about the situation?
I mean, obviously the situation, it looks bad on Ben Simmons' part. I mean, I agree with you guys. You have a contract to abide by. They gave you your money. They gave you your money when the biggest question of your game was to develop a jump shot, and they still gave you your money even when that requirement wasn't even met. So I think it does look bad on Ben Simmons just because of the fact that you're the one who stunk up the bed in the playoffs last year against Atlanta. You're the one who turned down the layup. You're the one who still comes in with no jumper. You're the one who's regressed statistically since your rookie, your second year. You're the one who's regressed statistically. So I mean, it doesn't look good on his part. I mean, when you have a head coach who's a championship head coach, I mean, we may agree that he's a little overrated in terms of like his success, but he is a championship head coach. He has coached championship teams. When you have a head coach telling you what to do and you're not doing it, it just sets a bad precedent. Like it just sets a bad example for the team in the locker room and everything. So I mean, I'm fine with Joel Embiid coming out and blasting him because, you know, I feel like it had to be done. I mean, you think about it. You're Joel Embiid. You want to win a ring. You want to win a chip. You want somebody that's going to be all in. Ben Simmons right now is not all in. Whether it's all his fault may not be the case, but he definitely has some fault to it. So I don't really blame I don't really blame Joel Embiid for going all out and, you know, telling it how it is or whatever. But then again, Ben Simmons, it's like you're contradicting yourself. You don't want to be there. You say, like, he's really said behind the scenes he wants to do everything in his power to get out of there, but then you're not suiting up and raising your trade value to have your request met. You know what I mean? Like, you still have to play. I mean, the last memory from you is turning on that layup. The last memory from you is having a bad series against Atlanta, in which you were a team that was supposed to win that series. Philly was the number one seed in the East. They were supposed to win that series. It was supposed to be them in the ECF. But because Ben Simmons laid an egg, didn't play well, it didn't transpire. So this whole situation, it looks bad on Ben Simmons. I understand he wants to get out of there. I understand that, you know, he feels like he no longer can play in front of those fans, and I feel like the fans don't want him back. So I feel like Ben Simmons, like, if I was, like, I mean, obviously I'm not him, but if I was in your situation, man, you got to play. You got to up your trade value, because in reality, you're the one who hindered your trade value with your performances in the playoffs. Not just this year. Look in the past and the other playoff series that he's played. He has not really played well in the playoffs at all. So, I mean, other than that, I mean, he's got to be a man. He's got to play until the trade deadline, and, you know, play as hard as you can, up your trade value. And I'm pretty sure your requirement to get traded will be met if you're playing well.
I mean, at this point, the best they can get from is Malik Beasley.
I'll take it.
Too shy.
No, he's not.
That's not bad, though.
No, he's not.
That's not bad.
That's
What
terrible.
if he goes back to jail?
You got to stop.
Bro,
He's not
that's
going.
always the big question.
He's not going to jail, bro.
Don't say he's not going
exactly,
again. That's what
exactly.
You need to say. Don't
He's
say
not going again.
Looks bad though.
Malik Beasley already said I'm a free man.
Yeah.
I learned from my mistakes.
Sure you did.
I think he did.
KCP was playing with an ankle monitor. Remember that?
Legend.
Yo.
He's a legend for that.
Because this show ran a little bit longer than we expected, we're going to cut the Atlanta Hawks topic because I don't think anybody at the table really wants to talk about them.
I
They're
don't.
not an
That would have
interesting
been cool
team.
Nah,
talking
Hawks
to
are
me.
I mean,
They're
I know
first.
me. I'm always
You know,
cool with
you
some-
don't want to talk
They're
because you're a
fir-
Knicks fan.
They're a first round exit. Who cares? about
Oh
the
my
Hawks?
god.
So we're gonna go on to NFL Pick'em, the last topic in this show. NFL Pick'em Week 7, our Week 7 predictions. Now, first game, Thursday Night Football, Broncos versus Browns. Who do you have? I'm gonna go first. I have the Broncos in this game because of all the injuries to the Browns right now. I have them winning.
Yeah.
What do you think, Riff?
If Baker's playing, I'm a ride with Cleveland. I got Cleveland this one. Denver is on a 3-game losing streak. They haven't looked good. Teddy hasn't looked right. So I'm gonna go with Cleveland.
This is so terribly hard for me personally.
Bro,
it's
stay
hard.
a homer.
Yeah.
Stay a homer.
Ride.
Pause.
Broncos it is, baby. Von Miller's going to impose his will.
You said 3 sacks.
I think he definitely could. I mean, he doesn't know who's starting at left or right tackle. I don't know who's starting at left or right tackle. Either way, he's going to kill. His words, not mine. I do believe it, though. I'm taking Broncos, yeah.
I got the Broncos just because I don't know if Baker Mayfield's going to come back healthy. So I had the Broncos. Who's home?
The
Browns.
It's a
Has
dog
Von
pound.
Miller still been playing at an elite level?
Yes.
Not elite, but he's
Yeah,
really
he
good.
has.
He's
Still
been
really
that
good.
guy.
He's still really
He's been
good.
that guy.
I'm gonna go listen to you.
What
You're
the?
biased. You're
Even though it's
biased.
my team?
Yeah, you're biased.
Even though it's
I can
my
tell you
team.
about your team, bro. Come on, I can tell you about my team.
It's not hard for you. I could tell you about my team. We suck.
Not horrible, though.
All right, so you saying he's still elite?
Yes.
Joel just said he's all right.
I didn't say he's all right. I said he's good.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's
Got
good.
the Broncos, though.
Next game, Chiefs versus Titans. I have the Chiefs in this one.
I think the Chiefs definitely bounce back. I got the Chiefs.
I think Derek continues his hot run, but I don't think that it'll be enough to beat the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs win.
I got the Titans.
Oh, that was
Oh,
firm. That was
that's
firm the way you
surprise
said
pick.
that. Titans.
Remember this deja vu. That 2019, I said the Titans were going to beat the Chiefs, and Ryan
The most
Tannehill-
vulnerable the
Yeah.
Chiefs
and
are
I
right
said,
now.
I said Tannehill was going to lead a comeback,
Yeah.
and literally what happened, he led a fourth quarter
no,
comeback.
he didn't.
How many?
Yeah, he did.
I know.
Do you guys know how many yards AJ Brown had last night? Was it 90?
Maybe he might have.
Who
Next
knows?
game, Washington versus Packers. I got the Packers in this one.
I'm not even
I'm
gonna
gonna take Green Bay. I'm gonna ride with Green
Yeah,
Bay, even though
Packers.
they hurt Aaron Rodgers. He's on a roll. He owns everybody at this point. So I'm gonna go with Green
No,
Bay.
he doesn't.
This is gonna be an easy W. Packers got this.
Packers.
Not the Jets.
Nobody wants to own you guys.
Packers.
Bengals versus Ravens.
I got the Ravens.
Speak.
Got the Ravens.
Oh, Ravens. Lamar. Yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens. Hey, Baltimore is in Baltimore.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
Bengals. I think that the Ravens are a little too banged up. It's a division matchup. I'm
You just
taking the
wanna
Bengals.
you want to be that guy today.
I could have with the Titans if I wanted to, but I didn't.
Ravens.
You picked the Titans to win.
No, I didn't. I picked the Chiefs.
So you went on that whole rant. to
I
say the
said
Chiefs
He
are
said it's not going to be
Talking
enough.
about- I said
Oh.
stupid.
clown.
Panthers versus Giants. I got the Panthers.
Panthers.
This one.
Yeah, the Panthers are gonna bounce back. I got the Panthers.
Actually, I'll change it. I'm going with the Giants.
Don't stand on what
Going
you
with the
say.
Giants.
I don't know if Saquon's gonna play yet. I feel like that would be more of a factor in my decision. That's why I don't like doing these pick'ems on Tuesday. With that being said, I am gonna go Panthers, even though they have looked shady in their last couple games. Blew it to Minnesota. Blew it to
Dallas.
Excuse me. Not even. There was a team before that too.
I just remember those.
No,
two
all good.
specifically.
All good.
Panthers, Giants.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Panthers.
Sam Darnold only beats bad teams, so I'm going to go Panthers.
Yeah, it sounded like
It's
you read a
facts,
script
though.
though.
It's
Like,
facts, though.
I think
nah.
Joe Brady's overrated. That's a play caller.
You was just raving about him
See
like
this
last
guy,
year, the year
bro?
before, and this
This guy
season.
is
Oh my
crazy.
god,
Nah,
I hate this guy.
Last year wasn't bad, but I mean,
Oh my god.
that's because
Are
I
you
watched
blaming-
every game.
Are you
So,
blaming Sam Darnold or are you blaming Robbie Anderson?
No, well, between the two,
Yeah,
Sam
that's a
Darnold.
different question. Are you blaming which
for
one?
their connection.
I'll be
also.
honest. Robbie has looked ass.
It's kind of even. I mean, Robbie drops a lot of passes, but Sam also
Overthrows, underthrows.
I mean, he loves
think-
DJ.
I think
Yeah, they have
DJ Moore is better than Robbie.
what I don't like about Sam Darnold the most is that he runs his receivers into hits, or he throws. His
I know what you're
receivers
saying.
hits.
That's a
but I
fact.
do think that's the design of the offense. That's
Yeah.
that's Joe Brady designing. Okay, this
Did he
is your
not do
guy.
that in New York though?
Yeah, he did do it in New York.
So you
But
think it's design or? It's
I think
just-
Joe Brady is getting figured out right now.
Joe
I
Brady's
do.
a good OC though. You told me.
Yeah, he was at LSU last
My
year. He was
gosh.
pretty good.
What's the next one?
Well, because guys get figured out. I think Joe Brady's getting figured out right now.
It happens.
Falcons versus Dolphins.
Oh my! Wait, damn.
Dolphins.
I got-
This is easy.
Yeah,
I got
it's
the
not
Dolphins.
easy.
No, it's easy.
I'm taking the Falcons.
Yeah.
I got the Dolphins too with Tagovailoa.
Oh, Tua's back. I'm
He
taking
ate last
Dolphins.
week too. I'm
Did
taking.
they win?
Unfortunately, not. That
Well,
defense
I'm
is
doubling
butt.
down. Dolphins. Tua.
So wait, you're doubling down.
I had picked Falcons first.
That's why I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Okay.
doubling down.
All right. I'm going Dolphins as well.
I'm going Falcons.
Doubling down means
That's exactly. Yeah. This guy
Does it
doesn't
not
know
mean
it.
flipping back?
no. Doubling
No.
down means enforcing what you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
that's-
Falcons.
Tough.
No.
I didn't mean to call you out on that, bro.
So like,
No,
if,
you're good.
if
I
we're
thought-
doing a bet and it's like, okay, let's put $2 on it. Okay, I win, double or nothing. That's kind of what it means.
You sure?
yeah.
I'm doubling
I
down.
could have sworn I heard somebody say
here-
it technically. Now I'm
so
doubling
here-
down on that. And then
Here's
take
blackjack,
back.
right? You have 2 cards, right? You could say, all right, I'm gonna double
No,
down.
I
and
know.
take this
Oh,
next
okay,
card.
got it.
You double your bet.
Copy. I know what double or nothing.
Yeah, I
is.
know what you're saying. That's why I had to fix it.
Jets versus Patriots.
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 What about you, buddy?
Patriots. But it's gonna be a close game.
wanted
Zach-
the
Patriots.
Don't be
You wanted to
surprised if
pick
they
the
win.
Jets so bad just now.
Now I don't blame him because I was contemplating the Jets as well. But Mac's last performance against the Cowboys, I think he shows out against the
The
Jets.
Jets were actually, it was a close game versus the Pats. And if Zach doesn't throw 4 picks, we could win that game.
If
No, like
I
I'm
mean,
talking about like we can,
He
like
said an
we could
egregious
win that
number.
game.
I know 4
No,
is
that-
a
the 4 is
lot.
crazy.
The score was
so-
25-6.
Yeah, but even on his like,
Oh.
I know, but you know the game was close.
no, but Joel, 4 interceptions is crazy.
That's OD.
Yeah, like it's. I know it's.
At
I know
that
you,
point,
I know
you
the
lose
if,
the
but it's
turnover.
like,
You
yeah,
lose the
it's like,
turnover battle. You're not.
You threw 4 of them. You can't take all 4
You
back.
do 4 of them things.
2 of them was on the receivers.
So you could take 2 back.
No, he still
still
threw
had-
4. Still 4 turnovers.
Eagles versus the Raiders. I got the Eagles in this game.
Yeah, I'm taking my boys. I'm being a homer this week. Taking the Eagles.
I'm going Raiders actually.
I'm going Raiders. You get mad at Joel, but
So
you
we
do the same
we
thing.
split here.
Now I feel like I can get us this win this week.
Yeah, we split here
So I'm wondering, why do you have the Eagles over the Raiders right now?
because I don't think the Eagles are a bad team. I think the Eagles are a competitive team every single week. Their offense, they can move the
What?
ball.
Did you not see Dallas do what they did to us?
Well, mostly every week. They're a
Oh yeah,
competitive
so
team
yeah.
mostly every week.
Dallas.
Dallas
No,
is just
I
a
think-
significantly better team than
But
you.
that's
When
crazy.
Sirianni calls a game within Jalen Hurts' boundaries and doesn't ask him to do too much, they can compete.
Is it in the realm? Is it in the realm to say Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts only do good against bad defenses?
I mean, probably.
The thing is that their defense itself is not good, so they really can't incorporate the
What do you
run.
mean?
I don't think the Eagles' defense is bad.
The defense is
I
better.
feel like
than
you guys been going down in every single game, and your offense
because
hasn't
our
been able
defense
to
has been
call
on the
back.
field so much. They get tired. Like you know,
I
I've got
feel
a
like
bunch of old
Jalen
heads.
Jalen Hurts is only manageable in the fourth quarter because his teams are getting, they're at such a deficit that they just play from behind, and somehow he has some.
What's
success.
our record? 2-4.
Jalen
not
has
that
had great performances against the Falcons
Panthers.
and the Panthers.
That was the game that I was thinking of that I couldn't remember.
But he didn't
off the
play
top of
good
my
against
head.
the Niners.
I mean, that's not bad. I had y'all winning like 7
oh, and the
games.
Chiefs. He bugged out against
He
the Chiefs.
did bug out against the Chiefs. I think the Raiders are hot right now. I'm gonna
You didn't
take them
have
this
y'all
week.
winning
I just
one.
don't think the Eagles are like
Wait,
that.
what'd you say?
I had y'all winning like 7 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Lions versus Rams.
Rams.
Okay. I got the Rams too.
I think that the Rams do win easily. I just think that
What
Goff.
do you think, bro?
I think Goff has a good game. That's all I think.
I thought you were gonna say something crazy.
Nah, I
bro,
just think
Rams.
Goff has a good game because
Rams.
Goff obviously just got in question and he's playing. It's a grudge match.
revenge
There we
game.
go. Thank you.
Bears versus Buccaneers. I got the Bucks.
Bucks. I wanted to say Fields.
better
so
not think
bad.
All right, Buccaneers do win, but Allen Robinson breakout week.
Okay.
Bears. No, Bucks. Bucks.
Texans versus Arizona.
Oh, Zona.
Arizona.
If Tyrod Taylor plays, I got Texans.
He's lying. He's lying.
Nah, I'm playing. I got Arizona.
Zona.
I think Arizona does win as well.
Arizona.
Yeah, don't be surprised if they get shocked.
I'll
though.
be surprised. Like I get up and like
I
run
give
miles.
Cardinals 99% chance to win.
I give him 100%.
All right.
Tyrod Taylor is nice, bro.
Nah, he's all right.
He's a good
I don't know when he's
quarterback.
gonna return.
He's no
though.
K1 though.
Definitely not.
Colts versus 49ers.
I like the way Wentz has been playing.
I'm taking the Colts.
I'm going Colts too.
Me too.
He's been wilding. I'm gonna take him.
Last game, Saints versus Seahawks.
Oh, Geno Smith's still quarterback, right?
Easy though.
Saints.
He gave him he gave the Steelers a good game.
He lost.
He did lose, but
He
it went into
fumbled.
overtime.
He fumbled.
I'm taking the Seahawks.
I'm taking the Saints in this one.
He
I like
the Saints. He fumbled.
And you guys said MT would be
Jameis.
back this week, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, Saints.
It's like he could return
Jets
this
pick's
week,
getting
but we
better,
don't know
baby.
yet.
Every loss that Jets fix getting better.
So those are our NFL Pick'em Week 7 predictions. Let us know yours in the comment section down below. Now, on to the final segments of the show. 2 questions, TikTok questions. We haven't done them the last couple episodes because the previews have been enough, to be honest. So, first question. What do you think of Jaren Jackson Jr.'s extension?
I like it. You know, same situation with Phoenix, same situation with Utah, small market. You're not going to get a lot of free agents. And Memphis is a team that builds in home. They build from the draft. They've done that. You know, aside from maybe the Marc Gasol trade, I remember in the Zebo trades, Mike Conley was drafted. So I think, you know, this is a good deal. And Jaren Jackson has a lot of potential. So I like the move. Keep him in.
Yeah.
Keep him in the free agency and just let him focus on his game.
I mean, you're right. They have to bet on Jaren Jackson. They're a small market team. But Jaren Jackson has a rare skill set for his size. He can handle the ball. He can shoot. He's a lengthy defender. He's good enough to win Defensive Player of the Year. That's how good he is. If he can stay healthy, he can be one of the top power forwards in the NBA.
I think that Memphis had no choice but to sign to this extension. Obviously, you lose Jonas. You bring in Steven Adams, who really doesn't have that much of an offensive game. Jaren Jackson, you're just banking on his health. And for that price, it's a no-brainer to me. 4 years, 105, that's very firm for the 4th overall pick. Obviously, he's shown you flashes where he can be that franchise guy type to pair with John Moran. So I feel like for this price tag, I love the deal.
I like the deal. Like, you know, this is a small market team. Jaren Jackson Jr., you know, he has massive potential. Joel's talking about he could be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He's a guy who can shoot the 3 ball, who's long, who can go out and guard. He can switch on. He's a switchable defender. I mean, I don't think you lose anything paying this guy the 4th overall pick for this amount of money. I like his potential, and I like him staying in John Moran with Memphis. I can't wait to see what they do.
Second question. Who's the better center? Shaquille O'Neal or Hakeem Olajuwon?
I heard me and Joel are staying shut this one, too.
I mean, I just say it off rip. I think it's Shaq.
I think it's Shaq, too.
16-4 in head-to-heads. More championships, more All-NBA teams, more All-Stars. Hakeem has him on defense, but I'm going with Shaq.
Me too.
I'm going with Hakeem. And
No surprise.
no, because look at it. Look at it from this perspective. Hakeem is one of the few guys who got drafted before MJ, and people are fine with that pick. Hakeem in Houston.
Great pick.
Wow, that point is crazy.
Hakeem-
Wait, hold up. Question. If you think Shaq got drafted above MJ,
I think that would be okay. That'd be okay,
Okay,
but of course
okay.
Hakeem did it, so it's
Okay.
like
I
you know what I'm
understand,
saying?
but that was a fire point.
Hakeem in the early 80s with Houston, Ralph Sampson, he didn't have much help. Went up against Magic, Kareem, went up against Karl Malone, gave him fits. In the 90s, Shaq and Hakeem played. You know, both of them did their thing. Obviously, Hakeem had the historic MVP, DPOY. But when you talk about both guys were extremely dominant. But you talk about as a basketball player, who was a better center? Hakeem was a better shooter from the three-point line. He was a better shooter from the mid-range. He had a better post game. He was a better passer. He was a better defender in all aspects of defending. So you talk about a guy who on Shaq, and Shaq was no slouch. Shaq had a great post game.
Shaq was an underrated passer,
Shaq
too.
was a sneaky underrated passer, but Shaq was just more dominant. I'm looking at the game from skill base and who's a better player. It has to be Hakeem easily. He's one of the most skilled big men we've ever seen in the game today. Not to mention, Hakeem didn't have Kobe. Hakeem didn't have D-Wade.
He had a hell of a team, though.
But he didn't have Kobe. He didn't have a top
but he had
two guard ever. He didn't have the other two guards.
He
ever.
didn't have that ever.
Clyde wasn't Clyde.
He didn't
wasn't
have that ever,
Clyde,
but-
and
Clyde
when he got
averaged
there.
20, though.
Yeah, but he
Clyde
wasn't.
averaged 21 and 10 in the
he
finals,
wasn't
bro.
being compared to MJ Clyde. He wasn't that.
I mean,
no more.
obviously, but
wasn't
he
that
still
no
gave you
more.
21 and 10 as
But
a
he-
second
and he-
option.
but
That's
he
not
wasn't-
bad.
But
And
he
at that
wasn't
time-
that.
And then you
though.
had 4 other double-digit scores as well
Yeah,
for
of
that
course,
Houston
but
championship
Shaq
team.
had Kobe. Shaq had D-Wade. Then Shaq had Rick Foss putting up 10 games. He had
Time out.
Derek
So
Fisher putting up 10
wait, so
Then he got
but you
Karl
said
Malone.
Kobe and
And then he
Shaq,
got
but you said
Gary
Kobe and
Payton.
Shaq were in the super team. So outside of those two, who was their teammates? Who was surrounding them?
Wait.
That's the-
Just 'cause
that's
just
what
'cause you're
you
not a
said,
super,
though.
just because you're not a super team doesn't mean you doesn't have help.
I'm saying, I think as a collective,
Hakeem's
collective
wasn't nowhere.
team,
Hakeem's team was nowhere near a super team.
No, I'm saying I think collectively Hakeem's team might have been better than just the Kobe and Shaq, just because he had a 21 and 10 guy. He had a guy average 18. Sam Cassell. That wasn't a bad team.
Wait. But the Lakers had more talent. The Lakers had more talent. That's a fact.
It was Kobe though. Kobe and Shaq.
Kobe had Gary Payne. Kobe had Karl Malone. He had Rick
didn't win. They didn't win though.
You can't use that.
They didn't win though. They didn't win though.
You can't use that year.
What the
You
hell?
can't.
Why
They
can't I?
underachieved.
You can't. They didn't win.
So what about the very
and they were past their primes,
Can I
though.
use D Wade?
Of course,
I
that's
can use
the
Kobe.
only one. No, that's
I can use Rick
valid.
Fox.
That's
I can
valid.
use Robert Horry.
Rick Fox
He's a role player, just like Kenny Smith. He's a role player, just like Kenny Smith.
No, but the other four
But he's a
players
role
were
player,
probably
just like
better
Kenny
than
Smith.
Rick
I don't
Fox,
like
though.
you using D Wade because obviously that wasn't Shaq's prime. We're talking about Shaq's peak in L.A.
Hakeem won a ring at 34.
Wait, so what? Wait, hold up. Hakeem, no doubt about it. He had a great season when he won Olympic gold medal, finals, MVP, DPOY. I'm not trying to dismiss that.
Of course.
But let's not act like Shaq didn't win a championship before Kobe became Kobe.
But he also won when Kobe was Kobe.
Yeah, but Shaq averaged 38 points and 17 rebounds in the finals.
When did Shaq win a ring when Kobe wasn't Kobe?
Kobe Bryant averaged 16 points per game versus Indiana in that year.
Don't do that.
Glenn Rice was
the
no, but listen to me. But to his help though, Indiana wasn't really a good team though, bro.
None of the teams Shaq played outside.
In the first three-peat, none of them were really
None of them
good
were
though.
good
Let's be real. They played the Nets, they played Indiana, they played Allen Iverson, who had one player. So. But let me ask you something. So in that '95 finals that they won against Shaq, a young Shaq, he wasn't.
Don't
he wasn't
do that. Shaq,
established.
Penny.
No, but he wasn't established. He wasn't the Shaq that he was. But he wasn't. It was his third year.
I never blame that loss on Shaq.
That's a fact.
I never blame that loss on Shaq.
Does this sound like a good supporting cast? 21.5 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists as your second go-to guy on that team.
That's fine. That's a good.
Just name players, bro. I think it's better if you just name players.
All right, so Albert Horry gave you 18 and 10. Mario Ellie gave you 16, 5 and 5. Sam Cassell gave you 15 and 4 off the bench.
They had a good team.
I'm telling you, that's a good team, though.
I never said they didn't have a good team.
I thought you were
but they
trying
never
to say
had
that
Kobe
he did it
and
all by
D-Wade.
himself, though.
Never said that. That never came out of my mouth.
That collective unit, I think Shaq could win with that team, too.
But Hakeem could have won with the same team Shaq had.
That's what I'm saying. They're interchangeable. It's not that far off between them.
Hakeem probably would win in 04. That's how far I would go to say Hakeem would win in 04.
With Kobe playing that bad?
No, Kobe played that. Kobe and Shaq were beefing at that moment.
But you have to take into account that Kobe played bad in that series,
Hakeem
though.
wouldn't have played that bad because
Shaq averaged 30 in that finals.
And that's
Kobe played like
think
Kobe's
about
the one
it.
who
Shaq
sold
averaged
it.
30, and people say Ben locked him up. That's the narrative that people say the Detroit Pistons locked down Shaq. That's the narrative.
The Detroit Pistons locked up Kobe Bryant.
No, that's the narrative though.
No, the narrative is Kobe got locked.
The narrative
Kobe
is Detroit
that
Pistons
finals.
Contained Shaq and locked Kobe.
So what was Kobe?
What?
He averaged 30.
But that's the narrative. Though.
So
Hakeem could have done the same thing.
We're just going to gloss over the fact that Kobe Bryant performed horrendously.
I'm not glossing
wait, hold
over the
on.
fact.
He's the reason they lost that finals. Kobe was the reason they lost.
If Shaq got locked averaging 30, Hakeem can average 30 and win.
All right, Shaq averaged. He averaged 26.6.
So that was cap.
That was cap. My fault.
It's all right. Kobe averaged 22 though.
Can I
So
hear
they both got locked.
Shaq, his field goal percentage was 63. Obviously, he's a big man.
Yeah.
But Kobe shot 38%.
Ew, it's nasty.
And 3-point, he shot 17.
What was their regular season numbers? What Kobe averaged that year and what Shaq averaged?
All right, you got to give me a second.
And plus, most of the toxicness within the Shaq and Kobe Lakers was mostly Kobe.
Not for sure.
It was kind of both.
It was because Kobe didn't pass. He was a ball hog at that time.
Kobe wanted to win that Finals MVP because he was tired of the narrative that Shaq won the first 3. That's really what it was. He shot him out the game.
Yeah, I mean,
no disrespect to him, but I just read a book, 3 Ring Circus, and that shit tells everything about that time.
Kobe averaged more points, 24. Shaq had 21 that season.
in the regular season.
In the regular season,
Shaq only averaged 21 that year.
yes.
Interesting.
They checked out that year.
And then in the finals, he said, "I'm here to play." Averaged almost.
I think
27.
he came in overweight that year.
Bro, to go from 21 to 27 in the NBA Finals is nuts. And for Kobe to fall off the way he did is surprising.
So, let's get to the meat of the bone. You think Hakeem is better than Shaq?
Hakeem is a better basketball player than Shaq. Shaq is just more dominant.
You think Hakeem's better because he's more skilled than Shaq, right?
Yeah.
I think he has the dominance plus the skill.
Okay, but can you say that Shaq was more effective in using his dominance and skill set? Because he does have more championships. He does have more awards.
You can't, because it's tough. You can say that.
He
but
does have more scoring titles too.
Yeah, you can say that, but at the same time, Shaq moved around a lot. So like he moved to D Wade, and D Wade got him that chip. Hakeem stayed home his whole career. Well, not his whole career.
he didn't.
For his prime, he stayed home.
Let me just
I
say,
would-
when he
I would-
left, he was horrible.
Yeah, that's what I said.
When he
His
played for
first prime.
Toronto, he was a shell of himself.
I would agree with your initial. I would
It's
agree
like-
with that
it's like
point,
Dirk and
but
KD.
the difference in that scenario is that Shaq wanted to stay in Orlando.
No, for sure.
But they
1,000%.
they gypped him. I mean, they
Oh, yeah.
lowballed him on a contract, which
Yeah,
is
he
why
dipped.
he left.
Definitely, but you can't say the same thing about LA and
Well, the
Miami.
Lakers, it's the Lakers picking between Kobe and Shaq,
And they picked the better player at the
Well, they
time.
had to pick the younger guy
Red, let
and
me-
the better
Red,
guy.
Let me ask you a question. Had Michael Jordan not retired around that time,
You answer that
No.
because you answer that because you know what MJ said about it. So you answer.
No,
that.
MJ said they posed a threat.
So you
MJ said
answer
it,
that.
but I don't know. I think
Hakeem gets one.
I think they split. I don't think he goes back to back.
Yeah, he gets one.
Yeah, he gets one. It's one having one chip compared to two and going back to back is completely different from going just 1-1.
Nah, undoubtedly, yeah, I can see that. At the same time, though, you have to look
And
at what.
people, you know how people put too much stock into the regular season, right? People put too much stock into the regular season. I mean,
what Hakeem did was historical. You can't take that.
no,
from him.
I'm not taking that away from him, but people put too much stock in the regular season, though. In the regular season, Houston had their number, but we know come playoff time, Michael Jordan, the Bulls, they're defending champions. Their team, they're a championship team. They're a dynasty, and they were a dynasty in the making.
That year, that you love to bring up, that which year you think they would split? Because he came back when Magic went to the finals and he lost to Shaq.
Who?
Michael Jordan. He
Same,
lost
yeah.
to Shaq.
He
So
had
what
17
year-
games under his belt, though.
So I'm asking, what year?
What happened?
No,
but hear me out. What happened the next season? What happened the next season when Michael Jordan had a full season, though?
hold on, I got
He
you.
swept
I
them.
think-
He swept
I
them the
think-
next season.
Nah,
When
I
he had a
think-
full
hold
season,
on,
Michael
hold
Jordan
on,
This is
swept
what
hold
them.
on.
people. This is what people misconstrue.
Am I lying?
No, listen. This is what people.
Wait, am I lying, though?
But this is what people misconstrue. You think it's because he had 17 games on his belt. No, that's
Yes, it
not,
was.
No,
It
listen.
had to be.
Listen,
17 games?
Just
Go ahead,
listen.
go ahead, bro.
That's not why they couldn't beat the Magic. They couldn't beat the Magic
'Cause they didn't
because
have
they
a
had
big.
no answer
That's
for
a
Shaq.
fact.
They had no big anymore. They didn't have Horace Grant no more, and Dennis Rodman wasn't there. That's
fact.
why the Magic. We had no answer for the Magic because Shaq was too dumb.
He's right, though.
Shaq
No,
was
no,
too
he
dominant.
is right.
Then we went
But pull
out
up-
and
but
get
pull up
Dennis
Michael
Rodman,
Jordan-
and we
put-
beat
put-
them in
pull
4
up Mike-
games.
pull up
We beat
Michael-
them in 4 games the next year when we
Shaq
go
used
get
to kill
Dennis
Dennis Rodman, though.
But we beat them.
Shaq
What's
used to
the
always
difference?
kill. There was
But
no
what's
answer
the
for Shaq.
difference?
There was no.
What's
You're
the
telling me
difference?
right
You're
now,
not
Dennis.
listening.
No, but
You're just talking with-
but you're
you're
telling me
talking with
Dennis
emotion.
Rodman.
You're not
You're
looking at
telling
the
me
facts. You're
Dennis
talking with
Rodman could
emotion.
strap
You're
Shaq.
just talking with emotion.
So time out.
You're just
So
talking with
how's it
emotion. You're not looking at the
Yo,
facts.
Drew, but what
They
happened the
beat
next
us.
year that Michael Jordan and the Bulls had a regular season?
Nah, but he
No,
had
but
Dennis
we had Dennis
Rodman.
Rodman. You're
But
not
you
listening.
act
You're
like
not
Dennis
Dennis
looking at the
Rodman is not
facts.
locking Shaq.
Yo,
bro.
I'm
But
not
you're not-
saying
but
he's.
it's not-
I'm not saying he's locking
pull it up.
Shaq.
Shaq's numbers, bro. Pull up Shaq's numbers
You're
when he
not
played
looking
Dennis
at the
Rodman.
facts,
Nah,
bro.
bro.
You're not looking at the
fact
facts,
is, the
bro.
Michael Jordan didn't come back when the playoffs was about to
The
start. And he had a full
difference-
season
you're
under.
not looking
Bro,
at
he
the
missed
facts,
a year playing
Bro,
baseball.
bro. You're
not
Yo,
looking at the facts,
imagine
bro.
coming
You're
back
just
from
speaking
playing
with emotion.
baseball and people giving you 17 games.
I'm
What
with
happened the
listen,
next? It's not
that's
emotion. It's a
definitely-
fact.
bro.
Yo, pull up
that's
his stats, bro.
definitely a
Pull up his
fact.
stats.
No, listen, you're right. It definitely is because Michael played 17. But on top of it, having no Grant was huge. They lost Grant. Grant was enormous.
Shaq was
for
gonna
them.
cook Horace Grant
It's
too.
not-
It
Nah,
didn't
but
matter.
that's not it. The fact that
These
they
guys
had
act
no,
like anybody stopping
they
Shaq.
had no big man. The year after, they get Dennis Rodman, and that advantage that they had in the bigs was irrelevant, completely irrelevant.
Yo, was it just Shaq though? Because I'm looking at these numbers. Shaq shot 48% from the field, and he had Penny Hardaway averaged 19, Horace Grant averaged 18.
Horace Grant was amazing.
Nick Anderson averaged
Nick, bro.
15.
Oh,
Dennis
what's his
Scott
name?
averaged
Dennis
15.
Scott shooter.
So they was
you
all
had to, no,
cooking.
you had the double team.
Everybody
With Dennis
was
Rodman, you don't
cooking.
have to
Exactly.
double team, bro.
That's
you don't
a
have
fact.
to double team.
Grant and Shaq combination was deadly against that Chicago Bull team that had no
So let
big
me ask you a
presence.
question because you swear up and down it's the 17 games.
It was,
No, okay,
though.
so watch this. Watch this. What year was that?
95.
94, 95, right?
94, 95.
Okay, so he put up 32 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. Guess how much he put up the next year?
31.
No, he didn't. Guess, and you know what's even hilarious about it? He put up less points the next year when he played them.
Jordan?
Yes, I'm talking about Jordan. We just talked about Jordan. It wasn't
So let me
Jordan-
hear Scottie Pippen's stats, his second best player. Can I hear everybody else's statistics that go along with that?
we just speaking on Jordan, bro.
What do you mean? You have to answer. You have to go along with the team too. Getting the chemistry back, that matters, bro. Coming back after playing
I
baseball
will say this
17
one
games,
thing.
bro.
Scottie Pippen averaged 19 and
that,
7.
This is regular.
That
He's
93,
good,
94 season.
Robin averaged 12
If
and
Jordan's
16.
on that team, I think they probably do win the championship. That 94, 95 team wasn't winning a championship.
We lost Horace. We didn't have a big. We didn't have any. We had a Luke
No, but look at
Longley.
these. Look at these stats from the
it didn't help
Magic.
Jordan come back at the end of the
Shaq
season.
played better the very next year, but you look at Nick Anderson.
His team played worse, right?
Yeah.
Because we
But
weren't.
Shaq played
But
better
hold on,
against the
hold on.
Dennis Rodman
and
matchup,
this is
though.
where I'm going to explain. When the first time we played them, you have to double team. When you have to double team, because you
Someone's
just
open.
said it, Shaq is an underrated passer.
He is.
When you double team, that leaves cuts. That leaves people open. Not saying Dennis Rodman locked him up. I did not say that. But when you have Dennis Rodman, the next year, we don't have to double team.
but
we don't have to collapse like we do.
You're not wrong, but does double team really equate to these players? Like, look, Nick Anderson shot 20% from 3. Dennis Scott, who's
Nick Anderson fell off because of the free throw mishap that happened in the finals.
Okay, but Dennis Scott, who's a sharpshooter. Dennis Scott, who's a sharpshooter, shot 16% from 3.
No, I'm saying that's part of it. I don't know the full, but that's what I mean.
Shaq was killing in
Dennis.
that
We don't
series
have to
too.
do that.
It's also arguably the best basketball team of all time ever assembled that they were going against.
Which
that
one?
96 Bulls.
And we have Ron Harper now.
That team defensively,
With MJ,
offensively,
with
they were perfect.
We get Tony Kukoc. We get like
Bro, that
I'm not saying that it wasn't good though. That's not what I'm saying.
Look at the difference. We lost 4-2. Then we come back. We get Rodman. We get everybody
But Shaq
together.
still puts up better numbers though.
We sweep them.
Yeah, but Shaq still puts up better
But the
numbers.
team
though.
doesn't put up. But the team doesn't.
Did Michael Jordan win MVP that year?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
They basically said, we're going to let Shaq be on an island with Dennis and let him try and beat us by himself.
But you don't, okay,
Penny gave him 25.
I get what you're
26 a game.
saying. I get what you're saying, but you don't think that Michael Jordan only playing 17 games has?
Oh,
No,
without a doubt.
no.
See,
I
that's what I'm
didn't-
saying.
No, I
You
didn't.
gotta.
I didn't say that wasn't. That's obviously a reason, but I'm saying the other reason.
I agree.
And
Wholeheartedly.
The other reason, it was spoken about in a documentary with him and what's the guy he's always with?
Who?
The brown skin guy.
Who? Michael Jordan?
There are
Yeah.
a lot of guys, bro.
Now he's always with this one. He always interviews with this one guy. I forgot his name, but he talks about it. He said
Stuart Scott.
Ahmad Rashad.
Ahmad Rashad.
Ahmad Rashad. He talks about it in an interview with him. He said we didn't have an answer for Shaq. That's why I was also tired, but to sub it all together, we didn't have an answer for Shaq. And then when we got Rodman, it wasn't an answer, but it's a Band-Aid.
I won't lie.
Rodman makes it work.
He spoke nothing but facts with the whole, if you're double teaming, we mentioned it, Shaq is a solid passer. He's going to see the guys.
Underrated. He's underrated.
But that's what I'm saying. He had an excellent point.
I think y'all both had good points. I think that's a good point about the double teams, but I also think that just getting double team doesn't equate to the fact that Nick Anderson fell off after the free throw
of
thing.
course not.
Dennis
But that
Scott
is a
shooting like
part-
complete garbage.
I can only explain a part of what I've seen.
Yeah, but Nick Anderson was a huge part to the Magic, and him falling off that bad was huge.
Yeah, no, hell yeah.
It was also tough because, again, like we already mentioned, it's the best, arguably the best basketball team of all
Remember,
time.
the next year we went 72-10.
Exactly.
matchups was. I mean, if you look at the productions from both teams, I mean, they both had 2 double-digit scores, and the rest were people that were under double digits. So I think it was pretty evenly matched. I just think Michael Jordan was that great that he took him over the top.
Scoring.
Plus,
isn't
he was the
everything.
MVP
Rodman.
that year too.
I was about to say,
Yeah, Ron Harper.
defensively,
Ron
this is
Harper
arguably the
didn't
best
score that much.
defensive
I mean,
He didn't
that
need to.
is a motivated Jordan coming back from not having to practice baseball, coming back with something to
facts.
prove. I mean,
It was amazing, bro.
That's your GOAT.
That is my goat.
He's better than LeBron?
Yeah,
He is the GOAT.
nothing wrong with saying that.
Nah, he is the GOAT.
He's better than LeBron.
Nah, for real, he is. I used to think it was LeBron, bro.
You done switched up about 4 times.
I was.
Never
Nah,
catch
I did
me
my- I
switch
did-
No,
sides.
I'm standing
Yeah.
on. You know, I stand.
Me
I told
too.
you what I told you.
I did my
For me to
research,
change,
bro.
LeBron
Michael
has to
Jordan.
win this year. If he wins this year, I will say LeBron's a
That's
goat.
fair.
Really?
And we've had pretty open discussions.
I told you that.
Jordan is
Huh?
like that, but I'm taking
He's getting his
LeBron
5th
all
ring.
around.
Look at the league.
Look at his team. His team's OD right now.
His team's not OD.
He has a
I don't
former
think his-
MVP in Anthony Davis. That's an OD team.
I don't
bro.
think his team's. I don't think his team's that OD.
I don't know. I think that's a pretty OD team.
I think if he beats the Nets, a healthy Nets,
I mean, what's a
What?
healthy Nets? KD and Harden or the big 3?
you know what a healthy Nets is.
Oh, I bet.
You-
I
like,
mean,
you
we're
know
all
what
we're all
a
I
healthy though.
will
We're just not.
tweak if we
If he
beat
beats
the Nets.
them,
Oh,
then he didn't beat them, the Warriors. It's not much.
get his
you can say to him,
comeuppance
bro.
on KD.
So this going to
cry.
do it for this episode of the Pick a Side Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Pick a Side Podcast, on Twitter at Pick a Side Pod. And this episode featured a lot of great debates. Riv and JC went at it about Hakeem and Shaq and Jordan and Nat. And Andrew and I talked about Lamar versus Kyler.
That
You know,
was
had
way
a-
more heated than what we talked about.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, bro.
I don't think so.
I don't
They've
know,
been
bro.
in worse.
Yeah,
been
we
worse.
def have.
I know. All I heard was this from June. the whole episode. You know what I mean? I don't know. And then Joel's like, "Yo, you're not having information. You got to bring it next time." Like, I don't know. We wasn't really being that OD.
All right, so that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching or listening, and we'll see you next time.